You guys can make fun of me and make all the videos you want about me. I don't care.
Say what you want. Put all the videos out there that you want, because frankly, I don't care what you think.
So go ahead, all you trolls. Make videos about this. Go and make all the videos you want.
Or you want to make videos about me? I just don't care anymore. I really don't care. I don't care if people re-upload this video. You can make fun of me all you want. It doesn't bother me. Let me first play this disclaimer so you guys can see it. This way it's up for the public record. Disclaimer. Nothing in this presentation was obtained illegally. Everything you are about to see has been researched using public domains such as Facebook, YouTube, Google, and/or other forms of social media platforms. No family images, home addresses, and/or any direct information shall not be used unless it has already been publicly displayed on either Facebook, YouTube, Google, and/or public social media outlets.
Hey everybody, it's that time. It's Wednesday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and it's time for Dogpile. So I was running a little late, a little frantic. I had to set my office back up. Hey everybody. So yeah, we had to get some. We had a guy come in to paint the house, and he was supposed to paint the room I'm in right now. So I had to clean up the place and get rid of this wires everywhere. I know this looks like a professional show, but it's actually a shit show. But with the green screen, you could do magic. But anyway, I had to clean up all the stuff and get them ready for the painter guy. And the painter guy came here, and we have a problem. The plumbing is right over the ceiling, and that's why it was leaking or whatever. And the guy came and he goes, actually, the last time I was here, I did some sheetrock work, and it looks like it's leaking underneath that. So we can't paint that now. So I was like, okay, that sucks. But then I had to set everything back up for Dogpile, so just wasting my time. But that's okay. I love that guy. His name's Rich. He's one of like these older handyman guys that just like he excretes like confidence. Like your house could have been destroyed by a tornado. And you'll be standing there with this guy, Rich, and he'll be like, "Oh, it's no big deal. We just, we put up some beams over it. No problem at all. I'll take care of it. I'll come by tomorrow, bang it out." And he will. He'll come by tomorrow and bang it out. Like he's one of those guys. He's great. He's very inexpensive. He comes with his own truck, and the truck has everything in it. It's like this amazing truck. It's like a transformer. He opens it up in his storage, and I peek my head in there, and everything's organized. He's got his shit together. This guy's the best. Of course, I'm not going to give his information because then he'll get death threats from the MAGA army. But anyway, let's look at the chat. Hank the Mean Man. Hank says, this makes my day. The last few days worked to freaking hell. People ganging up on me for fun. I feel better already. Hank, that sucks. You know how much we hate bullying here on the channel. You know what you should do, Hank? You should threaten all the people that said mean things to you with a video and try to go to the authorities and cry on camera and say how much they make you sad, and nothing will be done, and they'll probably make fun of you more, but at least it'll make you feel better when you're crying. Bring the chicken nugget says better be good as last week's show. I don't know. I hope so. Was last week's show good? I don't know. I like to think it was good. Hank to me, man, let the rockin' begin. Yes, we started. Red Pill in the Wind, how you doing, sir? I hope Red Pill in the Wind. He does God's work. He crisscrosses this country with truckloads of the things that you or I need. Godspeed, sir. I love those guys. Without them, we'd be fucked. Although, like price of food's going up. It's not Red Pill in the Wind's fault, but inflation and all that. One of Maga Man's pals is this girl Charity, and Charity's always like, oh, like there's no milk on the shelf. It must be, the Biden administration. The Bidens took the milk away. Anyway, let's see. Checking out Slip and MAGA in bottom right better be on tonight. Last live was great. Okay, good. Hopefully, I think Slippery's going to pop by. Of course, it would help if I put the link in the chat to join, which I will in a second. Yeah, I didn't realize the irony after me. It's okay, Hank. Yeah, I'm assuming, like, you take it on the chin and, like, you take it like a normal person and you don't swear in your children's lives that you're going to have revenge on the people that made fun of you at work. But anyway, no one should be picked on by assholes at work. That always sucks. MGTOW the Wind chiming in. You ain't started nothing because you didn't give me the link. Yes, I realize that. And maybe I just won't now. Maybe it's my live stream. I can do whatever I want. Savage Kako, SK in the house. Another viewer from Texas. All right, let me put the link in. Link to join. Bum. And then we'll do a little put this. I almost put me in timeout. That's not what we want to do. That would be bad. Oh, because I'm looking in the wrong. I gotta go back to a regular browser. Okay, I think I pinned a message. Red pill in the wind, right there. Boom. Yeah, that's a troll. I hate when Wally calls me a troll because I feel like it's calling Leonardo da Vinci like a painter. It's like I'm more than a troll. Okay, I'm better than just this. Better, this should be a better term. Mega troll, super troll. I don't know.
How about ultra try to run up in your business and basically and not even get on the live stream when you offer it to them,
Troll.
Ultraman, yeah, Ultraman or something like that. I said like, and say that, oh, I work and I have a life, and yeah, I work, I got a life too. What's your excuse? Oh, apparently, I unblocked run up in somebody's chat from my block list.
Uh-oh.
And yeah, he doesn't have he does, and I left the opportunity for him to come on a live stream, but he was nowhere to be found.
Oh, so you started, who is this? Is this somebody I would know?
Probably not.
Okay.
Like I said, I'll send you a screenshot of my latest chats in a messenger.
We here at
Same
Dogpile, we'll dogpile on anybody. It's not just solely my nemesis Maga Man. You could bring on your own nemesis. Nemesises? What's the plural of nemesis?
Nemesis? I don't know.
You could bring on your own nemesi, and we'll take them on.
Yeah. My videos. I'm just getting onto my videos right now.
Oh, look at this. We got classic hidden. I love it. What's going on, man?
Oh, no, I'm trying to get a screenshot going.
Classic hidden, I think, is having he's either not talking because he's mad, or he has technical problems. Hebrew space something that's cut off on my screen. Space person, yes, there he is. How's it
what
going,
up, y'all?
Hebrew?
How's it going? I can't cam up now because Wally called me. Like now that I've been outed, so I have to go back undercover, I guess.
Well, why? It's like you might as well just roll with it.
I'm fucking around. I couldn't care less. Fuck that guy. Hang on. Let me fix my. Let me cam up here. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
How's it going?
I'm gonna send you the screenshot and
So yeah, Hebrew, I heard you got a shout out and one of Wally's videos this week.
This motherfucker. Yeah.
He's like, I have, and of course he has to talk like he said. Instead of calling his car a car, he calls it a vehicle. He's got to do this wordy response where he says, "I have, because of the live streams, I have successfully identified the origin." It's like you saw the guy, you saw the guy, and it's him.
Now that I've cammed up, I'm outed to the world.
Yes, it's like like. Again, everyone commits crimes everywhere.
Wow.
Fucking asshole. Yeah,
I got too much work to commit crime.
I'm looking at the.
Yeah, I got too much.
I actually haven't watched a bunch of Wally's videos. He did the whole Hunter Biden 4chan thing. I just haven't had. I've been working for a living, paying for fucking Wally's.
Is this who I think it is?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. It's
all
always I gotta worry a little bit.
How you guys doing?
Okay, man. What's going on? It's been a while.
Yeah, no, I was out of the country for the last 2 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's it like
Nice.
traveling these days in this COVID hellscape?
It's not that bad. We went to Costa Rica, my wife
Nice.
and I, and
Nice.
yeah. So it was the travel. The only thing that was really stressful was just the customs part.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
they start asking you when you come back to the U.S. I haven't really traveled thanks to fucking kids. I haven't traveled. I haven't traveled in a long time. My wife usually does the vacation duties with
Yeah.
the kids when they were younger, but because usually when she wanted to go on vacation, it landed on a time with my work schedule where I couldn't do that. But now that they're older, and now that they're older, it's going to be easier for us to be
Sure.
traveling again. So anyway, but my
Yeah.
point is that the only time it was stressful was coming back.
They
And that
were
was because-
scared. They were staring at your passport. They're doing this. They're looking like, oh, is this?
Yeah, no, it was more like asking, like the guy was just asking a million questions, like,
Uh-oh.
do you have any gifts in your bag? I was about to say yeah, because I did have gifts in the bag for my kids, right? But I don't know. My wife was like, no. Like, what the fuck? Why are you doing that? But anyway, yeah, that was it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I remember I traveled once with my wife, and she was stressing the whole time. She's like reading all the stuff about how to travel and how to pack and everything. And
Yeah.
she gets up to the TSA, and they were gonna wave her through, but she takes her makeup bag and she like dumps it in front of the guy. And I'm like, they didn't ask you to do that, but she was like so ready.
Wow.
It was almost like she was showing off, and I
Man,
make
I have
fun of her
to-
to this day. I'm like, what are you doing?
because you never know what the fuck they want to do. Like when we came back in to we had to do a stopover in Miami, which was, no offense to Floridians or whatever they call them, but I that was one part of the country I did not really want to pass over or stop in, but we had to do that. But when I came in, but when we went through there, I was already taking off my shoes, and they're like, "Do not take off your shoes." I'm like, "What?" Like that just threw you off. Like, so you go to one airport, you got to go
Yeah.
through the whole thing. You almost practically have to run through the thing naked, and then you come back and you're like trying to do the same thing they asked you to do, like they always ask you to do, and then you do it, and they're like, "Don't do it." So it's like
It's also arbitrary. The shoe thing is stupid, all because one guy with a failed attempt.
one fucking idiot with a
Yeah.
fucking match, sweaty ass feet.
Yeah.
Made the matches wet. First of all, where did this dude go to the school? Coyote,
Yeah, right.
Coyote school
Acme.
of terrorism.
Wow.
That's what it said on his
Get
shoes.
an Acme shoe bomb.
Yeah, we're gonna teach you how to activate a shoe bomb with a goddamn match. Like, where the fuck did you get that from?
Well, because you're
I
not
mean,
allowed light.
wow.
Apparently, you couldn't get a lighter through TSA.
I
back
never
then.
forget that, guy. It's funny that you brought that up. Hebrew,
Richard
'cause
Reed
I-
was his name.
Yeah, because I never forget that guy, because ever since I travel, and all the times I've ever traveled, really local flights, but every time I just think about that one asshole, and I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck that guy.
Right.
Wait, isn't that the name of the Fantastic Four guy? Who's the stretchy Fantastic Four guy?
Reed Richards.
Reed
Oh,
Richards.
close.
Hey. Hey, but I sent you the screenshot on a
Hey,
Facebook
Slippery.
Messenger.
Hey, Slippery.
Hey, what's going on,
Hey,
guys?
Let me look
Slippery.
up.
We're talking about- have you guys ever
when-
traveled to Israel? Because if you want
No.
fun, go to the airport in Tel Aviv. Man, every 5
Dude.
feet,
I
they
can only
fucking
imagine.
question you. Where are
My-
you going? Who you staying with? And then they'll ask you the
Yeah.
same question 3 minutes later. Another guy and 3 feet ahead of you.
Well,
How long
both
you
of my
staying?
both
Yeah.
of my daughters have traveled to Israel. My youngest one,
It's beautiful, but it's crazy.
well, my youngest one. That's the thing. I didn't go with. I've never gone, but my youngest daughter went with a group last summer. She went with her, with the summer camp that she always goes to. They, now that they're at a certain age, they don't go do camp anymore. There's a trip to Israel, and then the next year they can be, camp counselors. which is-
CIT, yes.
Yeah, CIT,
Wow.
which
Yeah.
is what she's doing this year. But when she went out to Israel, man, the whole shit we had to do. We had to go to a public,
Hey, cheers.
not
Prost.
what do you call
Hey.
it?
Hey, is that a beer? Is that a beer? Oh yeah, that's a beer.
Oh yeah, the awful beer that you can't do on
Yeah,
Oh, there he is.
according to Wally.
There he is, that German
Goofy
guy just
algorithm.
sucking down beer. Look at him.
But like I was saying though, the public, whatever, the people who do the stamp on a letter that they got, like we had to do that to swear that she's our kid.
Oh, like a notary, you mean?
Yeah, notary. We had to go to a notary.
He had to get his kids notarized.
We had to get.
Well, if it was Wally, he'd have them laminated too.
Right. She had to
and
do
he'd call
like
you a black Israelite because you went to Israel. So that's how Wally would label you.
Yeah, I can't go to Israel. Like I said, my name alone would probably get them. It would get me on their radar. You know.
I don't see why.
Why? Your name isn't like Red Pill Fuck the Jews, is it?
No. It has.
Don't give out your real name.
Hitler.
No, yeah.
The guy with cold smudge.
Yeah, the pronunciation. There's different pronunciations in different languages. We'll just leave it at that.
All right.
Wow.
I remember as a kid, one of the most vivid things is my mom's from Germany. So once in a while, when I was a kid, I would go back there to visit. And it was in the mid to late 70s after the Munich Olympics and after that horrible thing going on. So at the airport, they were like,
or as Wally calls it, an oopsie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So there were like armed guards and armored personnel carriers in and around the terminal. And when you left JFK, you would see like a uniformed cop with his revolver. You wouldn't see any paramilitary, anything. So it was
it's
like
all
almost
like that now.
Yeah. Well, now it's different. But back then it was like culture shock. You know, you're like, oh, you're going into this armed camp with guys walking with submachine guns in the terminal. So like we're there now. You know, it's unfortunate, but you know, that's what the world has come to.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? Congratulations to
nice.
HS. You're
For what?
You're part of the club.
Oh.
Yeah, you're
I was
named.
part of the club before.
I know, but I mean now, you're
he
named.
has
Yeah,
exposed.
right.
I think it's like the fifth time. He's like, and I know it's him. It's like we know it's him. It's
and the asshole can't pronounce my name. I don't want to pronounce it here, but he cannot pronounce my name right, and it cracks me up every time.
Yeah, I know he's mispronouncing it. But he said your actual name like a couple of times. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The only guy. Sorry. No, the only guy among us that's actually used our name from the get-go is Dan. The rest of us never used our name, but Wally's been the one to always dox us.
It was kind of a mistake because I just did it because he does this thing where he exposes people, and I was just like, okay, where are you gonna go now? Like here I am. Like
yeah, right.
Like and I just cut out the whole middleman. Like
well, his whole thing is like he says your middle name, Dan Edwards.
Yes, yeah, okay. You got me.
Not to confuse with some other Dan King somewhere.
Dan Earl King, Dan Fred King, Dan.
But he always says Dan Edward King. It's actually Daniel Edward King. If you want to be formal here, Wally. But you know.
Well, there we go. You know, I mean. What happened to Hidden?
No, he's got so many gadgets. He's got his little. He's got.
He's licking
sound
audio
thing.
now. He's tripping again.
That's classic Hidden. I love that. When I came on, he was doing the avatar.
Sorry, Hidden. I can't join the club after that bad experience. I just went back to beer. Sorry, I'm just going to do the beer thing.
Just,
you know.
Yeah.
You gotta push through that paranoia, Slippery. That's all.
Yeah, I mean. I haven't been. I haven't been doxxed yet. I'm surprised he ain't decided to cross-reference some things. You know, with a super sleuth.
I'm sure he has. I'm sure he's analyzed your chat. You made a couple videos where you're walking around, and he's like, "Aha! Oh, what can I find out?"
Well, I'm happy about it because at least we know he watched at least the last lot. I mean, he specifically pointed out that I cammed up now. So
the whole reason. Well, I have that video. Maybe I'll fire it up later. The whole reason he made that video was because Slippery and I don't know if we even coordinated. We decided to go after his privacy stuff, and it was a video where he had my face and Slippery's face, and he was saying his bullshit, and we both flagged for privacy, and it went away. So while he was like, my channel's under attack, and we did exactly what he did 20 times to everybody else in the world, but we get a video for it. So that's why he was all mad with that video. He's like,
you know what's entertaining? He goes, he says, they're trying to hide their identities, and yeah, sure. And then he says, well, I got them. I put it up on archive.org. And I looked at the one, like he says, hey, guys, they're on archive.org, and the link is in the description. So I went over to look, and like nobody looked at. He thinks people are hanging on his every word to see what the trolls said, but nobody cares. I mean, there wasn't one view on any of those videos he put over there, or maybe ones that he put over there a couple of weeks back. But he like overstates everything.
I left the review, so I'm waiting for him to see the review because he'll be like, he's over on my archive channel, guys. Oh.
He got a huge bump in subscribers, right? So now he's up to like over 500, and his community page is back.
I saw your
yeah, but you needed 1,000 for that. But good, get bigger, Wally, get bigger, and then we will tear you out.
It's more stuff to make fun of, yeah.
Yeah, but did you notice, HS, that there's no comments blocked on that? So Wally can.
Thank you. I know.
There's no comments.
Is that right? Interesting. He'll shut that down though.
What's the point to having a community page if nobody can interact with you? Like it's just Wally talking stupid nonsense, and that nobody wants to.
His whole MO is like he doesn't want to be criticized at all. He has a heart attack. Apparently, it's a crime.
Yeah, he's got a couple. He's got more viewers because he had a couple of titles that looked like there would be something interesting. But when you got into it, it was the same old stuff. It's always the same diatribe. It's like New York and the bull ring in the nose and the green-haired people.
Like and subscribe because it'll piss off the trolls.
Yeah,
he always mentions the trolls.
Yeah, the same old stuff over and over again.
In the beginning, he's got a bunch of new videos.
Of a girl with the bull ring in her nose.
You say porn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about it is he thinks that because he gets a rise in subscribers, he's forgetting, because I've been doing YouTube for quite some time, that there are people who will subscribe, see that your channel is lame, but they won't.
Right. They unsubscribe.
They won't unsubscribe. They'll just not watch your shit.
That doesn't matter to him. He's like just fixates on that number. Even though his views are like he's got 10% of that number of viewing.
Mostly like in the 20s to maybe 70s, once in a while 100, and then he had that one that went viral, which was crazy. But then it's back down to like 20 and 30 and 40.
And then he tried to.
Yeah.
Sorry, We're
go ahead.
No, and he tried to piggyback on the one that went viral with like almost the same title, and that got like 800 again, but it didn't get as many. So I mean,
people
it was like
watched the shit and were like, "Okay, this guy's a lunatic."
Yeah,
what's the troll? What is he talking about? I'm looking for a right-wing extremist. Who is this troll from New York? Why is he talking about bodegas?
Yes,
what?
Yes,
what?
He
and
can't
then he did the WinterCon thing again.
The WinterCon thing. Yes.
Oh wow, he's back on that diatribe.
He talks about it as if nobody ever heard it before. Like he has to explain a fight with a security guard and the guy attacked me in my helmet. We've all heard it.
He's his own worst enemy. He is his own channel killer, is what he is. The dude cannot shut the fuck up about the same thing over and over again. So when he gets new subscribers and he starts to say, well, I really would talk about other things, but then they go like, oh, I have no idea what the fuck this dude is talking about. I thought this was about less lethal, or he's going to talk about how great Trump is or something, and he's not talking about any of that shit.
His video about us was like, okay, guys, I have to apologize, but I have to talk about this. And like he's apologizing to his viewers, who he assumes have watched the entire thing, and we're the only people who watch it.
You know what? I have to make one quick comment. We know Wally is watching, maybe not in real time, but he's watching. But instead of talking about him, like we know this, we should just address everything directly to Wally.
I don't think he watches. I think he scans through and is like, "Oh, Hidden's there, Slippery's there. Oh, that's Garage Autonomous. Oh, I don't think he watches, because if he did, he would talk about everything. He would lose his mind. He can't.
Well, he used to, and I missed that stuff. But
I thought there was hope for his channel with his house guests, because he talked about going to a shooting range, and I thought we'd see, but.
He got zip up things for his little air rifle.
And he got a bench rest for a fucking BB rifle. The guy spent like our tax money on a rifle that has no recoil that you can't zero. Oh, this guy's killing me. All our money goes away to this.
I want to know if he went into the range with the other guys and he unzipped it and took out a BB gun, and everyone was like, "What is this guy doing?" He's doing this, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, from what I can see, it's a cycle. If
you pump it up twice, it's really strong.
Are you guys familiar with a YouTube channel called Hitcock45?
Yeah, absolutely. I watch him all the time.
I love that guy's channel. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Demolition Ranch, Kentucky Ballistics.
There are
Yep.
channels. There are,
Photonics.
yeah, there are less lethal channels out there that are almost as good, not as good. I don't think anybody can touch Hickok 45. But my point is, MAGA, Wally, you will never get to that level. No one gives a shit about your BB guns. No one.
You mean shooting your BB gun in your apartment with your phone camera, one angle?
Right.
It isn't interesting. What are you talking about?
It was
I'm
great
hoping-
because he's like, he made it sound that like my friend is here from New York and we're going to go to a range and shoot my BB gun. Like you would have to travel from New York all the way down to Charlotte, North Carolina to shoot his pellet gun somewhere. Yeah, I can do it in my backyard, for God's sakes. I can shoot a BB gun, and probably he can too. But he's just too dumb and lazy.
He has.
Well, he said he's not allowed to shoot it within the city limits.
Yeah, but
after he was shooting in his apartment, then he's like, "Oh, actually, I can't shoot within the city limits."
You can't shoot a BB gun within city limits.
Well, no,
That's what he said. I didn't research it.
What did he say? He did.
He said, "I gotta drive like 20 minutes to shoot this."
No,
thing.
but
That's
I'm
what
saying,
he said.
like, he says vehicle instead of car. He didn't say city limits. It's like within the municipality of
within
Mecklenburg.
yeah, of course, yeah.
Within the incorporated city limits. Or
Yeah,
some
like, what
bullshit
are you
jargon. Yeah.
What are you talking about, you fucking idiot?
What? I lived in High Point County, in High Point, like literally outside of Gulliford County, and me and an acquaintance of mine, we used to basically shoot each other with airsoft rifles, pistols, and stuff like that.
I mean, I'm sure where HS goes shooting upstate. I mean, where you are, Dan, you could probably line up a bunch of cans in your backyard and just, shoot at them.
I have a gun range like less than a mile away. Like I'll be out there drinking coffee and you'll see bang.
Yeah.
We just got used to it. But
I have one on the other side of the lake too that you hear all the time as well. Yeah, it's the Roslyn Rod and Pistol Club has a range out there for years and years and years.
So you can't. So what's his excuse? Like,
wow,
Wally.
Because I think he's in like it's a populated area. You probably just can't shoot it. That's probably why.
It's the free South. Yeah,
the free South.
Well, he's not even allowed to shoot fireworks. So
listen, I went to visit a buddy of mine who's in Winston-Salem, about an hour north, right? And it was my first time to North Carolina. And I will be revisiting in the near future. Yes. Death threat. No, not death threat. But, and I will tell you, I feel warm and toasty. Just from the long weekend I was there, right? It was like there are so many places. I was staying in a hotel. I was visiting my friend during the day. I'd go back to my hotel. I could have walked out of my hotel room, walked 50 feet into the woods. I mean, because that's what's surrounding it. It's not even like a metropolitan area like a New York is. And you take your BB gun, you take your airsoft gun. Nobody's going to say shit to you.
Yeah.
It's not even like you to travel anywhere. And I still love the image. I call him out on this. Go to a real gun range, Wally, where everybody's shooting whatever, 9s, 45s, right there, AR-50, blah, 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 and he brings his bake barrel .177 cal. Like what? Sir, you can't shoot that here.
Hey, I'm going to tell you the reason why he really won't go, because there are ranges for less lethals, but the thing is, he won't do that either. Want to know why? Because he knows he'll get laughed at. Even if he went to a range for less lethal.
I don't know if he knows that. I think he thinks he's like, these are just as good because I put in a special O-ring.
I think the reason why we don't see him going at a range.
Thank you, Babu.
Like a real channel would, setting up 2 cameras where he could because he can't shoot for shit. I bet you when other people are there, they see it, they're like, this dude can't shoot for shit. He's a
I did the math, and
7 feet.
The longest, the target in his apartment was roughly like 17 feet away. Like that's the longest he could shoot.
How would you know that then? Did you call a leasing office?
I have schematics of his apartment.
As if that was illegal. Like that's
which was found online. So it's not doxed.
Oh yeah, a fun fact. While he was talking about because he wants to hide our crimes, we're hiding our crimes. He has that archive .org site, so I created my own archive site, and I've been putting Wally's videos on it, because I don't want him to hide from his crimes, because that would be, like a hypocrisy. So yeah,
Right.
there's the videos where he's shooting his too powerful gun in his apartment, committing crimes. I have that video, and
wish
it's
I
up
did
there.
that.
So
I wish I did that with his first channel.
But like Garage, you mentioned Hitchcock 45. When he does a video, right, he lays out the gun, and it's usually he does a lot of World War II type of guns, and he does all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
but he's got that uphill range in his backyard. Right, that goes 70, 80 yards, and he sets up watermelons and bottles and stuff. What is Wally going to do at a range somewhere? He's going to show us the 177 caliber hole in a piece of paper.
Right.
Like when you shoot the gun, there's no sound. It's just like,
Right,
and then he's going to zoom in the little hole in the piece
what's
of
that?
paper.
You know that carnival game that nobody wins when you got to shoot out the star. That's like what
exactly.
I saw a video on the physics of that said how it's like impossible to win.
Yeah, because the paper like flaps after a while, and you just can't do it.
And
If you like Hitchcock, check out Demolition Ranch or Kentucky Ballistics.
I've heard of them. Yeah,
Kentucky Ballistics. I mean, Demolition Ranch. They're entertaining. I mean, Demolition Ranch has something like 5 million or 10 million subscribers. I mean, it's like the big time. But the guy has like a new gun a week. So the guy, Wally has the same 3 fucking pellet guns.
Basically, the paintball gun markers and a pellet gun.
Yeah.
At least Hitchcock 45, in every episode, whether he blows up watermelon, shoots up watermelons, doesn't matter. You get an education. Like he'll tell you
exactly.
where this gun came from, what came out that year, how many were made that year, or this is a reproduction. Like he actually, you learn things. There's nothing Wally can teach you because he doesn't even do that. Like he's just a low effort.
He doesn't know. He can't even teach you you can't even teach you the basic safety rules on firearm safety.
He had one video that was informative.
And keep it off the trigger. He'll do that.
But he had one video that was informative, and he got a lot of views. But then he made 1 million videos like it, but it wasn't. First of all, it was the same. Like you said, he has the same 3 weapons. So how many times can you do a detailed specification video about what you have?
Hey, look,
he can't even.
And now it devolves into shooting Antifa and the trolls and everything else.
Right.
And any information that he would try to give you about gun safety goes right out the window when he's in his living room shooting, from 7 feet
at a cookie tray.
That's something that a 12-year-old would do.
Well, no, because he has the yellow glasses, so it's all fine.
Yeah.
Hey, does he still have the video up where he talks about I think one of you guys mentioned it, where he talks about where he encourages people to drive through protest or hit somebody with a car?
That was a while, not too far along.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Did he take that? Is that one still up?
I don't know. You guys have gotten so many videos taken down. It's hard to keep up.
I think.
He was like, if you chain yourself across the highway, I have the right in my 2A state to just murder you. I don't think that's exactly the wording of the.
Yeah.
If you approach my vehicle, I can kill you. If you step on my lawn, which isn't my lawn, I can
basically
kill you.
what it is like the clause is the clause is that had the protesters have to be an active threat. They have to have either have done something to threaten you, like throw a rock.
Well, that's true of any of these stand your ground or castle doctrine. The difference is, like New York, you have a duty to your retreat, and it's the extreme end of the spectrum. But you still have a small window for self-defense, provided you are under threat. Same with the castle doctrine. You can't just shoot somebody who knocks on your front door, right?
They have to basically kick your door in.
Well, according to Wally, if he sees you fucking around with, if he's on his balcony, sees someone messing around with his car 100 feet away, he can run out there and shoot you.
Well, messing with the car, one thing, but standing next to it or walking by it, that's not a rationale to.
Well, you got to scrutinize them if they're LGBTQ.
He even actually said if he sees somebody there that has the green hair or anything else, don't even wait. Don't even, just just go right at him. Just
because they've been carjacked. He read the article.
We also know Wally's afraid of girls with water bottles, so he talks a good game, and then he jumps to the floor and cries, "Did you see that?"
Do you know the craziest
coward ever?
You know the craziest thing is some people have green hair because they're promoting something with their job, like promoting an opening of a new club, promoting the opening of a new car wash,
Some
promoting an
people
open.
are just.
I feel like half the people I see that are 20 years or younger have like different color
Exactly.
hair. It's like
My sister,
the kids are doing it
So
these
what?
days.
So what?
My
So what?
sister is
Yeah.
the CFO of a fucking telecommunications company, and her hair is like half purple. It's like right,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
she could
so
buy
what?
and sell
She's an
Wally
idiot. Anybody that has green
20
hair
times.
should be
Well, that's
shot.
not saying much.
That's like
Yeah.
tattoos too. Like tattoos are just accepted. When I was a kid, my mother was like, "Don't get a tattoo, you won't get a job." And now it's like no one cares.
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Dude,
It's
I'm
just
a
a different
Can I
world.
tell you how many people I wear a tight black T-shirt? They see the shit. It's odd when people don't have a tattoo, right? It's not
Yeah,
even a
that-
community.
yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
even a conversation starter anymore. It's just kind of
Yeah.
like it's
It's-
not even
yeah.
something anybody gives a thought to.
It's become mainstream, actually. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of mainstream now. Yeah, yeah.
So the whole bull ring and all his bullshit, and skinny jeans.
It's just jealousy.
But
Deep
that,
down,
like,
it's
like,
just-
A euphemism
you know,
for jealousy.
he's First
Yeah.
Amendment. He could say that stuff, but when people call him a bigot, he gets mad at them. It's like you're the guy saying we should run
Right.
over people with green hair.
And
Like,
First
Right.
Amendment has nothing to do with
What's up,
this.
buddy?
First Amendment has
And-
government censorship.
But
of
did
Right.
you see the one that he
not
said?
us.
That he said the update on the channel, and he's like,
Mhm.
"Let it go." Last warning. Let it go.
That's
what
when I got
my
do you-
shout
out.
Yeah. What
that's
do you
that's
mean,
where
let-
the on the title card for the show, it's final
That's
warning.
why-
It's
What do you
Wally's
mean?
video.
Let what go? You know, he makes videos. We comment on them. Too bad. You can't do anything about it.
And it's also
Wally.
funny
Too
because
bad.
last week Wally
Too
made a
bad.
video. He said he's swearing on the lives of his children and his friends
Beautiful children.
that he's going to sue us. And then this
Children
week he's
that he
like,
doesn't take
okay,
care of.
one more warning, guys. It's like, what?
Yeah.
You just swore on your lives of your kids. Like, there's
Wally,
no...
go for it.
This
Whatever you
time
want to
for
do.
real.
I'm happy to oblige.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
for it.
No, I'm not kidding this time.
This
Like,
I
you
have-
swore on your family.
I
that
have
you
a
can't
friend.
see.
I have a friend of mine who's a wife of one of my college roommates who was sued by Donald Trump specifically right before the last election cycle.
Wow.
Well, she was in a political position and what have you. So Facebook Messenger, she sent me. She was so proud of it. The screenshot of the front page of the lawsuit, and it was like Donald Trump v. blah blah blah.
Wow.
And and that case got thrown. It was one of the 60 cases that got thrown out during the whole election thing.
Right.
But so I would relish like the same way you get your C&D and like crayon from Wally with like, in wax of the steel. I would love to get. I would frame it. I'd put it up.
You probably like
know.
Slippery and I have speculated when Wally, assuming Wally gets this windfall of cash, the least he's gonna do is like the lawyer will be like, well, we could send him a cease and desist and see what the fuck happens. So we're expecting
First off, you
to
gotta
get like a
find
real lawyer written,
I'd be
not one with
accused
the
of
spellings. in it.
dogpiling in
You
the
would
third
you would
degree or
have to
something.
act. You would have to actually find me. You know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we don't gotta worry about you.
The main reason
Yeah.
why- the main reason
Unless
why
Wally
my-
figures out where you are, because sometimes you show your map. Every now and again, you have your map program, and I'm like, oh, Wally's gonna be like, oh, he's on Route 91.
But
That's
that's usually after like a day or two after I've left.
Oh, okay, good point. You're not doing it live.
Yeah, I'm not doing it live. It's a day or two after I've left the area.
Wally will set up a tripwire across the road. He'll paint it green so it
Tied
matches
to like
the
a
grass.
bag of bolts and an old
And-
spray paint can.
And he'll sit there in a lawn chair with his yellow gun.
Do you ever think to yourself when he's like going on that rampage, that rage, like, and now he's like got a couple of new subscribers and they're into his channel and it's all this extreme right wing craziness, and then he says, oh, and this man Dan King, he called my leasing, and you're waiting for him, and then this guy, he did. You're waiting for something that's like. But it's all bullshit. It's never anything. Oh, this guy, Slippery. He said I had stolen valor. Yeah, Wally, you said you were first responder, and you're not. You lied.
And you have
valor.
somebody.
Wally claims I
Yeah.
said on Facebook that he's a fraud and doesn't deserve Social Security.
Yeah,
And
that's
yes,
fine.
I
Yeah,
say that and I believe
yeah.
that, and I don't apologize.
And I agree
Hey.
with that. And I'm not going to apologize either. I agree with that.
Yeah,
100%.
and you-
too, Wally.
And Wally has the second one of the I think it's the second highest medals you can get.
Emotional damage.
Exactly.
I like
The mouth goes too. That's good.
Basically, you have. And why do you have another veteran's Purple Heart?
Well, he told you the story because he's got YouTube trolls.
Right.
I'm not even making that up.
Right.
That's-
Yeah, that was the
100%
story.
Serious. That was Wally's route. He came across an old timer, and Wally was telling him about his troubles, and he's got YouTube trolls. And according to Wally,
presumably the guy had the Purple Heart
He
like
just had
on
it on
his
his head.
shirt. Like you deserve this.
Do you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Do you
that is-
know?
and the guy
Do
handed
you-
him. He said, "You need this more than I do."
Do
Yeah,
you
that's
under-
exactly the phrase. That's exactly the wording he used.
And in the comments, he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, when the trolls hear about this, they're just gonna lose their mind." Like,
The thing is, you have to basically get shot
yeah,
to get
you gotta
the
get
purple
Yeah,
one
you have to
battle.
be injured in a combat.
in combat.
Actually, I don't know
zone.
if it's
There-
in a combat zone.
There,
You have
there are,
to be- you have
there
to
are
be-
veterans that are legless, that are actually some of them homeless, that are sitting in veterans hospitals right now with Purple Hearts because they actually got them for a fucking reason.
Yeah,
None
exactly.
of
One of
those
them is
men-
missing his Purple Heart because he sold it for drugs, and then here comes.
But I think
Maga
you could,
Man.
if you turn it around, it should, assuming it was the one that was presented to you, it'll have like your name on it. But you know,
Oh, okay.
it could have been like a replica because like you know, you could buy a
imagine
replica.
any normal, well-adjusted, rational person, if somebody came up to them and said, "You know what? I'm going to give you my Purple Heart
Yeah,
because you
no.
would say, "Oh, are you kidding me? That's ridiculous." I would walk
wouldn't
away. I mean,
accept
you know,
it.
Nah,
who-
yeah, give
who
me
would?
that.
yeah, Wally right away. Oh, what do you say? What do you say? What
I'm gonna put it on my
you
shelf
walk
next to
away.
the things that I
'Cause
supposedly
he-
threw away a year ago.
You walk. You
He's
walk
such
away.
a detestable human being. Detestable
Yeah.
human
Yeah.
being.
You
He's
walk
really in
away.
every sense
He
of it.
tells on himself every time.
Yeah.
He tells on himself because
Like I
Yeah.
said,
you're telling
Here's
us
how you-
exactly what a piece of shit you are for taking
Yeah,
a
he-
Purple Heart.
I mean, everything. You know, Garage. Everything he does when he made that surreptitiously recorded video of his friend, and it's like he makes
Yeah.
everything all about himself. He tries to twist
Exactly.
everything into himself, and he's such a disgusting.
Okay, guys,
individual.
I'm live in my friend's bathroom.
Yeah, yeah.
He's out there
I-
killing himself. I gotta
Right.
keep my voice down because they'll be mad if they hear me. Anyway,
the thing is like, that. I do believe that is a federal offense especially with the Purple Heart. Well, I mean, here's how you handle somebody who tries to hand you the Purple Heart. You walk away from, get the heck away from, because either A, it's stolen, or B, the person's not right in the head.
well, as
Yeah.
long as you don't
Yeah.
say like I
Technically-
got this in battle, but like just like the idea that the asshole has it from a vet, assuming he's telling the truth, which I doubt he is.
Well, yeah, which is, again, all his stories are a bunch of nonsense.
And as I
Well,
said,
I think
we-
Wally's
we-
forgotten about the Purple Heart. I think we actually fixated on it. more than
Yeah, like he,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think maybe he probably read it by a friend of his, and they were like, "Yeah, actually, that does sound like."
I
ludicrous."
remember
No,
he
I bet
made-
he's the man. I've said it a ton. He's the man of a million loose ends, right?
Yeah.
He
tells
made
all
2
these
videos
stories.
about it, and then
Shocking
and then
and
it just went
jocking.
away. Yeah.
Anybody,
He's shocking and
anybody got
jocking
it?
you.
I still want to know
Anybody got
about
any
the
chicken
incredible,
nuggets?
the gas pains he had when the EMTs came to his
Oh, remember
apartment.
that?
What happened there?
He
Yeah,
just
yeah,
he was just like, don't pay attention to that,
yeah,
guys.
Yeah. Remember that?
Of course,
You
I
made it like
remember
you got
all.
shot, like
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
bleeding on
Hey.
the floor.
I think I made a video. I think I made a video about with that one.
But that was that.
Oh,
You know,
is
like
that
the
was that the
person
copyright
asking,
one? Does
does
anyone
it
have a
hurt?
copy of that? It went away, by the way.
I
don't
think
know.
I think I got it. I think I still got it. I think
Well, you need to put
I
it
still
on
got it up.
my archive.org site. I should start
sounded-
giving out the login information.
It sounded like it was an EMT that said, "Does it hurt
yeah.
when I touch your belly?" Right?
Oh,
It
no.
had to be like, yeah.
I was hoping for a follow up, like more of another suicide attempty kind of thing. That's what I thought he was insinuating.
Look,
but
he's
that
got-
video went nowhere. It just
Yeah.
disappeared in like a blink of an eye.
Right. And then he mentioned
I
something
think-
like, "Oh yeah, I just had like a little gas or no." And you called an EMT to treat you? I mean, get out of here.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was
You mean
like,
Wally waste?
You
people's
sit in the
resources and
toilet and you
time?
try to fart. Like that's
Yeah,
how you fix that,
really,
you idiot.
really.
he was like
Gas
like
X.
the fourth, he was like the fourth season of Sopranos, just loose ends every fucking way. What the fuck?
But you know what? He's got all the mileage he can out of the fake suicide attempts. I think he knows he can't go anywhere anymore with that because we've called him out on that.
Well,
so
it
many
also
times.
costs him like $500, $600 every
Oh,
time
yeah,
it happens because he knows I'll call the fucking
Correction.
cops on him right away.
No. It costs us.
Us.
$500 or $600.
Well,
Doesn't
you know.
cost him
I-
anything. He's
I
a
was-
Well, he
non-contributing
tried sticking
fucking
Baron
hero.
Yam with the bill. Do you remember that? He was like Baron Yam, it's your fault, and he was holding up the bill he got for going to the hospital. Like, what?
Wally is a non-contributing zero. He is a fucking carbuncle on the ass of society.
No, that's not true.
He's a boil.
He's putting up his artwork, his art on archive.org in case there's a nuclear, war we have.
Yeah, we'll
and
have
also
a
my
repository
crimes
for
have to be
deeds
preserved.
in Norway and Wally's videos of the subway shooter from
I was telling Dan, I might have forwarded to you also, HS. He made that video about Biden's son, what's his name, Hunter Biden.
Hunter Biden.
And in there, Hunter Biden says about Hunter Biden, he's like, can you believe this guy? His problem is he videotapes everything that he does, and then people roast him for it. Wally, what the fuck? Yeah.
Oh, so I was actually working on a Hypocrisy Minute video, but I ran out of time, and I was using that audio, but he was looking at when he was threatening everybody with his bullets. Like, yeah, here he is. He's obviously intoxicated, and there's Wally, But I ran out of time before.
This is the Wally thing where, if he's playing to a new audience, like any video he made 5 minutes ago no longer exists.
Right.
Even if it's still up, it just no longer exists.
That's his whole anger. He's like Dan King and the Peanut Gallery. They all remember and recorded when I made stupid, crazy shit, and they talk about it. And that's like that he wants to go to court.
That's
why he hates us so much. Exactly.
That's why he doesn't allow any comments anymore, because I would go to those people's channels and put the link to Wally's classic stuff.
That's illegal.
What kind of nut he is.
I found it. Yeah, I found it.
Oh, Red Pill's got it.
Yeah,
Send it to Dan.
I'm gonna put it in a private chat.
Oh yeah, it's very short because it's just him going.
It's a quick one.
I wanted to get that.
Does it hurt? Show me on your belly when it hurts. And he fucking staged it because he set the camera up on the floor. Right, to record.
Or his arm was out, and the guy was like, "Why is the EMT guy's like, why are you holding your camera at a distance?"
I'm just getting over a panic attack. I can barely hold my hand.
He's always able to hit the record button.
Silicone sex doll in your pants?
We haven't seen that in a while.
I've lost my bowels.
Well, but that wasn't going to be the story. I mean, Wally was hoping for a different outcome, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
And I'm sure he was hoping that, he would go to the hospital
basically,
and they would diagnose him with some nondescript thing, and he would show his paperwork showing he has flatulence of the lower GI, and he would somehow spin that into it's related to 9/11.
Yeah, I'm going to use that flatulence of the lower GI.
I use
and the purple heart.
I use that sound thing for one of my videos, and it just repeats over and over.
Copyright. That's my artwork, sir.
But one of the interesting things is I think Garage touched on it, and I think he's exactly right. When Wally had his 1,800 subscribers, they might be somebody might go to his channel because they're loosely interested in something he has to say.
You stumble across it, right?
You stumble across it, and you say, "Oh, okay, maybe I agree with a couple of things," and then you subscribe, right?
Right.
The other thing that can, and then you keep watching. You're like, "Oh, this guy's a one fucking trick pony with his rants all the time," and he thinks his, the communist fascist, and he goes through that whole word salad of New York, and he thinks that's his big whole.
And he doesn't realize that they're different political ideologies. Marxism and communism and socialism are not the same thing.
But Wally's a simpleton. He's a balloon brain. He's a bubblehead. He's a bullet brain. I mean, he's a simpleton.
Well, right now I'm looking at his views, and you can see clearly that if you type in, right now, the right is obsessed with Hunter Biden because they know now pretty much these hearings are giving Trump a major L right now. Yeah. But so they're talking about Hunter Biden. They're obsessed with him right now, as if that's a real news cycle, and so he's taking advantage of that. But notice that it's only when he does the Hunter Biden videos is when it goes up to 200 or 190.
Exactly.
And when he goes right back to his nonsense, it's going to be back to 60 or 50. Which, by the way, that 60 or 50, he should be thanking us because that's pretty much us.
Yeah,
that's me watching it, and then that's me downloading it. I get two.
61 of the 62 views, and me going, "Ooh, say my name, say my name."
That's one of the things I found out. No matter no matter what his video is entitled or what you think it might be, you have to watch it because you never know when he's going to go off on a tangent on the trolls.
There's
you never
a little
know.
Easter egg in there always.
Yeah. Because
all
it'll
right,
piss off.
all right, gents. I gotta go get me some sleep. Yeah, I'm tipping out. I gotta get some sleep. Even though my load ain't gotta be there for like 11 o'clock.
Thank you for the links.
Remember, watch your sticks. Watch your family sticks.
Oh, you know his new one is Stay Frosty. He said that a couple times now. Stay Frosty.
Oh, good. So he
I have no fucking idea what that means.
Or alien. It just means stay
sharp.
sharp.
Okay. Stay frosty. Okay.
Stay frosty, man.
Yeah.
Like a frozen banana. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to say that he's super straight.
He curves to the left.
Such a stupid term. So stupid.
Thanks for your service, Wendy.
Yeah, Wendy. Thanks, man.
Hoorah.
Peace. Peace. Hidden, I gotta know, do you really look like that, and that's just an animated version of what you currently are right now, or what?
No.
Okay, you're not wearing a mask?
No.
All right.
The eyes are the only thing that's accurate.
Yeah,
the mask,
actually,
the mask
yeah,
looks
that's
like
accurate.
the Hamburglar mask.
That's what I was making it look like.
Do they still have the hemp? Do they have like? I feel like that's something they wouldn't do
got rid
because
of him
stealing things is bad, right?
Hidden, is that true? Do you have a Mr. T starter set, or what's the chain? Is that what's that about?
No.
It's a block. Flavor Flav.
Come on, cam up. Let's see. Prove it.
Yeah. Let's play.
no
Let's
such
trick
thing,
Kevin. Let's trick Hidden into revealing his secret identity.
Yeah. Oh boy, that would
be a trick.
Yeah. But he also, Wally also mentioned in that thing.
Webcam.
Oh, yeah?
He mentioned he must have looked through a lot of some of the other dog piles had other guys from the 501st that were commenting. So he mentioned other guys too. I don't think he mentioned them by name, but he just.
Well, no, all the people he mentioned are the people that commented like 8 years ago. He's talking about the Black Book. I don't know if that's why I said I don't think he's watching Dogpile because he would have an aneurysm. And
No, he absolutely is because he specifically mentioned now that I cammed up Shane Meathel.
But like I said, I think he just scans through and then he sees your face. He's like, oh, there, I got it.
Well, no, let me ask
FBI feds.
He stops, he pauses, he grabs his little child-sized silicone fuck doll, and then goes when he sees me.
He squeezes it in the and the boobs like go like this, like that toy.
And then he goes into the shower, takes a wire bristle brush, and brushes himself down, knowing he's been such a dirty boy.
I'm so dirty.
Wally, anyone who has to fuck a child-sized doll has.
It's not even child-sized. It's like.
I don't understand what it is.
It's pocket
Garage.
size.
That is creepy. That is
like I was gonna try to figure out what it was, but I didn't want that search history in Google. In my computer.
It is disturbing.
It is, man. That's not right. Sorry,
that's not right.
That's some groomer shit for real, man.
Yeah.
Like
I had that on my desktop, a picture of it, and I every time I would look at icons on my desktop, I would see it there. I had to. Just so I had. I was going to make a video with that thing in it, and I had it on my desktop, and I'm like, I couldn't do it anymore. I had to put it in a folder somewhere because it was just.
It doesn't have arms or legs.
What are you looking
so
at?
Weird.
It's just.
It's from Wally. I swear, it's from Wally.
It's
shit. What is that?
It is just. Yeah, it's really bad.
Slippery just turn around and go. It was from Big J Triple X. Okay, I swear.
It's not.
And they'll be like, Big who? What? And I also think it was funny that Wally got the sex toy for a guy named Big J XXX, which is usually like a porno thing, right? Like,
exactly.
You can't make this shit up.
The other thing that he says that's so much bullshit is that he says for 6 long years. What are you talking about? 6 long years?
Nobody fucked with him until last. Year
well, he's looking to face. He had 3,000 Facebook friends, and people would say you're an asshole, and he's like, like that's what he's talking about. That's the attacks.
He's like for 6 long years. I made the 2 Facebook fake profiles on Facebook that he's always alluding to, and like if your average person looks, this guy made a Facebook profiles. What are they? And if you look at him, I don't even have anything anymore. He has some screen captures of it, and it's nonsense. It's not even anything that's even that derogatory. It's just kind of stupid, to be quite honest. But I wish I would know. I wish I would know who actually, or if
Right.
that actually exists, the Craigslist thing, because that really gets his panties in
Well,
a bunch.
he's
I don't-
always like,
he won't shut
well,
up
I don't
about
have
that.
the Craigslist ad. Baby mama has it, but I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
who did it. So he's telling the world, like, he thinks someone made a thing that no one's seen. Like,
Does he
oh,
really
good
think-
luck in court, buddy.
Well, that's true.
Does he
Dozangs
really
is
think she still has that though?
Dozang started non-for-profit just because of that child pornography business. Yeah. I think Wally liked the whole idea with what's his name, Sifu, with Malaya, but Malaya was a little bit too mature for Wally, so he went to something a little bit more compact.
Right.
Yeah.
He could afford.
yeah.
He's like, what can
Yeah.
I get for $57.32?
You can't
Yeah,
get
exactly.
a bottle of Aunt Jemima in there.
Well,
Oh,
I
he made him-
could give you something with no arms, no legs, and really small. It's
see his-
China.
He made a short
still
video. By the way,
alive?
did you know that he had a guest staying with him? Yeah, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, right.
I
Every
heard
other
about
video,
this.
So-
and my friend is staying with.
They were shooting. They made a video of them making French toast, and then he's like, "And look what we're using," and it was Aunt Jemima syrup. First off, that stuff's disgusting, and it's like not
Gotta
even
be old
because
by
of the
now.
racist stuff. What?
It's got to be pretty old by now. I mean, they pulled that shit off.
But he's like, "I'm triggering the
Well,
trolls," and I
he
think might
made
have shut
he had it
down
in the freezer,
Yeah.
so he must have took it out of the freezer.
But it's just
That's
a nasty
fucking nasty.
process. It's like the Dinty Moore of syrups. It's the cheapest-
It's just corn syrup, is what it is.
It
is. It's
Yeah,
garbage.
Mr. Weight Loss is using high fructose corn syrup with a
Exactly.
little bit of flavoring.
Yeah.
Mr. Weight Loss.
I can't even remember. My wife like only brings this highfalutin fucking like maple syrup that flown in from Vermont and all kinds of shit.
What
She won't
normal
even
people
have
eat?
that.
People who have money and who can travel or go to the gourmet section in the
I'm
right
almost
as
afraid
opposed
to
to
do this.
Walmart.
Well, it's actually
Ju-
maybe
but
it's
this
Jump,
idiot-
Jump
jump,
Love.
jump, Love, is it you, sir?
Yeah,
I think
buddy,
it is.
All right,
Oh,
okay.
look who's back.
What's
He's
going
got the
on,
screen.
guys?
Well. Look who came
No,
curling
no,
back
no,
to the
no.
show.
Nah, man, I've been busy the last 4 weeks. Actually, been busy.
Can we say Jump Bluff or Kmart Investor? Which one is it?
Whatever one you want, buddy. I'm on my side.
We're going to expose Jump Love. I knew it. Does
Here,
he
you
still
know, I
let you
still
over
talk to
there?
him. I still talk to him here and there.
Wow.
I still talk to him. Yeah. Well, there's no hate. There's no beef ever between any of us.
Well,
was always
but he'll
true.
be like a light switch, and all of a sudden you'll be persona non grata. Like,
well,
in a
Like
heartbeat.
the mere fact that you're here is I'm sure is twisting his balls in ways unimaginable.
Well, no, I think I talked to him. I did a stream. So I did my last one with you guys, and then I did one with him, and then I was kind of like, do my thing. I was working on my business and trying to get into the police academy and stuff like that. But yeah, it's going. It's just a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. And the pay shit, we're getting paid crap right now. So I'm working on that, getting that through and stuff like that. So I took my 4 weeks off and kind of whatever. And then I caught in. I talked to him yesterday about the Hunter Biden leak because that's actually some really big stuff. So I texted him. I was like, yo, like, do you want to do a live stream exposing this? Nothing about anything else but this information that came up in the iCloud leak. I was very distraught by. So I was like, yo, do you want to do a live stream talking about this? No beef on anybody's behind. It was more over that. It was
Good
more
luck
like,
with
do you want to like talk about that? And he never responded back to me, stuff like that.
Well, because he's got a
I
guest
don't-
staying with him.
Yeah.
He's busy.
Oh, did you know that? I've heard that somewhere before.
Hear what?
Emotional damage.
That he's got a house guest.
You know, he's fucking that house guest, right? He has to be.
That's what we speculated. Yeah.
And
I
it's
totally
libel,
agree, yeah.
sir, and slander.
Didn't you see where he said, "Oh, my house guest is in the shower," and he was all like he was feeling his wild
Yeah,
oats a little bit.
he said he's
Oh.
using my washing
Yeah, yeah.
machine and he's in the shower. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
why tell your audience that? Why do you
Yeah,
feel
what's
the need?
does he think that there's anybody in his subscribers other than Plastic in the Tree and Penny Pounder to
I
care
haven't
whether or
seen
not
Penny in
his-
there in a while. I think Penny's a little bit unhinged. I don't like him or her, how they act. It's very irrational. I still feel like Walter's getting a lot better. I mean, from my point of view, like a professional opinion, I really do think that he's getting a lot better. I do think
What
he
do you
has.
think that
Professional
is?
opinion would this be?
I think
Why
he.
would- Why do you think that is?
Academy opinion.
He hasn't had the freakouts. So I wasn't in the MAGA, like I wasn't in the like time warp at the time where he was throwing all the temper tantrums and stuff like that. I haven't seen any of that. I've only caught up for about 2 videos, so he has to have to fill me in a little bit. But what I've seen, I haven't seen him screaming. I haven't seen him screaming.
The reason he's not doing that is because of our behavior modification techniques because he know that gives us plenty of material to talk about because it's fucking
Exactly.
ridiculous. So he has to keep himself composed, which is really difficult for him to do.
Give
But
it
if you wait
time.
long enough, it's gonna happen.
We'll
It's
have
gonna
internet
happen.
flies or whatever he called those things
Freedom
again.
flies.
Freedom flies.
Yeah. It's
He'll
gonna
lose
happen.
his shit. Just give it time.
Who's his
Yeah.
friend that came over? I didn't know about that.
Hidden, you
Oh,
float.
that's just.
He's gone. He went away.
So hot.
Oh my God! It's
Somebody
Jesus.
grab him, get him back, bring him back, bring him back.
It's like when you put a tissue over the fire and it goes up. Like it's
Jump
just
Bluff,
very
he'll
light.
he's gonna unhinge anytime soon. I think Dan. Yeah.
This is some friend of his from New York.
It's a fellow 9/11 guy.
Yeah, he totally
Yeah.
doxed the guy. His screen name in Facebook was Kevin Smith, and he Wally would say that's my good friend Kevin Smith, but actually Kevin Smith isn't his name. So he did that, and then once he goes, oh everyone check out this video about my friend Kevin Smith, and it was like a 9/11 documentary, and in the documentary they say the guy's real name. So Wally just like doxed the guy.
You guys.
I forgot what the guy's real name is.
You guys don't mind if I have another beer because
Oh my
I told
God.
you guys
You have to
about
drink it out of a boot.
my prostate biopsy. No cancer, guys. No cancer.
Oh,
That's
hey.
great.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
to hear.
Congrats,
Because
man.
my prostate is like twice the size of a normal one, and I told the doctor I wish
you
my
have
dong was
BPH.
twice the size. Yeah, I have BPH. Yeah, exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So I'm gonna get another beer if nobody minds.
So wait, can't you
That's
go
to
out on
help the flow.
disability and retire for the rest of your life?
Yes,
because
you've
have
earned
a-
it.
I can. I have to pee
You get a
frequently, so that
handicap
should be.
sticker because you have to get to the bathroom
He-
fast.
So I've been watching a little bit tonight, and Hebrew seems like he's like the main one that like has anger filled with Wally. What is your beef with him?
No,
Like,
me too.
he's
Me
like,
too. Me too. Me
No,
too.
I'm angry
I'll be
too. I
completely
just
honest
laugh a
with you.
lot.
I'll be completely honest. My whole thing with Wally is he's a lying sack of shit who sucks resources out of society.
Yes.
He's a non-contributing fucking zero that
Yeah,
we pay
yeah.
for his bullshit. That's what I have a problem with.
Mhm.
In
And
fact,
he'll
he's
talk about
supposed-
how he's not and how other people in the society should go.
I-
on
all
top
this
of
other
that.
stuff is laughable, and I couldn't care less. At the core of it, the reason why I can't stand the guy is he's gaming the system. I've said it from
Gaming
day
Well, we
the
said
one.
it again.
Yeah. Gaming
Evidence,
is-
proof.
Because
is there
none of
anything
his
new
stuff-
that's happened on the Queen Mott one happening? Anything since I joined?
I haven't
there?
checked her out in a
I
while.
haven't watched it at all.
I've been
So
kind of
that's
busy.
why. Because you know why? I have back problems that are 100 times worse than Wally's, and guess what? I still have to get up and go to work every day and contribute and take care of my two beautiful kids who have actually lives I want to be in. Wally ran away, refuses to pay child support or whatever it is. They garnish his wages, and
Right.
and his wages are shit we pay for.
Yep.
When I say
Right.
we, I mean collectively taxpayers. That's what I have a problem with. Back when he
Yep.
was on Facebook, he would complain he has sleep apnea. And I'm like, you're a fucking fat 50-pound overweight, drinking all night long guy. How about starting with that rather than my
Yep.
tax dollars going to pay for your sleep
Believe
apnea?
me, the-
People don't
Fine.
realize how much your like you will get affected. Your health will get affected. Even like at my age, if I sat around and didn't do anything, I would have problems because your body will shut down. So you kind of see like people that are like entrepreneurs and stuff like that. They kind of still work out. You have to, because if you don't, you're going to end up deteriorating your
Well,
body.
it's also like mentally. He sits in front of a computer for 12 hours
Listen,
and
I
watches
there
the
was a
same
time in my
fucking
career.
shit, and he's losing his mind.
There was a time in my career when I worked and it was unplanned. I would plan on just working part-time for about 6 months, and it ended up extending to about a year. I was back in my like early 30s. And I was like, oh, this is great. I'm making enough money to live. I'm in New York. I'm a single guy. I go to the gym twice. It was like the gym tam laundry thing, right? But after 6 months, and I'm like, okay, like you'd start losing interest, right? And then I'd be like, all right, I'll get deodorant today. Like that would be my goal for the day. And then like, now that I've done that, now what? That's Wally's every fucking day.
Right.
And
Yeah,
he's done it to himself.
Yeah, but
He was talking about how he went to Walmart with his friend.
Oh,
Like
that's
his
exciting.
friend's in town. Don't you want to do something a little more interesting?
Well, it
than go to
depends
the
on how much
fucking-
money you got. I mean, like right now we have 2 kids. I had to pick up doing the police, so I'm not getting paid for that. I had to pick up another job for that. So like we're still making ends meet. I mean, our rent's $2,000 a month, my dude. We're in the apartment phase right now, and we couldn't buy a
please,
house.
$2,000? That's so cute. $2,000
Yeah.
a month. It's adorable.
Well, I mean, isn't minimum wage over there, and like it's like 14, 15 over there?
In New York?
$15 in New York.
Yeah, ours is
15.
like 8 something. It's like 8 something, and I'm making
Oh,
way above
no.
that, but not by a lot. When I lived
Well,
in,
listen, I mean, look, there's cost of living adjustments, sure. I mean, New York is proportionally a lot more expensive, and that's why salaries are generally proportionally more. You know, you would hope. But look, everybody struggles except Wally, right? Who spends our money on Freddie fucking sweaters, right? Instead of taking care of himself.
Don't do a fucking thing.
So when you ask me why I'm mad at him for that, not because of his stupid personality that he's invented. I find it laughable and sad, sure. But
I also told him, I don't know if y'all caught it. It was the live stream a while back. It wasn't the one with all the questions. I did one more after the last one. I said goodbye to y'all. I did one more, and we talked about getting a job and stuff like that for him and stuff like that. I don't know if y'all caught it. I think he deleted it right
I heard you talk about
Don't open up that wound.
Jump, don't you find it completely repulsive? Like, we knew this guy when he was in New York, and he's making all these live streams, and he's got his
with him.
Yeah, he's got his disability sticker where he can park in those spots. And the guy is like wearing this giant costume, and he's doing all the things that any normal person can do. And then he moves down to Carolina, and then all of a sudden on his stream, he's doing these full board jumping into pools type of things and trying to represent himself as a person who's disabled. Isn't that just disgraceful?
And also, you should point out that like there's
no reason. Problems. That's all I see. It like there's some mental things there, which he's addressed.
So you think it's mental? You don't think it's physical?
I don't think he has any physical. I don't believe that. And
I've spoken to professional mental health professionals who have watched his videos. Okay, and they all say the same thing.
His girlfriend. He's talking about his girlfriend.
Yeah, well, not just my girlfriend, believe it or not, but but the concept is, and they all look at the video, and as soon as they hear him speak, and in more than 5 minutes in the videos, I've learned this. It's Arrested Development. I don't know where
I love
where
that.
Wally got wounded or harmed or hurt or wasn't loved by mommy and daddy, and it's probably
we gotta understand that there's a reason why you need both parents in the household, and usually ones that don't, like all these school shooters, have some problems.
Listen, bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that because I'm a single parent. All right, and I'm present for my kids.
Right. So if I'm talking about like a mother, like a toxic mother. Yeah, listen. So like if it's like a toxic mother, which I don't know his mom's situation or anything like that, or how the dad
according
was.
to Babu, his parents were great. Wally was the fuck up. Wally's narrative. You see, you fall for his bullshit. Wally's narrative is not what actually happened. Wally grew up in a decent neighborhood with an Olympic-sized fucking swimming pool with decent parents, and he was just an asshole, and nobody liked him, and he got the shit beat at him all the time.
I agree with that, because
and that's not the story that he'll tell you.
Wally's old man, worked as a union plumber, and Wally, by his own words, says he worked up until very recently breaking his ass. Wally never wanted to break his ass, and that's the one thing that Wally never talks about. He never talks about any accolades that he got from his former employers. I'm sure he sucked as an employee because he has 1,000 papers in his book, but not one paper is anyone from his employer saying, hey, this guy's a really good employee, and he goes the extra mile and he works hard. I'm sure he went from
was
job
the first
to job
trooper
to
of
job.
the month. Okay, that's in stone.
We talked about that too. We talked about like
naive.
we're talking about the well, it's not naivety. I try to see the big picture at the end of the day, and that's why I try to say
the guy has had years of opportunity to take care of himself, and he hasn't. He ran away from his fucking family. I have no respect for somebody like that.
And he chooses to attack everybody.
You know what?
I'm at that same level of anger about that shit, dude. There's a lot of people.
Wally's an evil scumbag.
Yeah,
emotional
damage.
Shane, we're gonna get good views on this one.
Jump-Luff was right about the anger thing.
It pisses me off. It pisses me off, and it pisses me off because people like Jump-Luff, who are sure are nice people, we've all fallen for it. Dan fell for it. There are always people throughout Wally's life who are like, Wally.
Yeah, we're all victims of his.
We've all victims of Wally.
We went out of our way to try to like help the guy, and then we're like, oh, he's a crazy person that wants attention.
Emotional damage.
Yes, a lot of emotional damage.
But he talks about the New York City system of family court, right? Well, you know what? He's the one who left. He left New York. If you want anything to do with your children, the only home that those kids ever knew was with the mother's parents in their home.
The mom tried to let him see the kids, though. You see what I'm trying to come at? Like
would you let a fucking violent, crazy person be near your children?
All your information is coming from Wally. It's like,
no,
what does her family have to say?
No,
he's a nightmare.
So supervised is a thing. You can get supervised, right?
That's
so
if you're in the damn state.
Yeah,
But
he lives
but
800 miles
you have
away.
to be in this, you know. But Jump Off, you have to remember, right? You have to remember he left New York, and for some reason, his baby mama went to court, went to this whole system where the system decided he can't even see his kids, or he's not willing to take any steps to see his kids because that would require him coming to New York, and he just gave up on it. So for him to say, "Oh, I'm fighting it, I'm doing this," he's not fighting anything. If you want to see your kids, Dan gave him advice at the very beginning of this whole thing. He said, "You know what? You want to sacrifice and see your kids, you're gonna have to move to New York. You're gonna have to get a little studio somewhere near your kids, and you're gonna have to make an effort
Like
to
I
see your
did.
kids." He's
Yeah,
done
like a
none of
roommate,
those things.
like
He's done none
struggle.
of those things, and that speaks volumes about the character that he is.
Right.
He's
So
a
do you think
detestable human being.
Walter could get a job that would pay that? No, that could pay for a studio, because if me and my girl weren't working both right now, we wouldn't have enough money. We pay over
always a
$5,000 in bills
You're
each
either
month.
in a
so,
shitty neighborhood, or you get a roommate, or you get more than
there
one.
you go.
Like, there's
Yeah, so you
always
have
a
a point. You have
way.
a point.
I have an
that you-
assistant right now who makes minimum wage, okay, in New York City, which is 3 times as expensive as Wally lives. She's got a 1-year-old son. She busts her ass, right?
I can see where you're
And she
coming
makes-
from. I
She
can definitely
makes
see
her
where you're
way.
coming
Right, like, look, you know what? If you want to make it work, you make it work. He just doesn't give a fuck. He's
And,
Jump
and,
Left during
and,
the college.
that's why he has his playlist that New York sucks, because if he, in his mind, this is my speculation, every time he makes a video on how New York sucks, he's off the hook, because it's like, oh, well, New York sucks, so I can't obviously go there. Even though his family is there. His kids are suffering in the cesspool of New York.
Right,
But he
yeah,
continues
but
to make
think
videos,
about
oh,
his
it
thing.
sucks there.
His-
I would
his-
never live there.
His
live
whole
there.
New York thing is like the only way he can see his kids again if some civil war and civil unrest breaks out, and he can drive there to get them, because under normal circumstances he can't succeed and he can't survive in New York. That's basically
Ask
it.
yourself, what kind of person, right? Do his parents excommunicate him? Do his brother excommunicate him? To his sister? Not a fucking person who knows Wally, except for the Kevin Smith guy who he's having sex with right now.
Okay, so have you guys met his parents? Because I've heard like where he says like, you know, everybody says
Babu
like
has. Babu has. Yeah, Babu has.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but like I think we talked about it way while back, where we all kind of put on this fake face for people. Like when we go over to a family get together, or like if we're working. Like my first job was when I was 18 was Dollar General. We had to put on a fake face, and I had people just bombard me and just put me down. You know, oh, you're an idiot. You know, I might give them 1 cent back that wasn't whatever. You know, maybe I didn't give them a cent back, and they would make a whole scene about it. Right.
Jump Off, you're adorable. Okay, listen to me. Every group of people, I mean, every group of people, does it give you pause when the Star Wars guys, who have nothing to do with the Mason guys, who have nothing to do with Wally's high school guys, who have nothing to do with the MGTOW guys, who have nothing to do with the next group that he's going to piss off?
I think I see. Yeah, I can. You guys
they
can see.
all end up with the same conclusion. The only reason we're all in the screen is because of Wally. We didn't know each other beforehand.
Yeah.
And I always say,
thanks,
too,
Wally.
The reason that Wally is keeping his shit together is because so many people are watching him now, and he has to keep his shit together.
Dan's video blew up though. He got 1,500 things, I think, one time.
Yeah,
it was like a weird
YouTube broke that week. I don't know what happened.
Who can resist this content that we're making right now? Look, did you see HS?
I mean,
HS. I was getting scared. I was getting a little scared. I was getting a little scared. He was getting.
Wally's gonna isolate that part. He's like, look at how mad he is at me. Can you believe it, guys? I'm just living my life, and people are mad at me.
I'm a viewer, right? So we could say I'm a viewer. Here's an old viewer.
You're an enabler. Right? You're an apologist. You're the reason why Wally.
So anyway,
Hebrew wants to fight Jump Left.
Fight. No, I don't. I mean, the guy's got a good heart, but I think
I agree with that. I think I
like
Jump. I like the way he goes about it.
He's trying to get us to talk. It's peacemaker. Blessed are the peacemakers, as Jesus says.
Judge, lest ye be judged, or whatever.
So enabler is kind of somebody that goes and is like, "Yo, Maga, you're right. I never did that. If you guys watched the live streams we did with each other, I did 2 with them.
Yeah, I
never enabled.
Yeah.
I actually asked questions that y'all had. I went into the fiery pit on both sides, and they were willing to take ridicule from both sides. I was willing for Maga Man to eventually get my shit somehow and dox me. I got death threats. I mean, I went into the fire, so I don't think it's enabling. I really do think it's
real.
Yes, I talked about that last time
from a Proton Mail account.
Yeah, I don't know who it is. I won't
Wally,
say.
yeah.
Interesting.
Because you asked him tough questions that he doesn't want to answer.
That's what
because they're
happened with
valid
me.
Questions.
I
Yeah.
would ask the questions the forbidden questions, and I was like, "Fuck you." He made a Facebook post with my name on it
Like
and
Wally
listed
would-
my crimes like
Wally-
5-6 years ago, and I was like, "Fuck this guy." I'm done.
Wally
with
would
him.
go down to the police, and because we said we disagreed with him on YouTube, but when he would say shit, and he made a live stream where I think he said something like he's going to paint Cooper Avenue, where my
With your
place
blood.
of business is, with the blood of my head if he catches me.
I never heard that. I never saw that one.
Did you ever hear the ones where he mocks Slippery's child or Dan's
Oh yes,
child?
and I've described that. That was
Reprehensible,
uncalled
horrible,
for. I've talked about
disgusting
that.
shit.
I've talked about that. Yeah.
He wants to
so
pull
that was
my long
uncalled
hair
for.
back and punch me in the neck.
But
He said that about me.
look, everybody gets mad, but Wally never comes on, and he never makes a video, and he says, you know what? I lost my temper. I said things that I shouldn't have, and they were horrible, awful things, and I
Right.
really, let's move on from there. He cannot say that. That's not
On his long apology to me, he didn't mention any of that. He was just like, well, like Slippery came at me, so I had to, I had to make fun of, like,
he
that's not
referred
an apology, buddy.
He
So-
referred to HS, and he, and it's no excuse, but you could tell he was drunk. He referred to him as a kike. He said he had ugly kids. He said he wore coffee filter on his head. I mean, really disparaging.
Right, but we've already,
disgusting thing.
we're not. He's not the same kind of person though. We already talked. It's described.
Well, I
that he
don't
has
believe
mental
that.
issues.
Talking about? He's
I don't believe
exactly
that.
the same person.
I don't believe
That's
that.
the
You don't
same
just turn.
guy.
You can't turn that on and
He
off.
was drunk when he did that live stream. So,
But that's
like,
not-
in
He
my
has
opinion, it's
mental
like,
issues. We've already
that's him.
described that though, and he's very open about that though.
When you're drunk,
He's not,
that-
because his
but-
audience tried calling him out. He was like,
But
he
you know
was
what-
like, don't watch that video. That's an old
Well,
video.
when you
Like,
say those things
yeah.
and you're drunk, when you're drunk, your true feelings come out.
Yeah.
So
That's
you
true,
know
that's
that's
true.
what he believes.
He hasn't been
You know
drunk in
that's
every
what he
video
believes.
where he's mocked your daughter or he's mocked Dan's kid. I mean, come on. We're talking about apology. You bring somebody else's kids in. Look, he could say all the shit that he wants to me. He gets my kid's name in his mouth. I'll fucking take him out. Death threat, Wally. Death threat. I'm looking right at you.
Yeah, I
Death
can
threat.
understand that. I can understand that. I can understand that. It's not the fact
We
of
at
that.
Dogpile
It's where
Wednesday
I
do
try,
not
and I'm
condone.
also the one that tried to get everybody together. I also asked in that thing. I was like, "Yo, can y'all eventually whatever?" And so I'm not saying he's 100% right. Not at all. I wouldn't be here if I thought he was right.
The
I mean,
few
I-
times he's been on a live stream with me and other people like this, it's been a nightmare for him. So he's not gonna do that. Like everyone
Right,
else
and I
asked him
obviously
tough
know that
questions,
now.
and
you
he
know.
ran, and then
the
the
thing-
chat he threatened everyone with
Yeah, because he-
legal
he
ramifications.
he can't keep it together when he's meeting somebody on a confrontational basis and just like have a discussion and say, Wally, it's really inappropriate to talk about somebody's child, whether it's mine or anybody else's, talk about their disability in such a disparaging way. Just not what's done. It's not correct. It's not even human. So like a normal person would say, you're absolutely right. I mean, I went over the top. It's not something I should have ever said. I apologize for it. I have no excuse and move on. But he can't do that. He just
He'll
can't
go,
do
but
that.
Slippery said the thing on a comment.
I've also heard in here, y'all were talking about him having a gun. If he's on SSI, you will get denied 100% all the
He
time.
doesn't have a gun. He doesn't have.
No, he doesn't have a
gun.
well,
he made a video where he said,
pretending
I
to
don't
have
show
one.
everything that I have, but
he implied that he
lied.
has a real firearm.
Yes,
But you know what?
correct.
Even now, like you talk about the National Instant Criminal Background Check System, with some of the mass shootings that have happened for people that shouldn't have had a gun, I don't know. Maybe he does, because it seems that a lot of people slip through those cracks, and that gives me pause. I don't know if he does or he doesn't, but he certainly doesn't. Not with his temperament. You never know.
I think I've told him about that last stream. I was like, I don't feel safe with that at all. And like, but he was able to talk to me, and I was like, it was not the one I asked all the questions, the one after we were talking about, he says he don't want to talk about you guys, so we didn't talk about that. We talked about
on the live stream, he has a banner that goes across the bottom that says, I will not answer personal questions about my life. Like, who does that?
He didn't talk to me about that. He didn't want to talk about that at all. But when I asked him some stuff and stuff like that, he didn't get all angry at me. We disagreed on a lot of things. We wanted to do a political stream, so I did that. And he didn't like go off like you guys, like I saw before. So I see
people really thought John Wayne Gacy was a nice guy, right? I mean,
How many times do you hear that? How many times do you hear that? Yeah, right. With all these serial killers or people like that. Oh yeah,
Wally is articulate for being as uneducated as he is. I'll give him that, and he's well spoken for being as uneducated as he is.
He's got a good speaking voice.
And he's charismatic, but he's also a fucking evil shit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If you don't agree with him politically, it's like you could die. It's fine. He was talking about this girl. This what's her name? She was a basketball player, and she went to Russia. She's in Russian jail for 10 years, and he's like, oh, well, she liked BLM, so sucks for you. Instead of being like, this is an American citizen on a trumped up charge or a fake charge, and the Russians are doing God knows what with her, and they're using her for a prisoner exchange. Wally's just like, good luck in jail, you lesbian black bitch. Like, nice, Wally.
You know, she's just being used as a political pawn.
That's fucking evil bullshit.
Right. But the difference between Jeffrey Dahmer and Wally is Jeffrey Dahmer's mother actually said she loved him. Wally's mother, no good. So what does that tell you? That tells you that Hidden's on fire right there.
I'm sure she loved. She like. I remember on Facebook they were like, she would comment on his stuff like they must have made up or whatever. Yeah, but you know, that probably was short-lived.
Yeah, I don't comment on that because I don't know. I hear your guys' side about how his parents were amazing, and then I hear of that. I mean, I
didn't say they were amazing, which is
but also I don't know. I think the thing is, like, no matter what his parents were like, he's a 45-year-old man.
So
get your shit together. Go get
so there's
therapy.
a point where you got to kind of and that's why I offered him. I was like, yo, you get a job, get off this politics. This was the last one I ever did.
Get out of the house.
Yeah. I told him to get off of that. I told him to get off the thing. And politicals.
Volunteer somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. I even said that. I don't know if you guys can find it. I don't know if you'll have all the archives.
You think he's going to listen to you instead of the 50 other people who've told him the same thing in the last 10 years?
I mean, his whole political thing is like personal responsibility. Take care of your children. You know, support yourself. Don't be taking government handouts and government grants to pay for your apartment.
Then he'll bring. I got $6,000 for a handout, guys. Check it out.
Everything he says is going to get a lot of money soon. I don't know how he's going to get a lot of money soon, but he's going to sue you guys pretty soon.
Jump Bluff, you've got us all aggravated and flustered here. I'm starting to sweat. My God, we will always have fun. Come on, let's talk about something fun.
It hurts my heart.
Jump Bluff, you seem like a nice
I like Jump Bluff brings he's brings up some good points.
He brings like this
I miss Penny. Penny realized he was part of the show and he bailed because he was trying to troll us, and I just love the guy. Penny, come on back.
To be provocative, right? And I get that and force the conversation. It's one thing to try to see the good in people, but there is no good in Wally. All right, because you're not the first, second, or 95th person who's tried to see the good in Wally.
Yeah, I think he doesn't have empathy. With me,
and Wally doesn't have any humility, right? And that's the worst thing. Wally,
I don't see any accountability there. I don't see any accountability, but I do.
He blames.
I think it was even Gramps that was like, Gramps was like, I see him doing better too, and you got to give.
You see me getting better? What?
No, not you. I like you, Gramps. I don't believe Wally doesn't like you at all. But when we talked about you, he doesn't like you. But I don't have a problem with you. I don't have a problem with anybody here. But I think he was getting better, and Gramps was like, oh yeah, I think he was getting a little bit better too. So do you think that switched?
No. But when you say
it's always short-lived.
No, he's not getting better. He's tailoring his YouTube channel not to be so fucking off the wall. You know, he's trying to stick to a program, because before, when you looked at his and then he says to me, "Oh, this guy had 2 YouTube channels taken away." Yeah, that's because of him. His YouTube channels got taken away too, 2 of them. So
Wally, he has the exact same number.
But Wally's toned it down because he wore it like a badge of honor that the Secret Service, the Glowies, came to his apartment. But guess what? They must have scared the shit out of him a little bit, because ever since then he's like, well, I overspoke a little bit, and then he's tailored that away. But he'll be back.
Well, I mentioned on the last episode, I called up the police, CMPD, and they were like, they have a Wally guy. They're like, we're aware of him. And they're like, what did he do? So all those business cards, they're not Wally's friends.
But the point I was trying to get to before I was yelled at by everybody was the point of where I said that
nobody's yelling at you.
It was the point of he actually he's honest about at least his mental issues.
No, stop right there. He's not honest about anything. Come on, man. You're not this naive.
I'm not at all. Not at all. I'm trying to describe, but y'all cut me off.
But his first channel was so disjointed. There would be videos about MGTOW stuff, because those people, like the MGTOW people, kind of took him in a little bit. So he would make MGTOW content when he wasn't even a MGTOW guy, really.
I'm taking a break. Bye.
Wow. He's got to go out. He's got to go out and smoke one.
But does he? Oh. And so he would make all kinds of different content. He would talk about his baby mama, how he would cry, and then he would have panic attacks.
It was always MGTOW hyphen watch me cry about baby mama, guys.
So it was all over the place his content, and now I think he's got a couple of guys that try to give him advice. So he's trying to, he's trying to stick to a program that seems to get him the most viewers, and that's just ranting and raving about ultra right politics. And I think that's what gets him the most success. Even that his less lethal stuff, because like,
but he can't stick to his guns though. No matter like he's always like, oh, make sure you do this thing because it'll piss off my trolls. Like just don't talk about the trolls.
Right.
Stick to your fucking topic or whatever.
But even the whole premise, if you saw his last video where he says, okay, guys, let it go. What are we supposed to let go? He makes content. He talks about all these things, and then
we're not allowed to make fun of his
We're
content.
not allowed to talk about it.
So that's where I can see where he's coming from, and I can see where y'all. It's kind of y'all are just kind of doing your thing. I mean, it's not against the law. There's no, and I told him about that even the stream before the last one. He's not going to win any money and not to waste the money. There's nothing you're going to be able to gain from this, my dude. There's nothing you're going to be able to gain. And so with I can see his side where he's like, you guys keep doing this live stream and keep talking about it, kind of enabling it in a sense. But then I can also understand your guys' side where you guys are like, yo, like this.
He could not watch. He could not watch.
There you go. Yeah, because he said don't to watch. There you go.
It's literally called a channel.
Right. You don't have to tune in here. I mean,
exactly.
nobody.
In the vast scheme of things, like no one's making money and viewership, even if it's hundreds, it's like peanuts. Like no one's watching this shit. Nobody cares. Except him.
And
he can't have it both ways. He can't be a jock.
If he did threaten my kids, I do think I would be on the the angry wagon. I do see that. I mean, that's one thing I don't play with, so I can understand, and that's why I don't say anything like you guys are wrong for doing this. No, I don't say that. I can understand it.
Yeah.
So
well,
I mean, but
actually, to be quite honest, Jumpluff, I mean, myself, Dan, and the people in this room. Prior to Wally, we didn't know each other. Now we know,
I keep saying it. We owe Wally a beer or something.
I mean, we have, this is like kind of fun, to tell you the truth. And Wally is like the butt of all the jokes, but too bad, Wally.
I was going to buy Wally a gift and send it to him, but he'd be like, I'm being harassed.
There has to be a reason why it affects him so. And I asked him that too. I said, why does
mental illness is the reason
why does he care? Why does he care? Right?
I asked him that too. I mean, see if you guys can find it. It was maybe
extreme
a month
mental
ago.
Illness
it was maybe a month ago. I asked him, I was like, why does it matter to you so much? Why does this matter so much to you getting, your side and getting him prosecuted and wasting all this money?
Let me answer that question knowing Wally. And he probably said something to the effect that, the only thing you really have in light is your good reputation. And they've taken my good reputation and they've dragged it to the mud. And they're going to answer in open court for their sins. Right? Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yes, that. And I responded with, you got to be able to, because you can't really care what people think. Like Hebrew going off on me. I mean, I'm not going to let it get me down, right? So you can't take what people say and let it, you have to grow from it and stuff like that. And he was like, well, this is they've just done too much. And I'm trying to see what y'all have done to it. And I don't see that there's
there's a guy something like 7 years ago he posted a picture of Wally wearing a crazy outfit and he said, look at this guy, and then people laughed, and in the comment he said he looks like a child abuser. That was it. That was 7 or 8 years ago, and Wally is like, he's going to court. Wally's talked about it 417 times. Everyone in the world would have forgotten about it, but Wally brings it up every time he does a rant. Last 3 days ago, he brought up this thing 8 years ago. He can't let any criticism go, and he's talking about, my reputation. Why make a video talking about the guy that called you child abuser? If you don't mention it, people will forget about it. Instead, you have people saying, why does someone think you're a child abuser, Wally? And he's digging a hole by even talking about it. Same thing with his finances. Don't talk to anyone about how you make money, and no one's going to criticize. It's like he puts his life out there. People make fun of him, and he loses his mind, and he thinks it's illegal. And it's like, it's not illegal. If you make a video crying about your baby mama and tell your side of when you got arrested, people are allowed to say, I think you're full of shit. I think you're lying.
Hunter Biden, right? When you videotape yourself doing and saying all kinds of stupid shit, well, he tried to hide it.
There's a lot more than that, buddy.
Whatever it is. But Wally didn't try to hide it. He puts it all out there saying stupid and crazy, stupid shit. And then when other people comment on it and he's offended by it, like he says, oh, well, he points finger directly at me because he says, you know what? He says, I'm stolen valor. And I said that. Yeah, I said he's stolen valor because he represented himself as a first responder. And he wasn't a first responder by any definition of first responder. So yeah, Wally, sue me. What are you going to,
You mean the Wally
and I
lied?
told him that there's
he's a
nothing
fraud?
he would win.
Yeah. Wally lied? Yeah. Is the Pope Catholic? Yeah, Wally lied. Yeah.
But even if Wally's like whips out paperwork and he wants to go to court, it's not going to happen. But let's pretend we're him. We go to court. If I say there's a video, he says he's a first responder, a reporter 10 years later said he's not a first responder, even if Wally somehow proves he's a first responder, the judge and the jury would understand where we're coming from. We're not making up a lie on nothing. You know, it's like there's questionable shit about the man out there. And that's the point that he forgets. Like, he would have to... And also, like, talking about, like, going to court. Wally, this is for you. You talk about going to court. What is court? Court is you go in front of an impartial group of people, and you tell your side, and they tell their side, and then the jury figures it out. Okay, you were king of the MGTOW world a year ago. I came on, and long story short, I convinced the jury of MGTOW guys that you're a lunatic, and here we are, Hidden's in my chat. We're talking. I'm friends with all your old pals. They don't like you. The jury is out. What do you think's going to happen if we go to court? Okay, that's it.
And I told him that. So I can agree with
he's
that
not going to get it, but
that's on the bottom there.
Jumpluff, the other thing that he said recently, like where he goes through his litany of what he said, he when he directly points to me, he said he called my friend, and like I did something wrong. Well, his friend gave out his phone number in Wally's live stream, and Wally left that live stream up. He said, "Hey guys, if you want, call me if you need something done around your house." Now, I didn't need anything done around my house, but he gave out his number, and I called him, and I had a conversation with the guy about Wally putting up stuff that was sort of private on YouTube, and I had a really good conversation with the guy, and he said he knows and he doesn't want that, and he told Wally he didn't want it, and he didn't, and he said if he does it again, it's going to be big trouble. He didn't say to me, "Don't ever call me again and don't ever talk to me again." He had the conversation with me. I mean,
that's like when I called his landlord. They were like, "Oh yes, this is alarming. We're going to talk to him. Thanks for letting us know. If he does it again, please let us know." That was how I left off, and he wouldn't go to court.
Wally
the landlord was like, "How dare you make up lies about our and hang up?" They were like, "Oh yeah, no, we'll talk to him." Wally made a video. He's like, "They called my landlord and they spoke to me, and I got in trouble." Like,
he intentionally, falsely.
I see it, Hidden. I see it.
he misrepresents events that happened. My calling his friend, there wasn't anything illegal about it. Maybe
you're exaggerating. Yes, that's good.
Yeah, maybe you have some moral conclusions about doing it, or whether I should have done it. And then he says things like, "I injected myself into his personal life." Now, how did that happen? He's on YouTube. I'm talking about, it doesn't even make.
Hidden wants me to play this video. I'm afraid.
Right,
here we go.
Let's go. Let's see it. Let's see it.
You people are too from New York. I can't get a word in with you. I had them in bad condition. And
I know a playlist about New York people if you want to check it out.
Successfully taken seeds and did the whole toilet paper thing and then sprout them. And then I've never managed to pull that off successfully. Oh, I'm talking about growing weed from nothing. I don't know enough about the plant to know where I would even get.
No, none of that for me. I already said my piece about that stuff.
That happens. So I'm assuming the males have like weed that has.
Just having a regular show, talking to my viewers.
I'm assuming.
I saw Maga Man's logo in the corner.
Imagine that a female.
Oh, it was just the infamous March. I remember the title's like March something.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is this a big?
I don't know how it turns into a male, and apparently when you get one, it sort of spreads to the rest.
Speed it up here a little bit, I guess.
I got to watch 4 hours of.
I got a jar full of fucking seeds.
Oh, I see his thing.
Oh shit! There's some people I didn't even see. Fuck me.
Is this?
Okay, so how long was Money AD there for that I didn't even notice you?
Yo, I was here for a while.
Oh man, thank you.
Is this
thank
when
you for
Money's eating his salad?
Thinking I'm a fucking
idiot.
I was looking at the wrong screen, man. Now I seen you, and I'm like, oh my god! Now there's a whole bunch of people. Okay, so this is working.
I was here, bro. Now I gotta come back on my last.
Yeah, there it is.
Because I was like, damn, did he see us?
He's like, fuck.
He's
this
like,
guy.
I'm gonna cam up
Idiot.
the most crazy way I possibly can.
That is gold. That is Wally gold.
Oh my
I'm
god!
an
Listen, when he's like,
all-new
Mega Man got a
guy.
haircut.
Oh no!
I'm
Oh
an
no!
all-new Maga Man. Do not threaten to fucking kill me, motherfucker.
What? Somebody
Do
threatened
not
to kill you now?
No, nobody did. I just did.
Oh,
but
you?
not,
We
not
have
then.
a mutual friend that put out a
Oh no, I think
video with
Tico
a
wanted to take
Yeah,
him
he's
out.
talking about
that
Tico.
said he's going to come to my home. Come on,
Show the bullets.
South American, Central American guy.
He goes right for the race.
Rediscovered since I tried to do something for the manosphere to benefit us. No, I'm doxing myself.
Well,
Come
yeah, but
get
still.
some.
Oh, you cut out
I
when
don't
he
think.
gave
I
us
don't
his
think.
address.
I don't think we need to do this.
Hidden tried to.
You wanna threaten to
raid
I
any
remember
fucking
this. This
crazy
is
person.
Wally Gold.
I don't know how far this
This is the highlight reel.
How
Yeah.
far
I
this
took
is
a break
fucking
for a
going.
week.
I think there's a lot of fucking misunderstandings, man. And I think
I took a break
That
for
sounded a
reason.
lot like Jump Off.
Hidden's walking him off the
Okay,
ledge.
so Hayden's a little bit. Okay, I'm watching.
I'm not going to tolerate people's bullshit.
I can't wait till he shows the BB gun and pretends it's a real gun.
If you want me, you've got my address. Come get some. Like I said, you know, there are things I do not discuss on the internet for a good reason, and I'm about to show you why. Because
I'm
I'm
about
sick and
to
tired
slur my
of
words, guys.
men, the manosphere, pretending to be tougher than what they really are.
I'll be
So what
right
I
back.
have
I'm
here,
gonna get this salad, yo. I'm listening, yo.
He's
What I
going to
have
get some
here-
I'm
food.
just
get
having
your
dinner,
cups
everybody.
and get your smokes. 'Cause this is getting all fucking fired up.
what I have here are two 45 caliber Sig Sauers.
That's not a
guys.
caliber,
It's
idiot.
not a joke. Come on,
Okay, now
You know-
seriously, don't fucking.
come get some. Come get some.
Don't-
No, this is not a gun. This is
Oh,
okay.
yeah, I know.
This is
Hidden was
all right.
like drinking and
Just saying, don't
smoking
get me
Come on.
sick.
Friday night. All of a
No,
sudden,
you're all right. I
this guy
know
kicks
the
in the door.
algorithm.
algorithm.
So, you're gonna threaten to kill me, Mr. Tren Tico something something? Come get some. It's one thing to be a keyboard warrior. Now I'm giving you the keys to the car.
Did you talk about him having nappy hair and being
Yes.
like from the jungle people or something in
I'm
this thing? 'Cause
so
he did in another
tired
one.
of the
That's
fucking
the other one, yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah.
I really am. I'm tired of fucking.
That was another
man-
time when he was
man
drunk and
babies
insane
being under-
on camera.
Oh, I'm gonna go kill a motherfucker, and I'm gonna come to your house, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna dox you. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Oh, he took my Friday Night Blaze. Blah blah blah. Here's the 6 hours to do it. Hollow.
He's such a dick. And you're absolutely right, Hebrew. There is no such caliber as 45
No.
6 hour. He's such a dick.
Look,
He's
I
such
know
a
I'm here. I'm
ignorant
trying to get my
jerk-off.
salad and eat.
I'm trying to get my
Oh, wait, this is the
salad
best
and
part.
eat.
This is the best part.
You know what I'm
Ready?
saying?
Ready?
I really hope. I really do. Like, I hope we can resolve this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
We
would
can
like to resolve it for sure.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Hidden's like
And I
laughing.
really do
He's like,
hope, you know, that's just what I hope. I don't know what's going on.
I don't think at a time.
What's that thing between his
I don't think
eyes?
at
It's
a
like, what
time
is that?
where
Well,
That's
in the
just the
medical,
lighting.
we call that 11s. I could give him some Botox for that. We can get rid of it. It's procerus muscle.
It looks like he doesn't have any
I say-
eyebrows.
I
Did he
think
shave his
this is-
eyebrows, or just doesn't have eyebrows?
This is a misunderstanding.
money's
on
like,
top
I'm
of a
just eating food.
misunderstanding on top of a
This is so good.
misunderstanding, and that shit snowballs, especially when people aren't directly talking to each other.
Everybody's eating all of a sudden.
Okay, so what
Somebody
ended up
speaking
making
at
him
me.
react like this? What
Hey,
happened?
why you gotta eat on
Well,
He
he
did
looks
some
like he's
stupid shit.
He's
and people called him
intoxicated
out for it.
somehow.
So
And
you
he
didn't
I
didn't
don't
like-
know what precipitated. Oh, this was the thing about where he took the Friday Night Blaze
Yeah.
and
Yes.
put Bong Maga Man edition on it.
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
Tico like did a video like, you know,
So
like,
is he
what the fuck are you
drunk in
doing?
this?
Yeah,
kill you.
yeah.
Please.
Or on medication. I'm not sure. Either one.
He looks like he's
There's definitely
intoxicated.
he's something.
He got
There's
pills
something
from a
going on.
nice lady from Crisis at one of the times when
Crisis?
CMPD showed up. So
You know, Hebrew, you're in the medical community, so you would know better. But I've read a couple of articles that seem to link SSRIs and psychotropic medications with mass shooters. So I don't know if that's true, but I don't know if it's the chicken or the egg. but there seems to be some kind of correlation because a lot of them are on antidepressants.
Right. Well, it depends on like Zyban, and some medications will exacerbate feelings of depression. Ironically enough.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I actually don't worry about.
Zyban wasn't that the smoking cessation medication?
I mean, this is not my wheelhouse, all told. I know enough to be a little bit dangerous, but Wally, at the end of the day, doesn't have the balls to even do that.
So was he on SSRIs? Do you have proof that he was on SSRIs?
He used to show his paperwork with all the medications he was taking.
He was trying to get out of therapy and then hold up.
I'm not really big. I don't really know the medical different names. So if you guys researched them and it said SSRIs, I can tell you more about SSRIs if you guys want to hear that. Because that's the strongest. If that's the truth, and you have actual proof that that's like one of his medications, it is the strongest, legitimately the strongest medicine you can be on.
He made a video one time where he shows a picture of baby mama and he says, "Oh, I traded this," and then he holds up like 3 or 4 bottles of different medications.
So if it is SSRIs, that quote's a little bit different. That hits home a little bit different for me because
SSRIs are common anti-anxiety meds. They're not the strongest, like lithium, and when you get into those kind of things, those are pretty heavy duty for bipolar. Which I would point out, because of his paperwork, we know he was diagnosed with type 2 bipolar disorder.
No,
not
he
because
said
I
said
it
it's in dispute. So that's that goes.
I wouldn't doubt if he was on some kind of benzos too, some type of Xanax.
Does he still take them?
Well, we don't know,
but we have.
And he also admitted years ago that he had an opioid addiction. So he has a record of he has a problem with drugs. He had a problem with drugs.
Well, I'll admit here now, Jump Off, you missed it. That like a couple of weeks ago, I did. After many years, I tried some of that stuff, the wacky tobacco that hidden. And no good, man. I thought people were going to get me. I thought they were going to kill me.
I get giggly when it happens.
No good for me. No good for me.
It's a different animal. It's
it's not like
pot technology that
not like 1978. No way, no way. So I'm gonna stick with the beer. I mean, look, if Wally and myself have something in common, it might be the beer, but I hope it ends there because I don't want to have anything else in common with that fucking nut job. Really.
So do you think as long as he's on medicine, he can be a decent human being to society?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because he had a lifetime history of not being a decent human being. Medication.
I also think like whatever mental illness he has, he'll be like, I don't need these anymore. I'm fixed, because he makes videos on how
I agree
he doesn't
with that.
drink for a week and he's like, I did it. I kicked alcohol.
Yeah.
Like he'll think he's fixed and he'll be
a
like, I don't
nurse
need any
commented
of this.
one time about some medical issue he had where he was discharged from the ER, and some nurse said something about alcoholism and weight, and he was like, "Oh, you're just a fucking pillow fluffer. What do you know?" Like people who are
his
medical
liver.
professionals.
You know.
He had elevated LFTs. He's
Jump
full of
off.
shit.
There are people.
All right.
I love smoking on a cigarette. He's so bad.
There are people that know Wally that didn't know us, that have contacted us because they were so concerned about his behavior that they actually, not the people that are in this chat now or Babu or anybody else. There are other people that have contacted the authorities because they found his behavior to be disturbing. So I mean, I don't even think I don't even think we touched the. There's so much more out there that we're not even privy to.
Well, there's no way to find them anymore. I found Slips Grimps videos. I saw all those, but I mean, I heard there was way more than just that.
Oh well, I'll pretty soon I'm going to make a video and I'm going to announce that I have my archive.org site. Like Wally gave me the idea, so I'll put all of Wally's greatest hits on there.
I just want to believe that people can change. At the end of the day, that's why I try to hope for.
But you would think, right? You would think that
I once thought as you did, Jump Love. I was you 5 years ago, my friend.
If you were
I'm like,
if
let
you
me
were a
talk to
man
this guy
that wanted to see his kids again, and somehow, some way, you would not have ever put the type of material you put up on the internet that became used against you. You would have never done that. I can agree
with that. I can agree with
you would have never. No rational.
He made video. He said like, if he can't get her back, I'm gonna sue your family. Like he literally made a video like attempting to like a weird form of blackmail. I don't know what you call that when you're like, you better love me or your family's gonna get sued. Like what?
He said his mother was a Xanax popping, where she used to steal school supplies. All of this shit. How do I know? Because Wally put it out there, right?
Yeah.
Wally
Dad did heroin in his 20s.
doxing his baby mama's father, right, and all the supposedly terrible things, which to me sounded like pretty noble things, like a guy who
gave out her
his
address.
family.
He gave her address when he had 1,800 subscribers.
One of the great Dan King moments was when it was one of Dan King's videos, and he's talking about Esteban, and he's like, Wally, why should I know that Esteban's son name is Isaac? There's no reason on this earth that I should even know that. And he's so true. It's just crazy.
Threaten me, motherfucker. Here they are.
Oh, it's play.
Like I
fucking Tico is here, so you guys. Oh, you're gonna play it again?
No, I heard it. We heard the audio.
Could you? I had time to spark up because.
Yeah, we heard the audio, so we were still watching desktop.
That's when
you don't get hidden. You don't get anxious. Like that stuff doesn't make you want to hide under the under the couch. No. What's it supposed to do?
It's bluffing. Stop it.
You got to keep doing it, Slippery. Just keep. You got to muscle through it.
Seriously, if you think people are coming to get you and all that shit, then
it wasn't just people. It was my friends. I'm like, oh, these guys are going to get me, and I was ducking, looking around corners and stuff. That's kind of disturbing, right? That's not. That's not the appropriate response, right?
No, it's not.
No. All right. Well, we'll stay away from that.
I did it once
after
stuff
is super high concentrate, or it's just not for you.
Well, it's from Staten Island. I don't know. Does Staten Island have a better brand of that stuff? Is the soil there better or something? I don't know. The guy that I got it from was from Staten Island, so
I think it's the same everywhere.
So I don't do the marijuana stuff anymore.
Yeah. That was my that's.
I like being able to focus and actually live my life. I don't. I understand why people do it, but it's just not for me.
You know,
so now the other way around.
Before I went for the biopsy, they prescribed me 2 milligrams of Valium.
Mm-hmm.
They said to take it an hour before.
Yeah, they come in 5s or 10s.
Was it 5? Maybe it was 5.
Yeah, and that's a fairly low dose. But they hit me. Like I use.
It didn't do anything to me. I didn't feel anything. I really don't think I felt anything. So
Wally put up a video.
Maybe I did. You know,
you can get really low dose stuff where it's not going to be like that for you.
Well,
but I thought,
you try edible instead. Something
look,
like
different
that,
things work on different people. Look, I even not the same type of thing, but like pharmacologically speaking, look, I'll give 20 people the same dose of local anesthetic, right, and over the course of the day, and it's the same the same needle, the same location, basically the same dosage, and I'll get 20 different reactions. Most of which are psychological in basis, some are physiological in basis. So it's hard to say, like, not everything works the same way on everybody.
Well, I agree with that. A really good friend of mine, she's an oral hygienist, and she says some people, just to do a teeth cleaning, require her to give them Novocaine just to do a cleaning. And I can't imagine why, but I mean, I guess there's
for fun.
Pain tolerance. Yeah, maybe, but the pain tolerance
maybe
probably
she's kind of
ranges.
sloppy. She's like stabbing their gums and shit. They're like,
maybe.
Please.
No, she's really.
Give me something.
She comes out. She has an eye patch in her hands and going like,
No.
Open up.
No, she's really thorough.
She's thorough. Well, that's probably it then. She's like, open up.
So did you guys see what's on that laptop, or it wasn't a laptop? It was the leak of his iCloud. You guys, anything about it?
I didn't watch
Hunter Biden thing.
I wonder what Maga Man would say if like Eric Trump's like Google account got hacked. Like, would he be like, oh boy,
right.
He'd be like, oh, the privacy laws, I'm not saying Hunter Biden. He sounds like a shit show. But the guy's entitled to his privacy. He shouldn't be hacking his.
Well, there's text messages. The biggest thing we found on the iceberg, because you can download it if you want to. I recommend not doing it, as the FBI is going to be after you. What the biggest thing that's happening right now is having Natalie Biden, which is the 17-year-old, what's it called, niece. She was calling him daddy, and what the conspiracy is, it's kind of been sort of proven in the text messages between them, and there is videos and there is naked pictures of the niece on the iCloud. So there's proof of that. So there's pedophilia right there. We have Biden named as Pedo Pete as his contact in his son's thing. And we have Natalie, we have that she got pregnant by Hunter. There's proof that Hunter and Haley, which I guess are brother and sister, I'm not into politics, I don't really know. So brother and sister, they had intercourse. There's proof of that. He said to get her checked for STDs, Haley. So they were going to go do that. And then there was something about the niece getting pregnant by Hunter, and that they aborted the baby, or that the baby's been passed on. That hasn't been confirmed or not. But it's kind of eerie because Hunter was like, kind of like when you're like 15 years old and you kind of have like your crush dump you, and you kind of like, you know, your heart breaks, so you like spam her in text messages. At least we've done that in high school and stuff like that. You know, baby, come back. Oh, I miss you. No, I'll change. That's what he did to Natalie, to his niece. That's what he did to her.
Jump. Let me ask you a question. I mean, I don't nearly know as much as you do, but what makes you think any other presidential candidate or president or of relation to president hasn't been just as corrupt and crazy and perverted and more so? The only difference is there have been leaks about it.
So what I think it is like
Eleanor Roosevelt was a lesbian. That would have been a huge scandal at the time. But
I think it's also
think about JFK.
JFK, Chappaqua. I mean, come on.
Right. It's just yeah.
So I was.
They should have hacked JFK's Google Drive.
So I was raised by to learn that kind of like see how I now like see the good in people, and that you don't want to believe too much of this kind of stuff. And as I'm getting older, like I said, I'm young and stuff like that. As I'm getting older, seeing life experiences and stuff like that, you kind of want to have a little bit of proof with it. And now that we have this, it's kind of proof, and it quite makes me question a lot of other things, you know, and stuff like that. So
you have a 24-hour news cycle. Everybody's got a video camera. I always find it fascinating, like people like Hunter Biden, who I'm not making apologies for the guy. Ultimately, I don't care as it relates to Wally, but why would you record yourself doing this dumb shit? And the same thing I would say to Wally. Well, I don't think he did. I think it was on his laptop. But I never understood why people.
Well, I thought they hacked his iCloud account.
I don't know each other at the end of the day for that.
I've always been marginally watch politics. But mostly local politics, because I think, like the saying goes, I think most people are affected more by local politics than national politics, and I'm just disgusted. I just try to avoid it. I try to avoid news shows. I just want to live my life. I don't want to,
You'll turn into Wally. You'll lose your fucking mind.
Yeah, you become emotionally exhausted if you engage yourself in politics the way Wally does. I think you just become emotionally exhausted.
And that's what I told him about last time we talked. I said, you got to get off this, dude. I said, I'm in my early 20s, and I still know not to watch it. I mean, just watching it, she's sad. I mean, even she just, you don't really.
You know what it becomes? It becomes like
else.
Yeah, he has nothing
job.
else.
No, he goes to Walmart with his friends.
If you had a job, if you had children, if you had a wife, if you had a family, if you had hobbies, it would all fall into place. But he has none of those things. He's just one lonely, bitter individual. You can see by like he has a guest, and it's like all he's been talking about for a week. He has a person that wants to actually spend time with him, which is like an aberration in Wally's world, because there's nobody in this world that wants to spend any time with this.
Did you hear he said he went to Walmart and he had guns and Trump stuff, and apparently like two green-haired LGBT whatever walked by, and Wally and his friend glared at him until they diverted their eyes. Wally's like, I just walk around Walmart and bully people.
My girl started laughing at that, and she was like, it's probably some like 14, 15, 16-year-olds that are experimenting or just going through that like rebellious phase.
They were probably people that looked at him and go, like they saw his outfit and went, "Oh my god!" They were laughing and they looked away. You know.
But my best comment was when, and I said it before, somebody saw a picture of him that went viral with one of him with like his guns on and his hip holster, and the comment was, this guy looks like he bought his personality at Walmart, right? It's the greatest, most perfect synopsis of Wally.
He had two pistols on the same hip. He had like a pistol and then a pistol lower on.
Speaking myself personally, like going through school and going through college and everything, like I always thought the best thing to do was try to fly under the radar, because when you draw attention to yourself,
Wally loves it.
He's exactly the opposite. Yeah. He wants to draw attention to himself because in his sick, twisted, demented mind, he thinks somehow that he's better than the average guy. He thinks he has some kind of a twisted elitist thing going on, but he's really
Well, he also says how we should blow away the gay people, and then he's walking around 2A, and he's walking around glaring at people in Walmart and dripping with fucking weaponry. It's like, that's a fucking powder keg right there.
Yeah, he says,
he's looking for an excuse to shoot somebody with his.
But then he'll like be so vile and have so much vitriol about gay people and trans people or whatever you want to say, and then he says, well, I have a trans friend and I have a gay friend, and like
he has a relative who's gay. It's like, what do they have to say about you?
He tries to walk some of the crazy shit he says back, but it's too late to walk anything back at this point because we all seen too much of it.
No, I'll go you one better. I don't think he's even trying to walk it back. We said this way, in his mind, he'll say something, and if 5 minutes went by, then it didn't happen. Right? So he can say stuff about black people or Jews or gays, whatever.
Right.
And then he'll make another video, and that other one somehow didn't exist. Right?
Like if my fellow men, my red pills, my black pills, my purple pills, name your medicine. But
what's a purple pill?
When it came to that Friday Night Blaze, this fucking asshole threatened me that he's gonna come to my home. You're gonna kill me. You're gonna come to my home, right? Here are the hollow points.
Okay. Hold on. I just opened my eyes here. Fucking Tico is here, so you guys are gonna.
But this is great because this has nothing to do with Dan or I or HS.
Yeah, this is Wally getting into it with another whole group of people.
Yeah, a whole different thing.
Yeah. Bitch. I already know where you fucking live. First of all, hollow points are going to help you when I send something to your fucking window, you fucking faggot. You cry like a little fucking bitch. That's all you do is cry like a little bitch. Just because your life is fucked up, you don't mean to go cry like a little bitch. Ain't nobody threatening your punk ass. I said, if you want to continue this shit, we can continue this shit. But if you want to act like a little bitch, keep acting like a little bitch like you are. That's all you are, is a little fucking bitch. That's all you do is cry like a little bitch. And that's all you can do is cry like a little fucking bitch.
He's not lying.
I did talk to Mug about why he talks about his crap to people. And his
this was like the best.
When you feel bad for Wally, watch this going. Come on.
This was the best segment of YouTube that I've ever seen. This was my best.
Big ass fucking kid.
And that's why you're not. Show your face. Show your face. Well, that's the reason why you don't show your face. And that's why I'm showing my face.
My face is in all my fucking videos, you dumb fuck.
That's okay, but I show my face, but you won't show your fucking face.
I've been showing my fucking face.
Tico's shown his face a bunch of times.
Yeah, I'm the one that.
Like he's not anonymous. Yeah, he's like not anonymous.
That's what I thought. I've been showing my fucking face. Like I said, I've been showing my face since the beginning. But at the end of the day,
so who is that guy that he's arguing with right now?
The king of the manosphere.
Apex Alpha.
The Apex, yeah.
See, I still think the other video where he imploded, talking about that Della Reese woman, where everyone jumped on him.
Yeah.
That to me, I think
That's why you're all by yourself.
They dogpiled him.
Stupid ass fucking.
That's not one of my videos. That's Mr. Money.
Oh, I'm a criminal. I'm gonna come kill people.
No,
yeah. I'm
not all by myself.
Fucking loser,
I got a bunch of people running my fucking channels, you retard.
So come on, come get me. Come get me.
Is he gonna throw the bullets at Tico when he comes? What's the actual plan?
You're a little fucking
You're a fucking punk.
Wally's whole thing is always like, yeah, come to my house. Come step on my porch.
Yeah.
Like a little bitch ass punk.
It's like third grade. It's completely third grade shit.
Arrested.
There he goes. He's the Apex Alpha.
Really?
You're so Apex. You lost your fucking children. You're so fucking Apex. Your girlfriend took you to fucking divorce court and raped you, basically.
Here it is.
You're so fucking Apex. You're a
really? There is no divorce.
You're so fucking Apex. You're a fucking
divorce.
I know, because you were never fucking married.
Money's eating a salad right now off camera.
So he mentioned that Hidden ended up doing something while allowing something on stream. What was that about?
Well, anyone who lets me on or Slippery on back in the day was like I would go on True Sherm's live stream and Wally would be like, True Sherm betrayed me. He's a traitor. All because he would talk to me. Like,
why do you think he hasn't called me that yet, though? I mean, I literally been so open about everything with him and you guys. So like,
I'm actually surprised that he saw you here and didn't go.
Yeah, he saw me.
Traitor.
But Jump, just think, this had nothing to do with Dan or I or HS or any of these other
Another
guys.
whole
This
group
was
of human
a
beings.
Completely separate thing. And this behavior that he's showing here, just it speaks volumes about what he is. It's crazy.
It's
and
something.
The thing is, the reason that him and the guy in the bottom left are arguing is because he used the name of the show that I was doing with the guy on the bottom left. And it caused a rift between all of us.
Yeah, and I think if
and
Wally
so this was my first show of my own coming back from not doing a show for a couple of weeks over all that shit. and he came on, and the shit started immediately as soon as I started my show.
I did hear the beef between him and True, and I was on True's side there too. I tried to bring that up with him, but he didn't want to talk about that at all.
And going back to stealing the show, like I think if Maga Man was just like, oh shit, man, I didn't know this was a big deal. I don't want to offend anybody. I'm so
Exactly.
sorry.
Yeah.
Like everyone would have been fine, but he just doubled down and he's like, fuck you, I'm the king, and you.
Well, yeah, he started down that path. He actually was initially apologetic, and then something made him go, "No, what? Fuck that! I'm gonna pull a 180."
Well, Tico
again.
was mad, and he did this with me. It's like just because you said you're sorry doesn't mean that I have to accept it, and I'm not still mad. But instead of like being like, okay, I really pissed this guy Tico off, I'll give him some time to cool down. Wally will make a video, be like, well, fuck you, and it's just like gasoline on a fire.
The Mott channel, I told him to calm down, and he instantly listened to me. So I wonder, like, I'm assessing things. You know, something like I'm saying, like I'm here talking with y'all, and he
did that with me briefly.
Jump, he used to do it to me when back in the Facebook days, right? When he was starting to show, at least the first exposure I had to Wally Crazy. I had a little bit of voice of reason, and I remember there being, I wish I'd recorded it, because I was on a live stream. He was streaming from Mommy's bathroom floor. Okay. And at one point we were talking, me and the Kevin Smith guy were getting into it, and Wally was like, called me up, and you know what, Shane Methel, you're right, my dude, appreciate it. And he does that, and he like acts like he's interested in your opinion, and then something clicks in his demented brain, and 5 seconds later he's like, no, fuck that guy, and then he goes after you.
Yeah, you're right. And I remember Dan saying one time that like after Wally got, you know, kind of rejected and his behavior was completely inappropriate with that WinterCon thing, like somebody wrote him a letter that was, you know, somebody in authority from the from your group and said, you know, like here's your money back and you're passive.
Yeah, it was for dinner.
Yeah, right. You're passive.
They didn't let him come to the Christmas thing.
Right, passive aggressive behavior, and that's a pretty good description because, like, yeah, he'll be passive and say, you know, you're right, and you know that's. But then, like you say, something clicks, and he'll say, you know what, fuck that, fuck you, fuck, you know. So it is like
talking about WinterCon,
bipolar, yeah.
He left like numerous Facebook, like 1,000-word Facebook posts where he was like, "I'm sorry, my behavior, my anger, I didn't mean to piss." Like a whole apology to the group. But now here we are, 8 years later. Fuck the 501st.
Right.
Fuck that charity group. I have secret information that'll shut that
organization down. I'm a person that believes
down.
that you can kind of overcome anything unless it's like a chemical imbalance to a certain degree. I believe that anybody can change their life and make what they want out of themselves to a certain degree. I think he can control it. I don't think there's a chemical imbalance there. I think there's a lot of loneliness and just sadness in the dude.
He has like everything. He has like every mental.
I think what HS says, self-loathing, like he's not comfortable in his own skin.
Well, yeah, because he's a gay guy with Kevin Smith, and he doesn't want to admit it.
I can get that. Right,
We're
I can
speculating.
appreciate that, and I can understand that. The difference is Wally doesn't look inside, and even there's not a shred of humility.
It's my fault. It's
he may not even like have to portray it to the outside world. Maybe he is full of self-loathing. A lot of people don't necessarily like who they are, what their life's plan was. Right. But that doesn't give them license to repeatedly attack people, and not only attack people by proxy.
That's a point.
You know, I mean, at a certain point, you want to be depressed. Be depressed. There's no stigma with that. I'll agree with Wally on that. That does not give you license to shit on everybody else.
Yeah.
They're not mutually exclusive. You don't get a free pass because you're sad, so you're going to badmouth somebody's special needs kid.
Right.
Yeah,
so I
didn't when I make fun of Wally's content, he goes, "I'm disabled. I get a pass." Like you said.
I told him. Why does he? I actually mentioned that last live stream I did with him. The last one I did, I said, why do you keep talking, making, doing anger and stuff like that? You don't want to be so angry. I said, if it's not true, it won't hurt your feelings. If it's not true, you won't outrage yourself about it, And I said that, and he said, see if I can remember it. It's been so long. He said something. It was actually a great response. Actually, it wasn't like intellectual or anything. It was something about having to. He says, so this is what he said. So he said, you got to be the louder person in the room. He says, you have to do that and you can't show weakness. So I said, I said, Maga Man, I said, that actually shows a sign of weakness in a psych, like any psych kind of like definition, all that kind of stuff. It shows weakness. He goes, nah, man, it shows strength. I said, no, buddy, it doesn't.
Because it works so well in the video that we just saw when he went into the manosphere and was like, I'm the Apex Alpha. Let me, show you my strength. And everyone told him to take a hike.
And let's not forget that I'm a Germanic warrior and Slippery is from peasant farmer people. So my people dominated his people. I mean,
yeah, such crazy.
I'm also a little German.
He had a whole series.
I'm a little German, Wally. How come you haven't done a deep dive into King? Like, I'm a king and I'm German. What does he have to say about that?
I saw that one by Dan. I saw that, so that one was probably the best video Dan's done, honestly.
But Jump Bluff, like all my initial videos about Wally were like all spoofs. They were like just dressing up like him, putting a mask on.
Yeah, like utterly ridiculous.
They were all completely
Blue Barrel one was still the best.
Ridiculous shit.
With flight. What do you call it? Like
crazy goggles.
That's the bad. What do you want to do?
They were all this
goggles and an arrow through your head, and he's like, they'll pay.
Nobody short of Wally in a mental institution that thought those were attacks on him, and he saw them as like these are attacks. Right. You have to admit there's something there that's not fucking wired right. I mean, he was this man is attacking me. I was doing like shtick on about his stuff with the soccer shirt and like the goofy goggles and the blue barrel.
So no, it's about Dan's video. Yours is great, Graham. So I like your videos too, buddy. So still OG, but I'm talking about with Dan. Dan had one where he's like, I'm a king, and he says, listen to your king or something like that. That was the best video by Dan. That was the best.
No, the best one was the lawn and
Make
then
fun
the
of my
aircraft
last
carrier
name.
on the forehead. That was
a lot of work.
But
I pushed my video editing skills.
Like,
that was brilliant.
Jump Bluff, when you saw Dan's videos or my videos, would you consider them as attacking Wally? Would you consider that?
Okay, honestly, yeah. 100%. I'll be honest with you guys. So with this, I told you about how I, saw your guys' videos. I told Wally the same thing. The less lethal girlfriend was pregnant at the time. So when I saw his one, I clicked on you because you commented, clicked on that one and stuff like that. I thought it was bullying. I thought you guys were just attacking the dude. I'm being honest. You guys don't like me. So I thought it was bullying. I really did. But then I looked more into like Graham's videos, and I was like, okay, this is justified, bro. It's like
every time I think about bully, like Wally's like, oh, he's a cyber bully. I just think of the time before I had a YouTube channel, and Wally was drunk, and he got a restraining order filled out. And for the like he admitted that he made a mistake and I wasn't the guy who did the crimes, but he made a video where he said, "Come on, Dan, come on, show me what you got. I bet you molest your kid. Your wife's ugly." Then he goes into detail why my wife's ugly.
Actually, I've never seen that.
What do you got? What do you got? And he's literally poking me. It's like, you want to see what I got?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
It was like,
here it comes. YouTube channel.
I'm doing all these like goofy videos, and the whole time he's thinking it's Dan, and he's like poking Dan and agitating Dan, and Dan has
would make a video, and he's like, Dan King will.
But I think that's a good observation from a viewer, though, too. Is like, let's see it's the same kind of perspective. You just see me hear about less lethals, go on to it, and then you see your comment, this guy's whatever, I forgot what the comment was, clicked on it, and then you see these ones just making fun of Maga Man. You don't see the ones above it. They show like the Hollow Point video and some of the other ones, and just kind of click on it.
Deletes his shit, but we have,
and that's also why I start off all my videos.
See where I'm coming from.
All my videos are clips of Wally saying, "Go ahead, make fun of me. Come on, trolls, make fun." Like he invites it. He's literally inviting people to make fun of him, and then when they make fun of him, he wants to go to the law.
Then when he says like, "Oh, these men will have to answer in open court," anybody that's irrational,
I think we all know that's not going to happen, buddy. Though
that's such a.
I kind of want it. I wish it would. That'd be great.
You bring up something really fascinating to me, and this is what Wally's great at, right? Anytime he has a potential new audience, he portrays himself as the victim. He doesn't do the "woe is me, my profile is backed by Crew World" thing.
That's why I went on Queen Mahat's thing. I was like, this guy's at it again.
Right. So at first, somebody like you or somebody like Dan back in the day, I almost fell for it. It's like, oh, this poor guy, or he's got 9/11.
Back in the day, Wally was saying that the 9/11 community wanted
they
to kill
shit on him
with
too.
no context.
Oh, really?
So
actual 9/11 people actually shit on him?
They were first responders who was threatened.
Yeah, go to Babu Parsek's channel, Jump Bluff, and he's got a video.
You're telling me actual people that help that help that.
There
Don't
were
like him.
real first responders,
Real
real
ones.
9/11 volunteer responders who said Wally was full of shit and wanted to put him in a trunk. Stuff him in a
Do
trunk.
you know?
Not
Jump
me.
Jump
That's
Off.
not Star
Okay.
Wars people. That's a whole
That's
other
enough.
community.
I don't know
That's
if
all I
you-
need. I mean,
And that's when I referred to him. I'm like, oh, that's what.
I don't know if
what's
you've
going
seen
on?
it, but Dan went to the Feel Good Foundation Facebook page that's run by John Feel and actually said, "Is someone who claims to have come and helped on 9/12 for a couple of days or whatever it is that helped in whatever Wally says he did, some kind of bucket brigade or whatever it is that he is that a first responder?" And John Field said in no uncertain terms, "No way, that's not a first responder. A first responder were the 343 firemen who ran in there, who the building collapsed on and killed, and some Port Authority, police, and other people. Those were first responders." And for Wally to represent himself as a first responder, which he did with a sign down at Zuccotti Park, panhandling
begging
for
for
money,
money.
that's a disgrace. That is stolen valor every day and twice on Sunday. And I don't care what he says. That is stolen valor.
Yeah, there's a lot to the
So,
story, Jump. I can see where
yeah.
you would like to say, oh, well, maybe there's another side to Wally. There isn't another side to
Well,
Wally.
I mean,
He's
if
an
you
asshole.
have actually me potentially being in law enforcement down my career, like I mean, if there's actual people, blue people backing that, saying they don't like him, I have to stand with my crowd a little bit here,
Jump. This guy has had, I think, by his own admission, probably at least 10, maybe 15 interactions with CMPD in the last year or two alone. Does that strike you as a normal person?
Let me tell you something.
I think it's mental issues.
Well,
Jump,
I've spoken to CMPD. They're like, oh, we know about this guy. Yep.
Let me tell you something, Jump. I'm in a Masonic lodge, right? And when Wally came into the lodge, he came
You mean
in
the
with
Lessing
another guy.
Lodge 608 or whatever it is? Yeah.
Absolutely. You've
Yeah.
heard it 1,000 times. And one of the guys that came
But he
into
didn't
the lodge,
dox you.
yeah, was and I've told the story a couple times, but I don't know if you've heard it. But he came in with a guy that it's a retired new NYPD police captain. He's been to the rodeo 1,000 times. He's seen, heard, and lived it all. And when he came to me and he said, this guy is EDP. He's an emotionally disturbed person. Like, why are we letting him in? And like, you kind of put it to the side because you really didn't know the guy. And when you held a conversation with him, it seemed like it was pretty rational. But the more you got to know him, the more you know that this guy's got he's got more hangups than the phone company. And this was recognized by this guy almost immediately. So I mean, you've seen some of it. And I get it that you're trying to be fair and weigh both sides of it.
But I have to be fair, especially if I'm going to be in law enforcement. I have to.
Yeah,
yeah,
and I appreciate that. But this is an old salt NYPD captain retired.
Yeah, then I can't. I'm gonna have to unsub. I'm gonna have to unsub. Sorry.
No.
Mom,
I'm just saying. No. I'm just saying. No. You don't have to unsub.
No,
The guy is,
sub.
No.
Yeah.
No. Don't
Sub away.
Don't deprive yourself of that pleasure. I mean, I've never subbed to Wally because I won't give him that. But
see,
yeah,
I mean, I thought Gramps was always a good, well-headed individual. So I thought I always listened to Gramps more than everybody else in here. So that's a good point. And I'm not
no. The most level-headed individual in here is probably usually Dan. I mean, HS and I, we get a little emotional, and I mean, but Dan seems to always take it in stride.
Dan, what is your occupation, if I can ask?
Oh, I'm an IT guy, computer nerd.
Okay.
Can't you tell? I'm lucky I got my computer.
We all have
turned
green
on.
screen. So yeah, on the screen, look
you
at the
can
date.
Google how
This
to
is
do
from
this
this is from the 2013.
Yeah,
this
read
is like
this.
9/11 guys.
This is great.
Who were pissed at Wally about something he did, and Wally will show this on his channel every now and again, and be like, he'll dispute whatever he's fucking talking about.
He'll shit on the guy who said
the
it.
point I'm trying to
Like,
make is he's
pay child support, so you can't believe anything he says.
Yeah, but the point is, it's like he's getting into trouble with other groups of human
Well, Wally's
beings.
the kind of guy, like, if you're having a discussion with him, he'll like, and he's losing, which he usually does in any kind of like discussion that's
You'll
honest.
see me in court,
he'll
sir.
say, well, your mother is ugly, or you know what, you wore
Your
that funny
pits hang
shirt
down below your kneecaps.
Yes.
That's always the good one.
Well, if you're not white, he'll go after your race, but if you're white, you're a faggot. That's what I learned. Because he went down the thing, he was like, oh, your Asian friend's a kook, you're a heap kike, and you're a faggot, Dan. But he knows I'm married, which makes me crack up. It's like he calls me a faggot and makes fun of my wife in the same sentence.
All
it's
his
like,
insults are like schoolyard, cafeteria,
Yeah.
anywhere between 7th grade and high school. Like when you by the time you became a senior in high school, you usually got more mature and didn't like use that stuff. But the man's in his mid-40s and he's still using the same.
That's where it's always been a downfall for me. Because like if like he was going to change mentally, because like we all, I think we go through our phases, our change. Like we have that like rebellious think we're the hot shit, and we think we can kind of cuss people out, and we act a little bit erratic, right? I think we all have that kind of phase where we went through it.
Without a doubt, absolutely.
But the fact that he's in his 40s, it's where it's always unhinged me a little bit. You know, that's where I mean.
HS, say it.
Arrested Development.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I mean,
Wally is stuck in time.
Perfectly.
His references are all from the 80s. All the TV shows that he loves are from the 80s. The games he loves are from the 80s.
He referenced some?
York in the 80s.
It was like Police Academy, like character.
Tackleberry. I fucking know that because I'm 54 years old. And Tackleberry was a joke.
Is that lady that I see you with in Facebook? Is that your lady friend?
Yes.
No, the person I think that should be a little bit concerned about is Penny. Penny is the one that I think is a little bit unhinged more than Wally. I honestly put my kid's life on it. Dude. I think Penny is way more unhinged than Wally. I think, no, I don't want to speak on anything, but I do think Penny is loose in the.
You don't think typing in caps all the time is not completely normal? Emoji.
Let's be quite honest. Anybody that finds this far remote corner of YouTube on the internet where we are right now, we're all a little bit, you know.
Yeah. I miss Penny. Penny, come on back.
Everybody is, but the way that she was, she would attack everybody, and she like felt, or he felt good about it.
We don't know.
I heard that there's one guy that came in here to talk about that it was a girl actually, and it was like Penny Proud or something.
Well, we were joking, like we don't know what Penny is. Okay. Penny doesn't give us anything.
The deal is he's trolling Penny Proud. Penny Proud is a different content creator that had beef with people that were in the MGTOW.
Are you in the MGTOW community? I'm not really into that at all, but I am into a content creator.
Hidden is the MGTOW community.
I'm into a guy named Coach Greg Adams. I love his philosophy. He's a very bright man. Some of the things I don't agree with him on, but I actually really do enjoy him. He's actually kind of a little bit bigger than Maga and everybody else, but like I really enjoy his philosophy on life. I really do.
When you say that, there's some things that I don't agree with him on. There used to be a mayor of New York years ago, Ed Koch. And
he's great.
I loved Ed Koch. I really did. And he would have a radio show, right? And he would give advice about politics that I really agreed on. He said, you know what? If you see a candidate and you agree with them on 7 out of 12 issues or 8 out of 12 issues, then vote for them. If you find a candidate that you agree on 12 out of 12 issues, go see a psychiatrist, and I thought that was actually pretty good advice.
Coach doesn't do like politics kind of stuff. He does more of like real life kind of stuff. Cause like I was not really pampered, but I was never taught the truth of the world. I got a job at 16, stuff like that. I had to go through kind of supporting my own kind of family there. I had not the best mother. So like I kind of was kind of trying to wing it, just kind of trying to be nice to everybody at the end of the day. And Coach has really been the father I never really had at the end of the day. That's how I kind of see it. A lot of guidance, stuff like that.
If you don't mind me
asking,
could I ask you how old you are?
Your mom is. That's what.
I'm in my early 20s. I don't feel comfortable saying anything more than that, though.
Oh, okay, all right, okay, all right. That's
my father passed away when I was a kid, so I had a stepdad, but it's not the same kind of thing. It's not. So
well, Wally's kids do too.
So that's what pains me about him is I never brought that up because it really egged me a little wrong way. Because like with me not having a father, I knew how I grew up and how I felt, and that's stuff like that. People don't that's why I said it's such an important deal to kind of have at least somebody there that could kind of do both roles to a certain extent. If you can't have that,
listen, Wally used his kids the same way he uses Esteban. They were props, right? There are tons of videos where Wally would be live streaming from the backyard on a beautiful day, talking about this, that, and the other thing, vitamins, you name it. And his poor little daughter would come into frame, and she'd be like, "Daddy, I want to play."
See, I've never seen
right now.
I've never seen
back in the 9/11 days. He was getting accused of being a racist back then. in 2013, and his kid would be running around, and he'd grab her, and he'd be like, "Check her out. She's half Colombian. How could I be racist when this is my
that
child?"
was one of his
and it's,
headlines.
like you said,
See,
prop.
and-
It's like,
and
and,
that's
then he'd
where-
let her go, and she'd run off again.
I
Like,
told
that
Maga,
was Maga Man.
I told Maga a little bit about my history and stuff like that. And like, I'm not some angry, hate-filled man. I don't trust a lot of people, but I don't put down, I don't, if you do me wrong once, I kind of, let you go to the side. I don't threaten you. I just don't accompany myself with you anymore. I just don't talk to you anymore. I don't do that. And he's just so angry and hate-filled with that kind of stuff. And I think it's like everybody kind of experienced here. You kind of try to see the good. And at the end of the day, and I guess there's just no good yeller exclaiming, but I have to back the blue at the point of this with the.
But Jump, just think about it. Like, my parents, my father died when he was 59. My mother when she was 73. Okay. Maga Man is in his mid-40s. His parents are still alive. He has the opportunity to spend time with them and be with them. His parents, his children, the people, his siblings, all the people.
They don't want to spend time with him.
And that's correct. And he's actually self-isolated from all those people in this part of Carolina, and he tries to come across as saying that like Shitty or Esteban or these acquaintances that he's had in North Carolina are these deep,
the best people he's ever met
in his life. And it's so anybody can see through that line of bullshit. Mm-hmm. And it's actually sometimes when you think about it, you get this tendency for like a millisecond to feel sorry for him, but then when you realize what kind of an evil, disgusting.
See, I think it's where I kind of like overcame
he's living this hell. I'm happy that he's living this hell.
See, I think it's the fact that I overcame anything in my life. I always, I can always overcome it, no matter what life throws at anybody. I've seen some of the most poorest or unfortunate people rise up, right? And I thought that maybe this dude could potentially do that too, because if I can do it, or my grandpa can do it, which my grandpa used to have to walk barefoot back to school 10 miles each day. Dude had like,
my grandfather did it too. He had no legs.
Yeah, and like that's where, I'm like, if I can get through it, or my grandpa or anybody else like that can get through it.
Well, his grandfather had a big shotgun-sized hole in his stomach. And he still did stuff.
Oh, that's harsh.
So
you're right. So like, I can understand
my
that.
grandfather was killed by the Nazis.
Is that true? No.
I had family members.
Also, I don't agree with the working thing. That's why I try to push that on him. I did push, like I told you. See if you guys can find it. I asked him, get a job. Just try to talk about the politics. Get a job,
because he'll lose his disability status and he'll have to get off his ass and be responsible.
Wally's biggest challenge.
I said it to him years ago. I'm like, get a job. It would be good for you mentally to like go out and you're pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. And he was like,
why he shits on New York? Because he knows like the only way to like reclaim a life for himself is to return to New York and engage in his family, and it's something he's not willing to do. So he's living in a self-imposed hell, and I don't mind because I think he deserves it.
So do you just believe that there's something loose up there and he just can't prevail like other people can, or do you think it's?
I don't think he wants to. I think he's.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah,
I think Wally has an innate intelligence. I'll throw him a bone. I actually don't think
I agree with you on that. I don't think he's a dumb guy, but I think he's stubborn. I think he has too many I think he has too many hang-ups. I don't know, like I'm not a healthcare.
Hang-ups is just an excuse though at the end of the day. I don't like that phrase. I think a lot of things like you're not working. Oh, the COVID. I was mowing the lawns during COVID. You can make money.
Right.
Explain to me how Wally can spend his days, hours and hours making video after video. He clearly has some self-taught editing skills, right? He's got a decent speaking voice. The fucking guy can answer. Work at a call center, for God's sake.
Yeah,
he could be a greeter at Walmart. For the guy who can't physically work, he seems to be physically able enough to do X, Y, and Z.
Right, like you say, work at a call center, data entry. He seems to know his way around computers. There's 1,001 things he can do, but he's not willing to do that.
He's always looked for an out.
I'd feel more, and that's me, but that's obviously not Wally. But I think if I were in his position, I'd feel more comfortable going out, earning my own way, than getting this subsistence check that barely gets him through it.
Yeah, it's better for your mental health. Like,
be that much.
Doing something with yourself.
And I'm wondering how much he gets a month for that, because like my mom only got like $600. Like, how do you live on that? Like I said,
well, he's got some retirement
said it
too.
once. Like he wanted to buy a $200 BB gun and he had to put it on layaway. So I mean that kind of explains how much he could be getting.
Part of it is he spends his money on dumb stuff like Freddie's sweater. Like think of his jersey collection and his desk statue collection.
Desk statue,
right?
Desk
the guy
piece.
eats shit
That's a
food.
desk piece.
He talks about eating Dinty Moore. It's like $2 a can, right?
I don't think he wants to help himself at the end of the day, though. I think that's what I'm kind of inferring here. At the end.
What?
He doesn't want to help himself.
That's exactly correct.
It's
because he's on our dime. He doesn't have
it requires effort. It requires like getting up. Like I don't think this guy gets up until like midday or 2 in the afternoon. I think he's up all night doing bullshit stuff, and I think he sleeps all morning and he sleeps half the day away. So I don't think he has the self-discipline to be able to hold down a job, to tell you the truth, at this point in his life.
And like I told him about when I was the job I had before the current one I have now, I was loading semi trucks. So I'm a tall dude. I'm way above 6 foot, but I have to like the place was like FedEx. So let's just say it. FedEx is where I worked. So I had to do boxes. I had to pick up boxes constantly. And they could weigh, 5 pounds or they could weigh 50 pounds, right? And down the conveyor belt, you had to pick up a certain way not to hurt your back, right? But I'm a tall dude, but their numbers wouldn't accompany for that. So you had to do it the unhealthy way. You couldn't bend down, go over here, use your legs, don't use your arms. And then, put over there. You couldn't do that. You had to throw them like you were whatever. So I told him.
Hold on, I just got a message about you, Jump Pluff. Here.
What's it? What are we
Somebody was watching.
What does it say?
You might have to read it to us.
I don't know what it says, buddy.
The highlights are blowing out.
I don't know what it says.
This guy Jump Bluff is ridiculous. Grandpa has. We have a hard time reading it.
Yeah,
it said Grandpa had to walk 5 miles with holes in his shoe. Give me a fucking break. Every person has their thing to deal with when they grew up. I have 9 brothers and sisters without a father, and we are all rational people. Wally's a fucking nut.
And that's from Wally's mother.
And this is a guy. Wally. This is
Slippery talks to his mom all the time.
This is a Mason, Wally. This is a Mason. So yeah.
Oh, those devil worshipping.
You have a.
There's another example. Right?
I don't think he meant to like really like pile on you, Jump Bluff. I think
you're good. I just try to see like the good in people at the end of the day. Like it's not naivety.
Well, that's a good quality. I think that's a good quality.
And I'm gonna keep it.
We mentioned like even angry Hebrew spaceman mentioned positive things about Wally. It's like he's not a dumb guy. He's got a good speaking.
I'm gonna always, because each man has their own way, and I'm gonna always try to find the best in somebody. I'm always gonna try to see the good side of people, even though there's not a lot.
Well, give us a little something about Hidden. Do you have any redeeming qualities for Hidden? I think he has.
I haven't heard him talk enough, so I don't know him enough to speak on.
Well, Hidden, give us some of your redeeming qualities.
Fuck off.
Zero.
So
I think Wally can go find himself, not find himself, drown, pull himself up by his bootstraps. I don't give a shit. I just don't want it to be on my dime anymore.
But with the job, so I asked him.
He can sit on his.
So back with what I was doing for work. So I did that, and I was telling him, I was like, hey, you don't have to and I'm doing all this. We're gonna have to do it. So I was thinking in my mind, hey, Maga, why can't you just do it? And I mentioned the greeting at Walmart. I mentioned that. And I also mentioned the guy in the wheelchair that got fired and stuff like that, but he kept doing it. So I talked to Maga and I was like, why couldn't you do something like that? And he says, I can't talk about it right now. So that's where I was going to end that talking. But I was trying to tell him, I was like, hey, man, like I'm doing this, it hurts and all that other stuff. But he doesn't want, I was like, why can't you just do greeting if, I don't know what's wrong with him, but, why can't you?
He doesn't have a good answer. That's why. There you go.
Yeah. So I'm going to continue that because I think each man is its own way. Each person can live the way they want. I'm going to keep living that way. And I'm going to keep living to try to find the good in people, even if you guys hate them and you guys get angry.
No, listen. I think it's commendable, and the fact that you think I'm jumping on you, I apologize for that. It's
you're good. No,
thank you so much. And well, listen, go find the good in people. If you can find it in Wally, be my guest. I just don't want to have to pay for it. That's my.
I understand. Yeah, I'm not too big on the whole tax dollars. I know I pay my taxes at the end of the year and stuff like that, but I mean, $600 a month is basically what I make in a week. So I don't know if it's really much
I
much.
just be clear, it's not just my tax, but I'm just saying society as a whole has to prop this asshole up.
Not just that. Every now and again, he does something, and like a dozen police have to check out what's going.
Yeah.
Like all these people have to stop what they're doing and check out what the crazy guy's up to.
But sadly, after
federal agents had to drive out to his house because he made a video, like shit like that.
I heard, I'm gonna have to unsubscribe though. I just, it's so.
You won't. You're full of it. You said
you were not coming back here, so come on, get out of here. This guy, come on.
Good. It's too good of entertainment, my dude.
Yeah, you get it. See,
but I just make it on the sub. Type in Maga Man Army on my lunch break.
Do you sincerely think that he actually thinks you might have another persona that speaks to him in his world, or does he think the two are connected? Because if he thinks the two are connected, there's no way he would stay friends with you. There's no way he would talk to you.
Does he know about Kmart and Jump?
Oh, he knows everything, my dude. He knows.
I think he knows that. Yeah.
I'm surprised that he's tolerating this tomfoolery.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I am too. Actually,
that would be unprecedented.
Yeah. Maybe he thinks like you're a double agent. He's like, oh, Jump Luff's a spy in the MAGA army. Yes.
Well, we thought the same thing at first. We thought well, I don't know. I don't want to say we. I'll just speak for myself. But I thought that Jump Luff was like maybe somebody that was friendly with Wally, trying to work. But no, I
would love to have the MAGA army on. I'd love to talk to those dudes, but Penny went away. Penny, come on back.
There is no MAGA army.
What? I was a viewer that just wanted to see both sides at the end of the day, and I did want to bring peace at the end of the day. Like I said, like my initiative, I want to.
And here's the thing, Jump. He doesn't want you to see both sides.
Yes.
Everything we just mentioned. You didn't know anything about his Germanic warrior bullshit. You didn't know anything about his 9/11 bullshit. You didn't know anything about his family domestic abuse bullshit. You know none of the reality that is Wally. You just know I'm edgy political MAGA man,
correct,
Wally.
Correct.
That's
correct.
I mean, so there's clearly, and this is and it's no fault of yours, everybody who first encounters Wally, there he is, right, falls for this crap. Some more than others. But just to stress again, you got the 9/11 community who is unrelated. That's awesome. 9/11 community, the Star Wars guys, the Mason guys. There were another group of Star Wars guys, the MGTOW guys. All these people had no connections to each other. No way. There was no crosstalk. There was no anything. The only common thread was they got to meet Wally in one fashion or another. They learned his bullshit. Dude.
That's disturbing.
Oh, that's that pocket thingy.
Dude. Well, just to think about that, his beer can cock was in that thing.
But this is like just from a standpoint of like Wally's content, he talks about, oh, you guys, when he says, oh, I know you guys.
Look, I'm Wally's grandfather.
Nice. You fought Nazis, and I'm going to use that as an excuse why I'm proud to be an American because my grandpa fought World War II.
But Jump, do you see anything insightful about his political commentary? Or is it just like the same rant over and over?
I literally just watch him for his outbursts, my dude. I don't watch.
yeah, we get it.
Hey, you're on board. You're one of us.
Yeah.
No. I'm nobody's. No. I'm nobody's anything. I don't. No. I like I said, I took a quick 4-week hiatus. But I did catch the video about something that you guys mentioned it earlier, and I did see the most recent one about the take you to court kind of thing. I think it was. I'm on nobody's side of
No, I get it. I get it.
But no, I don't watch him. I know. I hope there's not a lot of people that believe that act like him. I mean, at the end of the day, it's very unnerving. But no, I watch it because it's a form of entertainment. Like I said, my girl was about it yesterday. We were talking about. Oh, we saw the one about the 14-year-old girl. She thought because we were watching it, and she's Maga Man. I was like, yeah, and I let her know what's going on and stuff like that. So I was like, I think she's like, oh yeah, I think they're 14, 15-year-olds, and he just threatened them, so.
Wally loves it. He's got loose ends. There were stories of him getting into a car accident, stories that he told, getting into a car accident in a parking lot.
He has a good voice. He has a good voice, and it's just entertaining to watch, as you never know what's going to happen with him.
Well, he's like a clown. He's like a sad, demented clown.
So it's no. I gotta see how I can see it's like a storybook. So like I always watch Maga Man on lunch break or when there's nothing else. going on in the day or
The
something.
story
right?
never ends.
So
He just leaves these.
So I don't watch, like I said, Least Lethal for my girl at the time. But besides that, it's just entertaining, dude. So like how he has a good speaking voice. He has a good speaking voice. But no, his stuff, besides the Hunter Biden stuff, like I said, that was pretty whatever. Like I haven't experienced anything like that in my lifetime, you know. One of the stuff I thought was kind of trippy. But with him, no, it's just like a storybook. How I see it, it's like a nice storybook, and he tells all this stuff. And then he talked about, I did see the one about the Touch of the Bee, the one in New York, the little stores,
Bodega,
yeah, those. He talked about those, and I thought that was interesting. I didn't see it those ways, but I mean, he talked about those and stuff like that. It's like a storybook, and it's a nice little storybook.
I thought
but if you take anything seriously, like he says, no, that's a no. But as far as like seeing it from a human perspective, like seeing his like pain and somebody that's been through a lot and stuff like that, and obviously you're texter or whatever. No, there's a lot of pampered people. There's a lot of people that don't go through stuff. He
tells me he's been through stuff. That's
right.
That's where he got me. At the end of the day, that's where he got me.
Yeah, it's like his parents did some questionable shit.
So
he has sarcoidosis. Yeah, it's like nothing,
I think that's the first
out of the order. It's like nothing average fucking.
Yeah,
right.
His story isn't more compelling than yours or I's or yours or mine or HS's or Savage's or Dan's or
he's a rainbow
Hidden's.
person.
I mean, I don't think any of us have that a compelling story. I mean, it's not like he survived childhood cancer or he was in the jungles of Vietnam. He was at best a volunteer for a couple hours. A couple of days after 9/11, and
his daddy beat him with a wiffle bat for playing Super Nintendo.
He makes that out that was the defining moment of his life.
So the one I saw that got me hooked on, because it wasn't about just feeling sorry for him at the end of the day. It was more the fact of, hey, maybe I can help this guy out. It is because like I said, everything I've been through, everybody else has been through.
Good luck with that.
No offense, Joe, but I think people who make $300 or $400 an hour have tried to help him, and it really doesn't look like it's done much. So I mean,
so it wasn't any of that. It was just the fact of I think we all have that to a certain degree, unless you kind of keep it down. We as human beings, we have that compassion just built into us.
Yeah, well, you're probably right. But the other thing that I found out too is I remember True Sherm, and do you know True Sherm?
Yes,
I know True Sherm. He was kind of did like a Dan King, and he was trying to at some point
wrong, and he needs a butt.
He tried to straighten him out.
He tried to give him a fair shake, and then True Sherm would talk about us, the trolls, the infamous trolls, and I agree with Dan. Calling us trolls is too dismissive. I think we're something more than trolls, but what that is, I don't know. But But and Sherm would say, well, yeah, I see these guys, and I think he would watch the videos, and he would have a couple yucks on it, and they were meant to do no more than that. But he would say, I don't know what these guys are going to move on to after we have nothing more to talk about with Wally.
We're going to go back to our real lives and jobs and families.
And I actually thought about that on his channel, and I made a couple little videos about motorcycling and stuff like that, and I got 20 views, and I found out that nobody really cares. Nobody really cares. They want to see Wally drama. They want that's where the gold is. So I have to put back on the goggles and the hat and do some kind of barrel shooting video because
usually I can tell when people are kind of having a soft story. They're just kind of trying to get under your skin. I guess I got to work on that a little bit better. I have something to work on as a person.
When you start asking too many questions, that's when Wally will turn you off.
I think I need to work on that whole you're not caring too much, but trying to. I can see usually through people's bullshit. Usually, if it's a war veteran, he has a fake hat on. Actually, I was thinking at Dollar General, my first job. He had a war veteran hat on, and he said he got shot, and he saw a girl or his captain fuck another girl, like a person, a slave over there, whatever the hell it was. So underage girls going on. I could see right through the bull crap, but he was just trying to talk to me as he was giving his pennies out of his jar. I usually am really good at seeing that. I guess I can give credit Maga being a good manipulator at the end of the day. I guess I got to work on that a little bit, So that's it's good that you'll show me that at the end of the day,
It's very meditative.
His whole PTSD rap, right? A couple of times on some of his videos, he started with that stuff, and he's like, "Oh, these guys are making fun of my PTSD. Let them try that with a combat veteran." Well, no, I wouldn't do that with a combat veteran
because they're the same.
Yeah, he's trying
against stolen valor guy. You're not a fucking combat vet.
Or a World War II veteran, or a Vietnam veteran, or a combat veteran. He's trying to put himself on that same plane, and he's nowhere close, Wally.
He made a video. It was somewhere in the last 6 months when he was on his
You were there
one of his
picking up
9/11
dust.
books.
You were bucketing up dust.
He was
Stop with the
talking about
bullshit.
he was like, whether you be police, firemen, plumbers.
yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
I was like, what?
Like,
yeah, you never know when you get your hands stuck.
well,
in
that
the
he
toilet,
once
and,
he was trying to make like plumbers are first responders, and he was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, plumbers use tools and firefighters use tools, so boom.
like
Yeah.
whenever.
Like, what?
Whenever-
Find me a job that doesn't use tools.
Whenever he goes over his litany of like first responders and EMTs and firemen and construction workers, that somehow he puts himself that somehow he tries to parlay that into something. And I got another thing I want to say about Wally. When he's down in North Carolina, do you think North Carolina people have the same? Or people in the South, or people outside of New York, have the same kind of mental.
Babu.
Babu, you screwed up my shirt.
They associate 9/11 recovery workers. They hold them in the same high esteem.
And I'll tell you why.
As we do in New York.
I'll tell you why they think it's because Wally walks around now like a peacock with his I'm a 9/11 responder, not American. I got my patch. And they listen to his bullshit because they don't know how to question it or counter it.
Right. They don't, right.
He would do it to the Star Wars guys. He would start like sucking up the oxygen, and we would just like, how do we get out of this?
Something I have to ask for here. Okay, so he gets government assistance because of the 9/11 kind of thing that happened. Correct? Okay, so if there was no compelling evidence to back him up, I mean, you're talking like kind of like a lawyer here a little bit. So there's no backing evidence with that.
I'll tell you how it works.
They were handing that stuff out like candy. That was going out.
I'll tell you how it worked. Right, it's a whole. Listen, there are clearly people who are deserving, so I'm not going to sit.
Nobody's even questioning that.
But anybody who was south of Canal Street, right, even to this day, because it's a federally funded program and they want money in the program, and the way they're going to get the money in the program is to plump up the rosters, right? So it was a whole network between doctors who were more than happy to write scripts for MRIs and CTs and X-rays because they're going to get reimbursed by the government. They were happy to diagnose anybody and everything with every kind of condition they could link it to. There was even a proof list. There are buzzwords in Wally's application, right, to prove that he had the conditions necessary to get this money. There are clearly people who are deserving of it. So I want to be clear here. I'm not shitting on the whole program. Wally was not one of them. Wally just annoyed enough contingency lawyers, right, and politicians, because even his claims were denied initially. By his own admission, he went to Democratic representatives in his district and shook hands and stood for photo ops and annoyed the fuck out of everybody until they were finally like, okay, fine, let's just give this guy his benefits and go away.
If any one of us were really scumbags, we would write a letter.
I could do it now.
Write a letter with videos and saying this guy is.
Oh, that would make his rant. They wrote my congressman.
I was at the ME's office on day 2 of 9/11. All right, I was just I'm a New York State police surgeon, so I was just at a firearms training event a few months ago, and I forget the law firm that does most of the 9/11 stuff. They were pushing all that now. They want
something in McGarrick, right? But
they were there.
Barry and McGarrick or whatever it is.
Every person they sign up, I'm sure they're getting a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, look,
there.
I hate to say it, but there's a profit motive, right? There's kickbacks across the board. So that's how Wally got his shit.
Yeah, the thing is, for a while after 9/11, there was like this wave where there was so much pushback for all these people that were claiming some kind of compensation, that for like a good couple of months, it was just like an open door where anybody and their mother could get in on these lawsuits and these claims of being sick. And Wally was just one of those people who jumped and rode that wave.
The guy that
normally
it
would be fine.
The text that I read before, that guy, he was down in Manhattan working for one of the city agencies doing shit down there. But I mean, he worked until he retired, and he doesn't have any issues. But he put his name into it in case something should arrive. But he's not like Wally. I mean, I guess he could go to some.
Most people would just quietly sign up and get the money and move on with their life. But Wally's you must recognize me.
He has
as
to make
a
a
hero
production out of it.
And,
one of his latest videos,
I'm entitled and.
He's saying he's still he's fighting for some money, so I guess they're like clamping down and
well, that's because we went through this a while ago. I forget the name. New York State, the administrator of the fund in New York State changed. I don't want to say ownership. That's not the right word, but they changed hands, and they were
something, right?
Yeah, and they were cracking down on people who had made claims like Wally. So I don't obviously I don't know the behind the scenes, but I'll bet they kind of put his funding on hold, right? And they've
rightly
asked
so.
him to sort of reapply. And he's got his attorneys. The only way he's got attorneys in New York is because if they're going to get a piece of his settlement.
Sure.
Right.
Of course, yeah.
Wally had conversations. That was part of a threatening. He said, "I've been talking to the lawyers
Babu, you have
about
to
another
explain-
case."
Babu, Jump Bluff. You know Jump Bluff, right? You have to. Yeah, he wants to know a little bit about Wally's home life. You're the most versed one on it. Why don't you give him a little background?
Babu is our Wally teenage years expert.
Yeah. We have different sagas represented here.
I'm the Dan, Slippery, and Shane of like high school, I guess.
Yeah. We need a 9/11 guy. We need to find a 9/11 dude.
Yeah, we need a 9/11 guy.
9/11.
Guys, before you say anything, I'm gonna check my daughter real quick. I'll be right back, guys, and then you can tell your side. I'll be right back.
I got hidden as a. I think I know what this video is hidden. Is this Della?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go.
That to me was my even more favorite one when everybody shit on him.
Do you see the color of my thigh high?
Whatever happened to Della?
Yeah.
She says shout out to the slaves. Shout out to the slaves.
Oh my goodness.
Shout out to the slaves.
Oh, is this when he's lecturing people on?
She cracks me up every time I see her. She's funny.
Della's awesome.
Yeah, Della's great.
What I'm saying is, are these government motherfuckers, are they gonna get paid to do nothing again on this day again too?
See, Jump Left is gonna need to see this, man.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm in healthcare.
You gotta let him get into it anyways.
Happy Father's Day, you guys.
I'm in healthcare.
Can I just say that real quick?
I don't get paid on any holiday. I have to work all holidays. So none of these holidays mean nothing to me physically.
But you don't do you work for the government?
No, I don't work for the government. I work for healthcare.
So people that work for government, they're gonna get
You're good to go, guys.
this holiday paid off, right?
I'm ready for
that's fine. I don't care. I work for healthcare.
Well, I say Happy Father's Day.
Dan, can you pause this a sec?
No, I can't.
I wanted to set up a jump up. This is personally my favorite Wally implosion video. More so than the one where he had the bullets and the fake gun and everything.
Wait, is this the Juneteenth one?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. This one's
This
great.
to me, this because Wally injected himself into this conversation, started lecturing everybody about Juneteenth, and then it goes off the rails, and all the people who Wally thought were friends 5 minutes ago, suddenly you'll see for yourself what happens.
Care about the government. I don't work for the government. That's not what I chose to do. I chose to work for healthcare. So I don't care about the government. So you can't sit and say, but what about the government if I work for healthcare?
She's going off on a different guy right now.
Not to hate or anything, but I think that
this guy's a shit disturber. Don't mind
this holiday is like the Juneteenth. I think they just made it up to like get people to start like arguing and fighting each other
and that is so fucking crazy.
I know that Garcia guy pops up on Wally's thing every now and again.
It's so crazy that he said that right before this, though. It's almost like it triggered Wally.
Yeah,
probably did. He probably heard it.
He said, this holiday."
Juneteenth.
Yeah,
he's like,
white
it's
guy
Abraham Lincoln Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he was being quiet, and then Garcia's like, I think they just made this holiday so people would fight, and then fucking
reminding trying to remind everybody of America's racist past, which is
as people should, because number one, I didn't even know Juneteenth started until a year ago, and I'm 30. I will be 38 this year. I didn't even know.
I've never heard of the Juneteenth either. Not even the history books or nothing.
Okay, so wouldn't that make you think like, isn't there things out here that you don't know about, and maybe you should?
Maga Man's cracking his knuckles right now.
Yeah.
Or maybe
you can see.
I happen to agree with her. I didn't know about Juneteenth either.
They didn't teach that out in school.
Okay, so what about in your
Wally's
culture?
energizing his air gun.
Are there things in your culture that you feel like that should be celebrated?
Okay, so what am I waiting for?
You'll see. Patience. You're young.
I'm thinking. I put on my thinking cap on. Hold up.
Free anal bleaching with vaccine, it says on the sign. On this thing.
I understand what you're saying, Della. I understand
Exactly.
what you're saying.
And if they were disrespected or someone was like, oh, well, like Native Americans, they have a lot of things that were taken the fuck away from them that I feel like that should be respected. Because I know a lot of Native Americans.
And I feel like this that new stuff.
They will never get that shit back.
Yeah.
And I feel like
and I feel like
And
it's that new
Native
stuff,
Americans will get their land back. We're just waiting for the next what do you call it? When deluge when everything gets wiped out again, pretty much.
Rapture.
The rapture, yeah.
okay, so this
Smoking
what I'm
too much
talking
weed.
about.
Yeah.
This stuff is new. And a
This
lot of
stuff
people
is
don't
new.
honestly, a lot of people don't even listen to me. But they will. Honestly, this is new.
Where's Wally? Get him in here.
Yeah,
And I feel like it's taking a lot of shine off for other things, like Father's
Wally
Day.
just
I mean,
put out
like
a
a lot of
video,
these
a couple of
holidays
minutes ago.
are just extra.
Yeah, the title is boring as fuck.
Taking your
it wasn't
attention,
a
right?
great video.
But it's your
Title's
choice
always
if you want to celebrate it. And I do celebrate. I do like to celebrate Father's Day, like Mother's Day. I do celebrate
on.
holidays if I feel like it's worth it. And I feel like, yeah, it's worth it for fathers.
Hayden's
Yeah,
giving us a
it's
lot of
worth
build
it.
up here.
So I celebrate.
come on,
I feel
Hayden.
like they're making up this new stuff.
Yeah, bring it to
And if
Wally.
you
Bring
celebrate
it
it,
to
that's
Wally.
fine. I'm
I'm pretty
gonna
sure
say
it's like
celebrate
right
it.
after this.
Well, although I have to
Happy
say, Della,
whatever day it is for you.
Brandy is
Yeah,
this is
is
big
very
dog
easy
face.
on the eyes. I don't mind
And
watching
I do
Brandy at
think
all.
that it do take the shine off for other things. It
He's gonna
definitely
come
do.
in soon here.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
But the thing
He just picks
And
up like
yeah.
loading his haircut to getting
The
ready.
thing
Oh,
with
whatever.
Juneteenth is mainly
The greatest
He's
part
putting
about these
lipstick
videos
on before he shouts at everybody.
Yeah,
It's
the greatest part is like these videos, Sifu would just like be off the camera
Texan
sleeping
holiday.
somewhere, and his camera would just go in his
because
bedroom.
that's where it
And then you go, can you
And
cam up
that's
for a
where
minute? Can you full screen me?
Time
And then
for
you
Maga
fucking-
Man
We're
to step
loading
in.
still, guys. I
First
need to
off,
get
here
you
we
hear
go.
that?
tomorrow, so we gotta hurry this up a little bit.
Yeah, I heard
Well,
it.
you just missed him
Bring
coming
Maga
in.
Man. Let's just
Yeah,
get to his
Keep going.
tirade.
It's okay.
Just keep going. It's very important.
Exactly.
To know.
And if they were disrespected or someone was like, oh, well, like Native Americans,
Oh, see,
they
now
have
it's
You went
better.
backwards.
You went backwards.
Keep your
Oh, here we go. Here we go. God damn it,
Okay,
Hayden.
so this one I'm talking about.
Go, girl.
This stuff is new.
Well, you
And a lot of people
fucked
don't.
it up. You talked it
Honestly,
through.
honestly, a lot of people don't even.
Fuck.
Right there.
All
just
right,
Video's
all
so
right,
long
first
you
off,
can't get
wrong.
There.
It was according to
Here
what
we
happened
go.
was
No,
that
let
you know
finish.
a white Republican called Abraham Lincoln posted a speech called the Emancipation Proclamation to
He
free the
posted it.
slaves.
What did he post it
And
on
along with
YouTube?
another guy called Frederick Douglass, who was responsible for the Underground Railroad. It took
Right.
2
Sounds
years
like he's
because
slurring his words a
apparently
little bit.
in today's goofy socialist
Has nothing to do
commie
with white
fascist
people.
world,
Go ahead.
I didn't
Go
say
ahead.
that, girl. You keep your boobies in check. So,
Girl.
you know,
Wow.
the simple
Oh,
fact of the
Wow.
matter is,
oh,
back
Keep your
then,
boobies in
they
check.
had
Like, you don't think
horses,
that's gonna fuck
they
somebody
had
up?
horse-drawn
I am a woman.
buggies.
Don't start with that girl.
I'm fucking with that. Yeah, I go there. Keep your boobies in check. Anyway, so, you know, the fact of the matter is people want free
all
shit.
right.
They don't
Y'all
have,
see
they
this,
didn't have
right? Y'all
beepers.
see
They
this
didn't have
respect, right?
emails. They
Y'all
didn't
see
have,
this
they
respect?
didn't have,
All right.
I'm going there. I'm going there. So anyway.
He can't have a
Okay, I
respectful
can go there
Then they
too,
had
conversation.
motherfucker.
He doesn't know how to have an
So
adult
anyway, go
conversation.
fall asleep on your couch like you did in your last live stream. Anyway,
There you go.
let's
Right.
move
Let's
along.
go straight to the.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So anyway, all right.
Because we
It
ain't
took
even had this conversation.
it took
We
two.
ain't
Yeah,
even
you
had
fell
to
asleep.
go there. And fuck you. And fuck you.
Oh,
and
that
fuck
was
you.
mean.
Because you don't think those are the
Yeah, yeah, let's get drunk. Yeah, let's fill up those female boobies with alcohol.
Keep doing that. Oh, my baby mom's so
Beer is
bullshit.
stored in the booze.
But yeah, at least I got kids. No man would ever fuck you.
At least I have kids.
No man would fuck you, or no man no man would ever put a stolen
least I
dick in
have
you
kids.
or a
He
rubber
can't
dick
see
in
his
you.
kids.
There'd be no
Let's see
fucking
if he's
stick
sleeping.
in your cooch.
Crazy.
Don't even try it, man. Fall asleep on your couch. Fall asleep on your couch. Fall asleep on your couch. Fall asleep on your couch and
in my own house. Keith's bed looks like one like Oscar Madison's
anyway,
bed from the
so
Odd
when
Couple.
it came to Abraham Lincoln, a white man, a white Republican, nobody gives a shit about your feelings. You are
Holy fuck.
Black. You telling me about Black history and you're not Black. MAGA, this is the problem we always have. You keep trying to tell me about some shit you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Politely shut the fuck up. Please.
where no nonsense. What about Frederick Douglass? Nobody understands who Frederick Douglass is, who was responsible for the Underground Railroad. All right. So now this whole thing is nothing about getting free. This whole thing is about getting free stuff. Everybody wants everything.
Wally and free stuff.
You know,
Yeah.
everybody will own nothing and will all be happy. That's what this is all
Talk
about.
about how
It's all bullshit.
horrible
It's all
socialism is, Wally.
Everybody will own everything and everybody will be happy. And
Hey,
in my
guys, I got
opinion, I say,
$6,000.
fuck you. And by the way, hey, Dan, I know you're there in the comments section. Just because you called my home, be prepared. Oh, hey, Kevin Coburl is here too. Get ready, bitches. Just get ready.
Father's Day. What happened
I forgot. Yeah, you saw
Get
the
ready.
chat.
I hope you guys are ready.
Drunk ass bullshit artist.
This was
Get
like
ready.
over a year ago. We're still getting ready.
When
This
I
is-
serve you court papers, are you ready for
Oh.
court papers, bitch?
Oh, that whole thing failed.
Yeah. Keep it up,
He went to the judge and they threw it out.
Bring it on. Bring it on, baby. Bring it on.
I am gonna bring it on. Keep it up, Kevin. Show your face on camera. Put your motorcycle helmet on, bitch.
Why is he so obsessed
Come on,
with showing
come on,
your
Kevin.
face on camera?
Exactly, Dan.
Come on, tell your friend Dan.
Yeah.
Come on, Dan. Come on, Kevin.
Have another beer, bullshit artist. Have another beer, bullshit artist.
Did I start
Yeah,
this,
can you
son?
prove? Can you prove that I drank?
You a whole weird
Right.
Can you prove that I drank, fellas?
Prove it. Prove it.
Oh,
Show me on.
man.
Show. Yeah. Bullshit. I hope you guys get 10 9/11s. Yeah. Like you're falling asleep.
Whenever he says,
Yeah,
"Can you
just
prove
like-
I did
just
something?"
like-
it means he
just
totally
like-
did that thing.
Just like Waldo filmed you falling asleep on your couch and one of my ADs like
Sick, go choke on a black dude.
They would want me to be in their life. That's Father's Day. Like, come on, y'all.
This is supposed to be about Father's Day.
It's complete pandemonium.
Let me fall asleep on my couch. Oh, but
His microphone's so loud.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, fall asleep. Fall
And he's
asleep. Keep
imitating
drinking. Keep
Tusha with
drinking.
that
And yeah.
right now.
Yeah. Shaming. Yeah.
Whose dick is your baby mama's
He argues like a child.
right now?
Nobody
He's like, who's
cares.
fucking
No one
the baby
knows.
mama?
No one cares. No one cares what you have to say. Fall asleep on your couch. Fall asleep on your couch again. Fall asleep on your couch. You know, with your boobs on your futon. Keep falling asleep. God, I love this stuff. This is great. I love it when people can't admit their own bullshit. Oh, great, Popsicle Man, Dan King. I'm grateful that Dan King and Kevin Coburl's here. Get ready, bitches. Get ready, you piece of shit.
That whole thing failed.
Remember, I am waiting to serve you fuckers. I can't wait.
The whole thing he's talking about was an
Get ready
utter
to be
failure.
served, peaches.
The judge threw
I
it out.
wouldn't fuck you with a stolen dick. I wouldn't fuck you with my next neighbor's dick. I wouldn't fuck you with a stray dog's dick. I wouldn't fuck you with a dead chicken's dick. I wouldn't fuck you with a pigeon dick. I wouldn't fuck you with a rubber dildo. I would not wrap duct tape
He
around a
always gets
broomstick.
into the gay insult.
Yeah, just fall asleep and get drunk again on your couch. Oh yeah! Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
I think Maga Man thinks everyone is on his side of the argument.
Or on
Yeah,
his drug.
look at Brandy's face. She's looking like she's disgusted right now.
Fall asleep on your couch. Fall asleep on your couch. Quack, 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 quack. Fall asleep on your
He's
couch.
like a third grader.
Yeah,
Angry man
he's like
there.
a child.
Fall asleep.
Slippery the meat mason.
Oh God, he's a lunatic.
Boy,
The
every
guy's
time
a
I take
fucking
a step,
psycho.
my boobs hit my.
Bobo, is
my,
this the first time you've
my
seen this?
knees. I was waiting for
No,
this.
no, I saw it when
And
it
the
was
only reason why
when it
I'm here
happened, but
is
it's been like a
because
long time since I saw it. Like these are the ones that I
I
forgot about.
actually got a dime drop that I knew Dan and Kevin was going to be in here. Get ready to be served. Get ready to be served.
I'm still waiting.
Yeah,
Are
what
you
happened,
waiting,
Wally?
Dan? I'm still waiting. I haven't seen anything.
Unserviceable.
Waldo has the best video of you falling asleep. Tits down.
That's a slippery.
I love it. I love it. Oh, look, Kevin. Hi, Kevin. How you doing, Kevin?
There we
How's it
He
going?
says your name like he's like, I'm gonna get you.
great.
Yeah, he's like, I was like, oh, I got you in my clutches.
Come on, Kevin. How you doing, dude? Is everything all right? How you doing? Drinking all those Jägermeisters?
No,
I think Dave, you have a beer.
No,
He got
I
you.
never. Hey, mysteriously, take that. Listen, take those genetic defective fucking,
MK's burning them.
bleach spots on your face.
Oh, that's right. He
Get
makes
outta
fun
here,
of his
man.
skin
You're no
condition.
different
What
than
a
fucking,
fuck.
the other assholes.
He's so
That's
wild.
fine. But let's hear what Kevin has to say.
Marissa's tomorrow.
Here, take the.
Yeah,
I'm sure you will. I know you will. I know you will. Yeah. Yeah, how about your retarded daughter? That, darn a minute! What am I going to do with my daughter? My daughter's so fucked up. Yeah, I'm sure. My daughter, I have to get her free stuff because I am who I am. My daughter.
Yeah, where's Jump Loop? Jump Loop, you still watching, buddy?
No, he left.
No, he had to jump off to his
Telling
chair.
nobody gives a flying fuck. Listen, fall asleep on your couch again and get drunk. Fall asleep on your couch again. Pass out for us.
He's getting an overdose.
Yeah, I think he had some more.
Yeah, fall asleep on the couch.
Shout out to AD for bringing
There's too many receipts around here.
But I have a retarded daughter and I drink Jägermeisters. I drink Jägermeisters downstairs in the basement in Whitestone.
Like, Wally, he's starting fights with like 4 people. He's trying to like fight everybody.
And then he said it's a dog pile.
Yeah, he's like, they turn one and everyone pick on me. I remember the next day he made a video where he's like, oh, someone said I should die. Can you believe it, guys? Feel bad for me.
He's like,
Because Della told him to like go overdose or something.
Man, if I had a father like Kevin Cole Burles, man, I would have had an abortion a long time ago.
Wow.
I would have
Nice
just
guy,
wrapped
eh?
a rubber glove around my
Mr. Pro Life.
crazy glue. Oh, hell no.
Roe v. Wade, yay!
He's looking for it.
Melissa, who's taking care of
That's what he's
Marissa?
looking. Come on, Dan. Come on, Dan. Come on, Dan. You're in here too.
He's cool now.
Where's Dan?
There he is,
Where
fucking poking me.
Money is
Where are
great.
you, Dan? I know
Money
you're
is
in here
just
too.
doing this.
I'm right here, Wally. I made my own live stream. We're having fun.
Yeah, money, baby. I love it, dude. I love this shit.
Maga
Money
Man,
knows
you
where I'm
are
coming
one.
from, baby. Who gives a flying?
No hold hard, baby.
No dumb bullshit.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's right.
That's why I'm so happy he doesn't
Oh,
get to see his
yeah.
kids, man. Because this guy's a horrible father.
He's a fucking
Fall asleep on
horrible
your
human
couch.
being.
Fall asleep on your couch.
I will always
Hell yeah,
sleep
fall
on
asleep.
no couch.
Hell yeah,
On my
girl.
couch.
You-
Y'all
She's
do
like, yeah, I
too,
sleep on
you
my
little
couch.
bitch.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, fall asleep on your couch. Fall asleep on your couch again. Fall asleep on your couch. Fall asleep on your couch. Fall asleep on your couch again.
Is that you?
Like the
He's
Three
doing
Stooges. You know what?
No, that's fucking. It's
Fall
a
asleep.
Maga Man.
That's Maga Man?
Yeah.
I still fail to see how
Uh,
fall asleep on your couch is an
Bronze,
anus
Bronzebird's
insult.
trying to get Della to sleep on his couch.
Keep playing. Keep playing.
I know you don't give a shit. You got no shame, girl. You got
Wow.
no shame.
Yeah,
You
she
got no
got me
shame,
sick.
girl. You
Yeah.
got no shame. And as far as mysteriously kind is concerned, hey, stop huffing that bleach, dude. Stop trying to be white. You got all those bleach spots on
What's
your
this
chin,
thing
dude.
with mysteriously kind?
You
He's
got
not
all
even
those
involved.
Now he's
in
making
this
fun of
whole
MK
thing.
again. He's all over the map. He
Nah,
can't keep
MK
track.
said he was fucking MK said Maga Man was a fucking weirdo in the chat.
Pull your pants up. Dude, you're not Marilyn Manson, kid.
Marilyn Manson?
Done.
Nah, dude. Nah, nobody wants that.
I think he meant to say Marilyn Monroe.
Oh my God!
Was that a
Marilyn
Freudian
Manson.
slip?
I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah.
Who wants some skin fold?
Oh my God, listen to him now.
That's pretty funny. He's like, oh, you know Marilyn Manson.
If I was Ken Colbert's wife,
And then you want
I
to
would have had
tell
it
us,
next to the Porsche.
Yeah, right.
Had like a slanted head, like slop.
Y'all killing the vibe right now.
Slop in the
Oh, Wally's going live, and it's something about it says it says the MAGA army. Guess who's back on the YouTube live stream? Oh, maybe he's just going live.
Maybe I'm gonna visit Maggie.
we should definitely go on this channel. And
He won't let us in. He doesn't let anybody in.
Kevin,
Wait, I
you're
don't
done,
see where he's
dude.
going live.
Dude, Kevin,
I just
you're
got a thing
done,
on my
bro.
phone.
You've been done. You've been done for a minute, kid.
No,
Take you and your fucking Masons and your Jägermeister and your drunken
Masons
bullshit.
and their
Go fuck
Jaeger.
yourselves, dude.
Classic combo. Money is only one's controlling the live stream.
Yeah, Dan, don't worry, dude. Oh, I got some.
this shit. You smiling?
Don't worry, Dan. I got something special for you too.
Oh, you got something special, Dan.
Come on,
He's
Dan.
fighting with everybody. It's so great.
Come on, Dan.
Yeah, Maga Man.
Come on, Dan.
Yeah.
I got something for you too.
With a BB gun again.
Come on, Dan.
We didn't see that.
Come on, Dan. Come on, Dan. Come on, Dan. Come on, Dan.
Slippery's making fun of him, and he's
Look
like,
at
"Come on,
me.
Dan."
Look at me. I'm a Freemason because I have to rely on donations because I think I'm a moral guy. But then meanwhile, I go
right now,
after
he's
people
just, his mind is
because,
so out of
you
it, he
know, I
doesn't know
think
what
I'm
he's
the
saying.
best of the
He's
best.
just trying to
But then I
like
drink
get any
5
kind of
gallons
word.
of
Yeah, it's like
Jägermeister.
it's like
I
HTV.
drink
gallons,
5
Slippery.
gallons of Jägermeister in a cellar. Oh
In a
my
cellar.
God! I drink 5 gallons of Jägermeister in the basement.
At least
Wait
he
a
has
minute.
a cellar to drink in, Wally.
Slippery, you drink 5 gallons of Jägermeister in your
I
basement?
know, I know.
Well, Wally said it, so it must be absolutely
God
positively
damn,
true.
that's a lot of Jäger. You should switch to Goldschlager.
I actually did like Goldschlager.
I try to do good things for people.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure. Right.
I try to do good things for people.
Come on,
I once
Kevin.
took care of a
Come on,
cat,
Kevin,
guys.
Show your face.
11 hero.
Come on, Kevin. Yeah, come on, Kevin. Come on, Kevin. Yeah, like your daughter should have been aborted. Your daughter should have been aborted. If you were drinking that much Jägermeister, you should have had it. Your wife should have had an abortion. No, fuck that guy, dude.
I mean, I'm not
Yeah, no, fuck that shit.
I was like, what are you doing, man?
Like everybody's trying to like straighten him out, and he's just like,
Randy, she's like,
Bullshit.
"Well,
Come
what
on,
is-
dude.
what is
You want to talk
saying?
shit? Talk shit, dude.
I don't have
Come on,
kids, so I
Slippery.
know
Come on.
That's the most fucked up game of Hollywood Squares I ever seen.
Kevin Cole, girl. Show your face, you bitch ass
Garcia,
motherfucker.
all in.
You
Oh,
fake German.
Hero, and I'm
You
gonna
fake German. Come on, you
"Fake German? What does that mean?"
You fake German. Oh, don't worry. I can't wait.
That's not another
can't-
sexual innuendo.
What's a real German?
I know. Yeah, I know. I hang out in the basement getting drunk all night. I hang out in the basement in a fake church because we're a bunch of satanic people hanging out in the basement drinking beer and drinking Jägermeister all night because we like to get drunk. Yeah.
Sounds like he's mad he didn't get to go to the ceremony.
I don't know why Money
I got a microphone. I don't know. My mic didn't work.
Yeah.
This is when Money is starting to question, like, what happened in his life
know why?
that he's doing live stream.
Yeah, with Money. He's like,
He's like, what have I done?
No problem, Kev. No problem.
Look at MK. It's just a bitch.
Kev. You and your friend Dan, don't worry about it. All is gonna come into place. Come on, Dan, come in here. Come on, Dan. Come on, Dan, come in here.
Is it, I may have come in this one. I don't remember.
I was gonna say, did you come in? 'Cause
I think I
did.
was in the car and I had a shitty microphone and I lost my cool.
Yeah, you know what? Let me put this in place. Do I still got this fucking thing in here?
Maga Army.
Lost my cool.
There is no Maga Army. There is no Maga.
Yeah.
Because he's so infuriating. He was doing doing this
because,
shit. They can't even have a conversation with the guy.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Maga Army
You know,
plastic
because I want to be cool, so I have to adore myself. I have to adore myself with fake pins and fake awards to make myself look cool. And
the guy who has Odin around his neck.
I have to give myself fake pins that I didn't earn.
Yeah,
That's
Oh
what
my
makes
God!
it
the
weird.
guy with the purple heart.
I'm not
or purple hearts.
Get drunk. Get drunk. Get
This
drunk
guy's
in the
won every
basement.
patch,
Get drunk in the
every
basement
coin,
and White
every
Stone
jersey he could
Queens.
find in the
Gotta do
store.
it. Jägermeister.
Every swag.
Keep drinking that. Yeah, I'm sure. Don't worry about it. That's okay. Everything's fine. Everything here is fine. Don't worry about it. Everything here is secure and you're fine.
We will see.
Yeah, I know. We'll see. I'm sure. I know you will. I'm sure you will. Please. I hope you do. I hope.
I want you to.
My blood.
Give it your best. Yeah, I know. Please.
I feel like he's a
do so.
closeted
I want
Mets
you to.
fan.
Yeah, I
You're
want
a
you to.
coward.
Please do it.
You're a coward.
Please do it.
Coward.
I want you to. I want you to. Come on, Kevin, show your face. At least I can show my face, but you hide your face.
He's not showing his face.
But if you were unmasked, Kevin Coldpearl, a Master Freeman.
Seafood's gonna show his dick.
Oh no!
Yeah, right. Show your face. Show your face. Show your face. Show your face. Like
Everybody
Dan
keeps
King.
getting up and leaving.
Come on, Dan. Come on, Dan.
She's like,
Yeah,
he's
come
still
on,
here.
Dan. I know you're in there. Please try something. Try something. Try
Okay,
something.
I'll try. I'll call your landlord, Wally. That's what I'll try. How
I'm
about
doing
that?
this intentionally.
Worked
Please
out
try
well.
something. I want you to try something. I dare you.
Again, like he wants to go to court, and I just could show him going, "Come on, come on!"
Kevin Coldpearl is so slippery is that when he has my dick in his mouth, like he has like cum in the corners.
You know, my friend just
yeah,
texted me. He said he talks about drinking fucking Jägermeister in the basement. He was the biggest fucking drunk ever and drank the most out of anyone.
I'd believe it.
Yeah.
That's
I got evidence
Well, you
for
said
that,
he was a
dude.
barfly. He was like down at the end with the old timer at the Masons with his.
Oh, that's
No,
that was his qualifications. Remember the what was it? The one with Dan in Boston. The Cheers. Remember Cheers? And the one guy, he sat
Sam.
in the bar chair so long that there was
Norm.
an indentation in the floor. That was Wally because he sat at the bar next to this guy, and that's what got him into our lodge. This fucking jerk.
Well, it's funny because
You sleep on a couch. You drink Jägermeister.
So he'd be
he's getting back
he'd be
into like the
cliff.
gay jokes, and it reminds me of like all those Hunter Biden videos that he downloaded, where he's like, "Oh, there's so much stuff where he's naked and showing his penis." Like, I don't want to show it, but I looked through the videos. So this dude looked through hours of videos looking at Hunter Biden's penis. Is what he's saying?
Yeah, he said something about M&Ms on the guy's penis.
But,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. He actually watched these videos and he's like, "I can't show because it's so vile." But meanwhile, that means at home he went through all these videos and
While sitting next to Kevin-Keith, his friend.
Another guy that's watching texted me. He said, "Damn, fuck all the bullshit. Brandy is hot."
Yeah. I can't believe this insanity went on this long when I was watching this thing. And see, this is the problem. Jump doesn't see any of stuff like this.
Yeah, this is just pure pandemonium. There's like everybody in the thing is just totally mortified by this guy. It's just unbelievable.
And Maga Man just going after everybody. He's like,
just-
"Oh yeah,
it's
MK,
this
oh
video.
Dan King, oh yeah, it's
But
Slippery,
it's
oh yeah,
amazing. I
Della."
mean, God bless you, Dan and Slippery,
Dan
because
isn't
otherwise
even-
people wouldn't know this shit, right? They would
Dan
just
isn't
they
even
hear what was
there.
done. Right.
Dan isn't even there, and he's like going crazy about Dan.
Well, this is like when he got the restraining order. He filled out paperwork and was like, "Oh, you guys have wait until you see." So he's all confident, and this is the second time he tried doing a court.
I think
thing.
I said something like, "Oh," I
and
think
he's
I
all
might have-
confident.
I said something like, Dan is a rock star. He owns you every freaking day, and I think he got like crazy with that. I think that bothered him a lot.
Well, I filled out paperwork that says he's bad, and you're gonna pay.
Yeah,
They gotta jump out and eat really quick.
Just
These guys
wait
are
until
still
the
on them.
sheriff drives 800
All right,
miles
Baba.
to hand deliver you a thing.
Yeah, right. Like, hey,
I got to get up.
Maga Man.
I got to get back to work.
Yeah, no, I got to get out of here too. But this was great, and Wally, if you're watching, this will be shown in open court. I'm sure this will make great material for any jury, right? Can you imagine him watching this?
Yeah,
this
I'm cyberbullied. Meanwhile, he's like, "Fuck you, and I dare you, and fuck you."
I mean, you're right.
Broken dick.
Hebrew, you're right. What a shit show, right? Is that
you should be aborted,
And I remember there's even more to come here. That
Oh,
it
yeah,
even
yeah.
gets worse. It's like literally a half hour of freaking shit show. It's
Honestly, it is hard
unbelievable.
to watch because it's just yelling.
It's just
and screaming.
pandemonium. It's yelling back. And I remember after this happened, a couple of guys called me up and he said, I couldn't watch it. It was just painful. It was just too much.
But to me, this is the defining Wally video. Like the other one where he's crazy, like that kind of just doubled down on what I already, and I knew it all anyway. But like anybody watches, like this guy's right.
Well, it also shows that like even when he's around other human beings,
he thought he was
he's
amongst
an
friends.
uncontrollable nut.
But who goes into a room full of black people to tell them what?
Wally.
Fucking
Wally's
and
nobody,
then he's confused when people call him a fucking bigot.
But he came in. Nobody in this entire stream, all these people, nobody attacked him. I came in, and then immediately he went after it. And you just can't have a conversation of any substance with the guy. You can't.
Yeah.
It's just impossible.
Well,
so
you came in right after he went at Della, and there was no reason for him to go at Della. He just.
But the worst part of it, it's like almost like embarrassing for me because you like stoop to his level because there's nothing else to do. You just, it's like a boxer who you're just swinging because there's nothing else you can do. You can't do anything else.
That's what Della was doing on the couch earlier. She was just swinging in the air, like laughing at the fact that it was just arguing into thin air, like.
Savage, go visit him someday. I mean, Savage, if Savage showed up at his door, like we've seen Savage, if Savage showed up at his door, Wally would shit and piss himself worse than WinterCon. I guarantee it. You know?
He'd call up CMPD behind his couch. There's some sort of colored fella outside my door. You know?
Wait a minute. I'm connecting some dots here. Did the broken helmet and the shit in the boot happen in the same fucking WinterCon?
Yes, it was the same day.
Yes.
Same day.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
the
that's like
timeline
fucking-
was
why would
Wally
you tell
got
that
to the
story?
event. They looked through his thing. They broke it. He went to the rest of Star Wars guys, bitched about what happened, and then
And
he
then
was
shit
like
himself.
the whole day he was angry and mad. And I think later on, because he was so worked up, he lost control of his.
I
bodily
remember
function.
reading something he posted on Facebook, and he really didn't say he shit himself. He said he lost control of his body.
Lost control of his body. Yes.
So
and he
if
filmed
he
himself
shit
like his
himself,
panic
like,
attack.
he'd
He's
be-
like, yes. He's like, yes, everyone. I'm about to lose control of my body.
Like I don't understand. Like he says, "Oh, they put me in a hospital with a panic attack." Does panic is it a panic attack a condition that you'll die from? or
No, but
something?
what he does, this is how he games the fucking system, right? They have to take him seriously until proven otherwise.
Yeah,
so he'll go to
They
the
put him in a
hospital
bed.
going, I can't breathe. I don't know what's wrong with me. Blah, blah, blah. And then they have to triage his ass, right? And then they'll take his blood pressure, and then they'll realize, okay, maybe it's high or maybe it's not high. And they'll tell him his whole medical, and they have to take all the medical history down. And then he's taking up a bed, right? Because
from somebody that would really need one.
Right.
Possibly.
The ER is not, it's not like TV where like the doctors are running triumphantly down the hall, right? The guy's having an episode, so they put him in a bed eventually, and he'll sit there, and eventually a nurse will come around, and they'll take his temperature, and they'll take his
Right.
pulse.
And
give him
I'm
some
sure
water.
And after a few hours,
his
they'll go,
vitals
well,
are completely normal. Maybe
Right.
his blood pressure is a little high, but he's not. He's not.
They know
any
exactly
kind of
what's
stress.
going on,
course,
probably
yeah.
within
Sounds
minutes.
Sounds like
They're like,
Yeah,
this is a
hyperventilating.
hypochondriac nut, and
and
like
does he have
we
any
gotta.
mental health issues, and maybe he
Right.
should seek care, and here's the name of a social worker. It's done before, and they'll discharge him. And that's it.
So if you hyperventilate, you'll pass out. So I mean, that could be his loss of control. Like fucking just
He's like,
do that enough, and you'll pass out.
I never
So
did
you'll
that.
hit
I
the
remember
floor if you're
kids that
standing.
would cry, and like in between crying, they would go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Wally. Yeah, he
They-
would do the same thing.
They touched me.
I can do
no.
that.
My sarcoidosis is acting up.
I just got off the plane from Epstein's Island.
Yeah, I mean, he could go to the hospital. Yeah, nice. Every other week, they kind of have to take him seriously. And plus, he's got all the time in the world, right? So he'll sit in the waiting room. Of course, it's the ER.
It's not
in
like I
Charlotte,
got to
North
get out of
Carolina.
here. I got to go to work tomorrow. I have commitments. I have things to do. It's
Right.
like,
So he'll sit there for 4 hours. Plus, you know,
he can miss a Walmart trip once.
He'd always get out the next day and be like, "I'm okay, everybody. In case you worried, no one's worried."
No, nobody knew anything was going to happen.
And then he would shame people. He's like, "I got back, and no one even called me to make sure I was okay." It's like, yeah, because this is the 8th time you've done it in a year. That's why.
They're all nondescript. I have back pain. I have belly pain. There's nothing that they can tangibly find, right? There's no physical results.
Yeah,
they
take his heart rate. His heart is beating. You know, he's breathing. His blood pressure is within range. He's not crashing or anything like that. So it's like, okay, stay there, and eventually maybe
they just come. There's nothing to find.
Monitor him.
There's nothing to find.
Remember the one in the hospital? I think Dan put it up. It's like, I think all this stuff from New York has finally gotten to me. Whatever that.
Well,
whatever
his thing is still like you know, they make fun of my videos. I saw it. It makes me cry, and it triggers my mental health issues, and therefore they are responsible for like my medical health issues. It's like, but then you see this video where he's like, "Fuck everyone!"
But like we said, you don't have to come here and watch it. So
right, he's the one who came in and was like, "Okay, let me just fucking drop a bomb in this room."
We don't need this ignorant fucking goofy fucking guy explaining to this black woman what Juneteenth is. You know what I mean? It's the whole premise of the whole thing was ridiculous.
It's a white guy. Like, yeah, that's great, Wally.
Do you remember the one when he was in the ER? And his voice, I think it might have been Christmas. He's like,
some Christmas this is,
and he's sitting there with his phone by the hospial bed.
Some Christmas this is.
That's what he has this like feminine cough. He goes,
and you know that's the difference between him. I remember when I got into this whole thing. I'm watching Sifu when Sifu just had fucking half of his stomach and bowels removed, and he's videoing himself, and he's like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna get through this." And Wally's got absolutely nothing wrong with him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell the doctor."
Sifu was like on in the hospital when Wally did when he pretended to be someone else, asking Sifu, "Oh, what do you think about Maga Man?
Yeah, don't
Maga
you miss
Man
Wally?
okay?"
Is he okay?
And the guy is like literally like two
the guy just
morphine
had
drip.
half his fucking bowels
Like
removed.
I doubt he's thinking about Maga Man right now. Like they just removed his stomach. Okay, like you're the farthest thing on his mind. Fucking guy.
Well, he was thinking about him after he read the message.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
like Sifu took the time to like, "Are you okay?" It's like, fuck Maga Man.
I can't believe it's like almost 11:30.
I know I'm all fired up, but I gotta.
Yeah, I know. This is like great, but I can't do it. I swear to God. You know, you saw Jump Fluff. He's calling me Gramps, and he's going to bed. Jesus Christ!
Well, he's got like 2 young kids or something.
Yeah,
well, that's his fucking problem.
So he says.
Oh my God, that was great, Hidden, that you got that in there.
I'm
was
so
fantastic.
happy.
Oh,
I'm surprised I was able to find them both at the same
you know what
time.
I noticed too? You know, like put the one back where he has all the heart
so screwed up. It took me in almost immediately.
Sounds like I was too
much. You're in the middle of fucking nowhere.
It drew blood out of me. I just got done taking x-rays.
Frogs are gay.
I'm gonna see what the hell's going on, but I don't feel good at all.
Guys.
The guy that got shot in
See that he was listening for what they were saying on the PA. He was listening.
He was probably
to hear
mad
what they
they
were saying.
interrupting him. Well, later on, did
he was like, is
it
that
just
an
goes on and
emergency
on.
I heard the PA and he stopped because he wanted to see if it was an emergency that he could first respond to.
I never saw this. Oh my God!
They had a radiation treatment, but they just gave me albuterol and prednisone.
Holy Jesus, he's got
everything improved quite a bit since that.
He's missing a thing over his boob there.
Isn't
it missing the lead?
Dizzy. But the albuterol mask they just put on me, I feel like my lungs are way better. So progress.
Christmas.
Much progress.
I never
so far.
saw this. This is
I didn't either.
Hey guys, well,
this is his video.
So far, I mean, I'm
that he can't claim
really,
copyright
really
because
tired.
his channel's gone.
I feel really just drained. You know, it was something even the doctor was in here before. They gave me the albuterol mask, and that kind of helped me breathe a lot better. But I got so much pressure up here in my head. But you know, he even said it too.
Yeah, this is,
being
a 17-minute
confined
video.
in such a tiny little space like that bus for all those hours. You know, he was worried that I had.
Oh yeah,
clots in my
he had to
legs
go
or
to
something
New
like
York
that.
by
He doesn't think
bus,
that's
and he
the
was like,
case.
"It got me sick."
But
I had
they
to
gave
go
me
by bus.
prednisone,
I believe
albuterol treatment.
It was all that I had to go
Buses
through.
are
But I feel exhausted.
City.
Like I feel so drained.
Just the air of Manhattan
This is
destroyed
your
my
tribal
lungs.
warrior. This is the warrior here. The warrior.
He still has his hearing it. Don't they make you take that shit out?
You know, I haven't slept properly in the past couple nights.
I never saw this one. I've never seen
that
this.
is
This
so
is amazing.
great.
I'll put it on my
Basically
archive
means
site.
that my spleen is either infected, enlarged, damaged, or there's something else going on there. And because the spleen, the liver, and the kidneys act as the body's filtration system.
So this video is a
that
few years
explains
old,
why
so I
my
guess
blood
he
test and my
snapped out
urine
of it.
test
He's okay.
were showing elevated creatinine levels in my blood, in my urine.
I've had elevated creatinine
That
levels.
It just goes on and on and on. This fucking guy.
It just
Is this Pete Turner honey in this one or no?
I don't remember.
Elevated estrogen levels and
Yeah, it's something.
All of his shit is so his elevated LFTs, his liver function tests, whereas like that could be transient. It could be caused by a million different things. Like my liver's failing.
So you don't appreciate the title of this. The title of this video is Family Court - My 9/11 Pulmonary Sarcoidosis. Hold on, it goes off. My pulmonary
like 2 of his greatest
sarcoidosis.
hits.
It's still returns plus non-alcoholic liver disease.
Oh, make sure, make sure. Yeah, it's a non-alcoholic.
Splenomegaly.
Yes, that's the title.
What would you guys
But he
do
puts
without
in
me?
Non-alcoholic, like he's a
We
doctor
need
or
somebody to
something.
break it down. What is splenomegaly?
It's an enlargement of his liver, and that could happen like a fatty liver, right? It could happen genetically. It could. Be
I have a
diet.
splenoplastectomy.
He has smegma elementum.
Yeah.
That would make him one of the alphabet people, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and that's Dick Cheese of the alphabet.
So all his shit is
Fucking
like
guy.
these mild findings at best, you know, that are not necessarily attributable to any particular
go upstairs, bud.
condition. He's the master of this shit. Like if you
Oh, and
look at any person in their 40s, you're gonna find some stuff.
Right. Like we're getting old, Wally. Can you
Yeah,
imagine
Wally,
when he's
yeah,
like
yeah.
70, 60, 70, when he has normal old person shit, and he's like, "Oh, my eyes, my vision's not that great." Like, yeah. I wish he would lose. I wish he would lose his hair. That would be great for me if he just was going bald. He would have a nervous breakdown.
I think that will bother him a lot. Yeah,
Maybe
because
that's why he's not
such a
camming up. We're speculating wildly. Maybe Wally
Or
going
just
bald.
goes
on
all
it.
such a vain
patchy.
cocksucker.
Like loses a patch on the side or something.
But yeah, I
Well,
got.
that I would feel mildly bad because that means like stress or something.
Like some kind of alopecia.
But if he just
going
says
on.
plain vanilla, male pattern balding, it would be
I
great.
did actually notice too that the last Dogpile was getting a strong views. It was getting a
Was
strong
it? I
number of
didn't
views.
We're going back up. I don't know. I got to
Yeah,
check.
yeah,
We're doing the
I thought
same
it was
show. I
strong.
got to mix it up.
But
Yeah,
I got to go,
cool.
guys. I got to get going.
I hear
I
you.
just came in.
Yeah.
This is
But
everyone
this
watch
was-
every week. You must like and subscribe.
This was
Every
fun.
time I get a subscriber, it pisses off the trolls. Watch. everyone.
We're the trolls.
Yeah, and
Yeah, there's no
like I said
Maga Man
before,
trolls. I got no trolls.
This trolling thing, just like simply referring to us as trolls, is really it's not right. It's got to be some other thing. It's not just trolls.
I'm
it seems
above
too-
a troll, sir.
It seems too dismissive just to say my trolls
We're
and haters.
influencers. We're Wally influencers.
We're cyberbullying. You're cyberbullying me.
Oh, did you see? Like the other thing he pulls too, because he sent Dan showed me some stuff he sent about it that because of he has some kind of disability, and we're commenting on his videos that somehow
remember
we're
that.
violating the American with
Yeah,
disability.
he has the right
Yeah.
to say
Wally,
anything, and if
Wally.
anyone says anything, it makes him sad, which triggers his PTSD, which means
Wally.
he's a disabled person, which means it's not
I don't know
allowed.
which one of you guys said it, but I'm going to agree with it. Wally, go suck a bag of dicks. That's what I say about that. All right, guys, I got to get going.
Bye.
Yeah,
Slip.
we're gonna-
I'm in
All right,
and
you
out,
guys.
too.
See you,
All
man.
right, be good. We'll do this again soon. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, be good, guys.
Everyone like and subscribe. Wait, you're already like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Yes.
No one's watching this except the same idiots. Well, that's it. Are you gonna be on Friday, or is Canada gonna have a national internet outage again?
Wow.
I immediately assumed
only
something
hope.
happened to you. I'm like, he's always on. I didn't even think about it was like an internet thing. I'm like, he got sick, he got in a car accident, something happened to him.
Yeah, I was scrolling through my list and I'm like, holy fuck, man, it's been a long time I've been doing this Friday thing. Fuck. It's been like 2.5 years or some shit.
Yeah, I'm
At
like,
least
like
2
so
years.
he's dead. He must have died.
And it was like, you're the most consistent motherfucker I know. I'm like, really? Fuck. I know I missed a couple of weeks here and there. But yeah, it's been a long time since I've been doing the Friday thing.
I don't know who's that.
I
Well, like and
back,
subscribe. I don't know who that is. Are you
Sensei
MAGA Army,
Shota.
Sensei?
Probably not.
I need a what do you call it when you have like you want alternate opinions when you do a show. So that's why Penny was good, but Penny just how much can he defend?
You want
MAGA
Dan
Man?
King's popsicle sticks?
Yeah, he just makes fun of my nose and stuff, and But now I got nobody. Jumpluff is kind of he's like devil's advocate. Jumpluff.
I think he's coming around.
Well, no, he keeps on saying like, "Oh, I'm trying to see the good in people." It's like, oh, okay.
But then he also had
good luck.
had a little. You're frozen. That's funny. He actually had a Freudian slip. He was like, actually, I just watched him rant. But anyway.
yeah.
I'm like, wow.
I thought you were talking about Wally's Freudian slip when he said, instead of saying, Marilyn Monroe, he said, Marilyn Manson. That was pretty funny. Like, dude, do you think Marilyn Manson's hot? Like, what are you...
I thought he was talking about MK. I think he was trying to say that MK is like Michael Jackson.
No, I think because Della went on the couch and she put her leg up, and Wally was like, Marilyn Monroe, but he said, Marilyn Manson. And of course, Wally's got to mention like a stereotypical beautiful white woman to describe Della, like fucking idiot. And he messes that up
on Juneteenth. As he's lecturing everybody that's black in the room about what their holiday
and then people are like, you're a racist. Oh, people call me a racist. Can you believe it, guys? Oh, why? Like, why did you do that?
That was the night where I was like, I can't even look at you anymore because he did that with Della. Then fucking Slippery comes in and he starts saying all that stuff about his kids, and I was like, okay, that's
a lot of. I think the next day, True Sherm and JD Miles both made a video and said Maga Man's an asshole, and this is why.
Fuck, like it's like you went to go over the line, but you did like a long jump.
And people were like, dude, you're jumping over the line. He's like, I'm just getting warmed up.
Oh, he's in the fucking air. He's got the fucking the
jump
high jump
man?
Fucking he's got the fucking high jump stick where he's like
the Jump Man logo with the guy at the Nike thing.
Yeah. Just keeps going and there's like wind rush behind him.
It's slow-mo.
Fuck. Hair's like bristling in the wind.
That's always been his thing. Like people in his life are like, dude, you're going too far, and he's like, but I must, and he just doubles down. He never listens.
Anybody is telling him that he's going too far, he starts hammering them, and like they get thrown onto the pile of fucking dicks to.
And then what his usual move is he'll disappear. And then in the chat he'll threaten everybody with legal. He'll be like, oh, my lawyer's gonna like for what? Like because we don't like you because you're a dick. Like
It'd be just as believable if he said, "I'm sending my ninjas."
I wish he would do that. That would be cool.
That would be
just you wait till my ninjas show up.
I have ninjas now, so you're.
How do you think Wally's ninjas would dress? Because they wouldn't just be black.
They'd be like bright orange, super visible with like bells around their necks.
That'd be the exact opposite of what you're supposed to be when you're a ninja.
I think I hear bells ringing. There's like 2 pumpkins coming at me. What is it?
The Chinese star will have Donald Trump's face on him.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, bright red
made
light
in
like
China. I don't know. Bright red and white. Like the Canadian flag. The fucking Canadian socialist flag. With black capes.
That would be pretty cool.
Yellow capes.
That's like some Star Wars shit right there. Bad guys are always like peacocks.
They're dressed like Shazam. Red and white. Big fucking cape.
Okay, it's 11. My kid came in from the trampoline. He's been trampolining for like the past hour. It's
I
like
know, we're all
11:30
like
here.
swearing up a storm, and you're like, "You gotta go, okay, bud? Like, you gotta get out of here."
And the trampoline out there is like, it's like, It sounds like something's getting fucked on a bad bed. It's like, The neighbors, I'm sure, want to kill me.
He's like,
but he came in.
It's like every time I go on and I look on YouTube and I see that there's some kind of dog pile thing happening, I know I'm trampolining for an extra hour.
Yeah,
it's like perfect.
No, he does this like every night. He does this when he's with me. I'm like he burning off calories. It's fine. I mean, the neighbors want to kill me, but they all know the deal.
Yeah, if it wasn't for being so close to people, I would want to have a tramp and just go and jump.
It's just like it's full. I have to like maintain it now. Like there's like springs breaking and shit because he's like he's like a big kid. He's on it all the time. He just like used it so much. Anyway, he just went upstairs. I got to go get him.
One time I didn't fucking hold on to the swing. I just like let go with both hands. It was a mistake.
we did that like all the time in the playground.
Yeah, but you knew what was going to happen, probably.
Well, if you did it right,
this was a surprise.
We all had like these old ladies. Oh, you did? It was an accident.
Yeah, you know those really, really big, tall ones that the big kids are supposed to swing on.
Yeah, they have like there's 3 of them usually.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah.
I was on the big one, and I was only little, and I fucking went to the point where I was like almost going around. Have you ever seen a kid go all the way around? That's fucking scary shit, but I've seen them do it. It's almost like impossible. I was trying to do that, and then I said, yeah, I guess I'm not gonna be able to do it. And I was just swinging with one hand, and I was like, I wonder if you can swing with no hands. No, you can't. When you get to the top of the arc, you keep going. The swing just sort of flipped you, and you go spinning in the air. It's not cool.
Instead of jumping off when you're supposed to, the kid jumped off wrong, and he went like straight up and straight down. And then he got up to like. He was like holding his wrist and he's like about to cry, and then the swing went bam, like right into his face, like insult to injury. He was like, bam.
Me, it was I got to the top of the arc, and then I just kept going, and because I was still sitting on the swing when it let me go, it sort of made me spin in the air, head over heels.
It's crazy. I don't think they're there anymore. Like
I landed right on my chest.
I actually went back to like my wife and I went to the same elementary school, so we went back there and like all the stuff is gone because like kids were dying daily. I
Killing
think
themselves.
in the playground. When we think about our playground, they're like, what were they thinking when they built it?
Well, they put sand under it. You should be able to kind of cushion your neck.
No, in ours it had big wood chips, like the size like they were this big, like some like it was almost stuff you put in your garden. And then we had a thing. It was all telephone poles. Imagine telephone poles about 2 feet apart with bars between them randomly. So you would climb up and you'd fall and you'd go bang, 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 bang. Wood chips. It's like every year there was a concussion. It's like, what were they thinking?
I always used to see the kids hanging from their knees off the monkey bars. I'm like, if you fall, man, you're like so fucked.
Yeah, people got hurt all the time. It was just like, kid, you know. It's 1970. It's like, fuck kids, fuck them. Darwin,
give them some fucking lawn darts and shut up.
Yeah. They don't make those anymore either. I had those.
Darts with your sister.
Crazy fucking thing. Yeah,
get me a beer out of the fridge.
some dude got killed with those. Like, yeah, of course he did.
Oh fuck yeah. Probably not even on purpose.
And not to mention all the people just
look
like
out.
Like
stab right in the top
you sit there like bullshit at a barbecue, all of a sudden one lands through your foot. You're just looking at it with your beer, like, what the fuck? You can't move your foot because it's pinned. One dart.
I used to hang out with this dude, man. He had a shitty fucking fan over his table. It was rocking all the time. And I'm like, dude, that thing's like getting violent.
Like a ceiling fan. It's like not balanced.
Yeah, and I'm like, that thing's getting violent. Like
he's like, nah, it's fine.
He's like, it's been there for like 20 years, man. Don't worry.
It's missing a blade, so it's going like this.
Well, as soon as he said that, the fucking blade broke off and it flew right at his head and it's stuck in the wall right over top of his head, like within like an inch from his head. I was like, that almost took your fucking head off, dude.
That's why it's unbalanced, because he already like hit into it once.
No doubt.
I've like walked into ceiling fans. It's like they usually break before they hurt you.
Well, this
yeah, I had
stuck right in the fucking wall. They had so much
sets
smoke
all
dust
like
on it.
razor thin, like cheap metal.
Oh fuck! Yeah, if you throw that at somebody, you could cut something off, like slice your jugular or some shit, like bleeding out.
I remember my father did something. I think he put something up and it hit the fan and the blade broke. And then because it's short a blade, then it starts going like this, and it was like a whole chain reaction.
You just wait.
We loved it. We're like, Dad, do it again. Like whatever he did.
It was his hand. He fucking chopped his hand in it.
I think we lucked out because I think it had 5 blades on it, but there was an option you could make it a 4-blade fan. So he just took off we were cheap, so he just took off the 5th broken blade and made it a 4-blade, and it was fine. Anyway, I got to go. My kid's probably playing with glue or something upstairs. I don't know.
Perfect.
All right, man.
Maga Man.
All right, man. I'll see you on what's today? I'll see you on Friday. 2 days.
For sure, man. I'm back on my old channel, so I'll see you there.
Oh, I saw you got a copyright strike for a second.
Yeah, I had to re-upload because Americans couldn't watch it.
Yes,
it was Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, okay.
The Ren's toothache. It was fucking blocking the
Wow,
States
that
and
was all it
Germany
took, man.
and shit. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Everything else is fine. Beavis and Butthead was cool. But anyways, see
all
you
right,
then, man. Thanks for having me.
See you later. Okay, it's just me. Yeah, Hebrew, that was a good show. It ran late because everybody was yapping away. And, so, Maga Man and Keith Kevin, I'll stay on a few seconds. You want to come and threaten me? Like you did that night when you had court papers that went nowhere. Come on in. I'm here. You won't. But, yeah, anyway, I got to make sure my kid is... I ruined my rectangle. Okay, there we go. I got to make sure my kid's not burn down the house. So anyway, thanks everybody for coming on the show. It was a good time. Baron Yam, I saw you in the background, but I couldn't fit you in. I'm sure you know there was 6 people. So sorry about that, Baron Yam. And anyone else? There was someone else who tried to get in. Oh, maybe that was Jumpluff and they had a different name. But anyway, yeah, one of these days maybe I'll spend the extra money and get the 10 seat one. Maybe I won't because I just watched that video Hidden showed us, and maybe you don't want 10 people shouting at one another. But anyway, that's it. I'm wrapping it up. I should have this queued up, but I don't. I'll play my outro, and maybe I won't. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong folder. Sorry, it's very unprofessional. It's here. Okay, guys. So I'll see you all next week.
This video ends now.
Bye, everybody.